On my first day back in the elite household, no one expected the whole family could hear the system giving me tasks. Host next, you will be taken home by your biological parents. You'll be the real young master for just a few hours. Then, you'll be framed by the fake young master, making the Mew family think you're a bringer of bad luck. And a year later, you'll be kicked out of the Mew family, eventually dying a tragic death on the streets. After hearing the rest of the plot, I gasped in shock. What the hell is this? Did I transmigrate here just to suffer and die? But I didn't notice that Mushan standing next to me was trembling all over, nearly collapsing to the ground. The son he had worked so hard to find was destined to die in just 1 year, and even framed by the adopted son. No way. If that's the truth, then that adopted son must be kicked out of the Mew family immediately. When I saw Mushan's fierce expression, I was completely stunned. I thought he was thinking of ways to torture me, making me say in a panic, well, just act like you never found me and act as if we never met today. If you really feel indebted to me, then just give me some money. I won't ask for much, 30 million will do. After saying that, I called the system Ergu. Again, is there any way to help me escape the Mu family? The system looked troubled. Host, stop dreaming. You must return to the Mu family, complete the plot of this book, then we can receive the reward and return to the original world. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in this book forever. Whatever, I replied. I'm not stupid. Knowing clearly that going back means being framed in all sorts of ways by that fake young master, so why should I go back? Why don't you just take me back to my old world, otherwise, just destroy me already? Anyway, I'm not going back. Suyi heard the conversation between me and the system, and hurriedly said, My son, your parents will give you the money, but you must come home with us, don't worry. Once we're home, if anyone dares to treat you badly, Mom will make them disappear from this world forever. It seems our son still doesn't know that we can hear his inner thoughts. This is for the best, to prevent him from finding out and refusing to reveal his thoughts anymore. No matter where my son came from, or whether he's some kind of demon or ghost, he's still my biological son. Back then, failing to protect you was my fault. In the future, if I let you suffer any more grievances, then your father and I truly deserve to die, but I didn't believe a word they said, still insisting, Old Mu, don't be so stubborn. Can't you just act as if I'm dead? Old Mu. Mushan looked at me in a daze. His own son doesn't call him dad but calls him Old Mu. But then again, it makes sense. I've never raised him for a single day. It's all my fault. I must find every way to make it up to my son later. Just then, a woman walked out of the orphanage. Seeing the Mew couple, she said with great curiosity, Uncle Mu, Auntie Mu, why are you two here? Mushan and Suyi turned their heads, taking a moment to recognize her. It turned out to be the youngest daughter of the Feng family, Feng Bao Bao. Bao Bao, why are you here? Suyi walked closer, greeting her with a smile. Mushan proudly and loudly introduced. We came here to pick up our biological son and take him home. Hearing the name Feng Bao Bao, I looked up with great interest and was startled. I thought there was a sister Bao here too, but her way of dressing is indeed just as sloppy. Ergu, check Feng Bao Bao's divination for me. No, check her background. Why is she coming out of the orphanage like that? This old Mu and his wife are really something. I haven't even agreed. I don't know what they're randomly introducing. Hearing my inner thoughts, the corners of Mushan and his wife's mouths twitched repeatedly. That's a biological son for you. He doesn't give his parents any face at all. And Feng Bao Bao also frowned at me. This guy's lips haven't seemed to move at all. So what was that I just heard? Feng Bao Bao looked at the Mew couple again, finding that they were also looking at her, their eyes full of scrutiny. In an instant, all three of them were stunned. To their surprise, all three of them could hear Muge's inner thoughts. Feng Bao Bao said in a panic, Auntie Mu, just now he. The words that followed, describing how she heard Mugi's inner thoughts, were all completely muted. She couldn't even utter a single punctuation mark. Seeing this, Suyi breathed a sigh of relief. It turns out we can only hear them, but cannot speak them out loud. Well then, that's good, that's great. Bao Bao, Muge really is our biological son. We've already done the DNA test. Suyi patted Feng Bao Bao's small hand and said proudly. Feng Bao Bao was full of curiosity. So you two can also. The words that followed again failed to make a sound. The Mu couple nodded in unison. That's right, we can hear them too. I stood to the side, not bothering to care about them, arms crossed over my chest, looking up at the sky, my ears eavesdropping. This host just found out. The reason this Feng Bao Bao came to the orphanage is because a month ago, she found a newborn baby. After searching but failing to find the baby's biological parents, she sent it to the orphanage. I curled my lip. This isn't such a big deal. It seems this girl Feng Bao Bao is actually quite kind-hearted. The system laughed mischievously. Host, this matter is humongous. That baby is actually Feng Bao Bao's nephew. Her cousin-in-law just gave birth to a son, but he was swapped by the poor schoolgirl whom her cousin had been helping. In just 1 week, Feng Baobao will discover the truth and shall kindly return the child, exposing the poor schoolgirl's true colors. I rested my chin on one hand, my eyebrows gradually furrowing. So that's how it is. Based on my years of transmigration experience, with Feng Baobao being so kind, I'm afraid she'll meet a tragic end, won't she? The host is truly wise, the system replied with a laugh. The next major thing is, the baby actually has a congenital disease, and her cousin thinks it's not his child. But the poor schoolgirl wasn't satisfied, so she took the child and the cousin for a DNA test, then discovered it really is of the Feng bloodline. As a result, Feng Baobao became hated by both her own cousin and that schoolgirl. And so, on a dark night, she was poisoned by that poor schoolgirl, then subjected to that by over a dozen thugs, eventually dying in resentment. I nodded slightly. I see. I think this Feng Baobao really has no brains, always liking to play the good person at every turn. Feng Baobao stood to the side, dazed like a statue, her mind full of those words from Ergu. I worked so hard to find my cousin's biological son, only to end up being killed by them, using such cruel methods. Mushan and Su Yi looked at each other with concern, then at Feng Baobao standing nearby, not knowing what to do for a moment. I finished my eavesdropping, turned my head to take a look, and saw them still standing there in a daze. Why haven't you all left yet? Whether you give the money or not doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going back. I really can't be bothered with this whole short-lived family of theirs. After that fake young master kills me, everyone in the Mu family will also be finished one by one. Isn't it better to just keep living? Mushan's heart skipped a beat. Is the whole family going to pass away one after another? How can that be? Suya's palms were already drenched in cold sweat. It's true that the adopted son killed the biological one. Is he also planning to harm this whole family? How can he be so cruel? I have always treated him like my own child. No, I absolutely cannot let this happen. Feng Baobao was also busy eavesdropping, but now she had no mind for it because at this moment, she cared more about herself. Uncle Mu, Auntie Mu, I have something to do, so we'll take my leave now. Feng Baobao intended to investigate clearly first. Maybe those things that this guy said in his heart are all completely wrong? Ergu sneered. Host, Feng Baobao is planning to investigate the truth. But her head is really not that sharp. Actually, from the moment she found that baby, her cousin had already sent someone to follow her. She might be finished even before she can find out the truth. Just as she was about to leave, Feng Baobao's body suddenly froze instantly. She pretended to look around casually, and as a result, she indeed discovered some suspicious people. Damn it, he was spot on. Feng Baobao immediately changed her mind, looked at the Mu couple and said, Uncle Auntie, could you please give me a ride if it's on your way? Mushan naturally understood the reason, so he didn't ask any more questions, but nodded in agreement immediately. Then he stepped beside me. Mugi, if you still don't believe in our determination, then how about this? For now, just come home with us once and I'll give you 100 million as capital. If you feel the family isn't what you thought, then you can leave at any time. At that time, I'll give you another 100 million. What do you think? No problem. I nodded instantly without a hint of hesitation. Ergu was dumbfounded. Host, didn't you say even if I destroyed you, you still wouldn't go back there? I sighed helplessly. I didn't want to either, but they offered such a good price. It's really too much money. Ergu's face was full of black lines. Just admit you're greedy for money. Why make more excuses? I suspect you've been refusing repeatedly just to wait for this very moment, haven't you? Mushan was visibly overjoyed. Likes money? Well, that's great. I have money that won't run out in a lifetime. If I don't let my son spend it, who else will? As long as my son is willing to come home, no amount of money is a problem. Feng Baobao secretly rolled her eyes in contempt. Such a money grubber. This guy is even more greedy for money than I am. Just as they sat in the car, Feng Baobao received a call from her older brother, his tone full of urgency. Baobao, why did our cousin send people to investigate you? Feng Baobao froze. Brother, you found out too? Feng Jing, his voice became cold. Daring to touch my sister, he must be tired of living. Where are you? Let me come and pick you up. Feng Baobao felt a warmth in her heart. Brother, let's talk when we meet. Just come to the Mu family villa to pick me up. Don't act recklessly. The situation is a bit complicated. After hanging up the phone, Feng Baobao kept staring at me without looking away. Half a day has passed already. Why has that system been so quiet? Just now, when I intended to investigate, he knew everything. What I just said to my brother, he must have heard it all too, right? I caught a glimpse of Feng Baobao's gaze, so I frowned and asked, Ergu? What is Feng Baobao doing staring at me like that? The system hesitated, recognizing that something was wrong. Host, she might have heard already. I gave a disdainful snort, the corner of my mouth curling up high. Ergu, have some confidence. She must have been captivated by this host's handsome appearance. She must be lusting after this host's body, right? Am I right? At this moment, Ergu looked at me with a face full of black lines. In those street stall clothes of yours? Would Feng Baobao really care about your looks? Although she's dressed simply, it's all high-end designer brands. The host is truly becoming excessively narcissistic. Feng Baobao, standing nearby, was also speechless. How can there be someone so thick-skinned and shameless in this world? Me, caring about you? That really is the most ridiculous thing in the world. She originally intended to eavesdrop on some news from the system. No, eavesdrop on news about herself, only to end up hearing nothing but the arrogance of a conceited guy. Su Yi quickly covered her mouth and lowered her head, pretending she hadn't heard a thing. But in her heart, she still felt immensely comforted. Her son had suffered so much all these years, yet he still maintained such confidence. This trait is just like me. No matter how great the difficulty, don't dream of knocking me down. I naturally had no idea that in the car right now, the inner thoughts of those two women were so rich. I just asked the system in wonder, Ergu, why isn't she investigating anymore? And why does she keep staring at me? If she keeps looking, you'll deal with her for good. Hearing this, Feng Baobao hurriedly lowered her face. But then she thought, he'll keep looking, just to see how he plans to deal with me. And so, she pretended to be scrolling through her phone, then looked up again and continued staring at me. The system said with some doubt, host Feng Baobao's often short-circuited brain seems to have just smartened up a tiny bit. That was her younger brother calling just now. It's a shame for such a good brother. Very soon he will lose his life on the Xiyun highway. Feng Baobao immediately bowed her head, frantically tapping her phone. Brother, absolutely do not go on the Xiyun highway. For goodness sake, don't take that road. Just let the driver pick me up when we meet. I'll explain everything to you clearly. Half an hour later, the car stopped in front of the Mu family villa's gate. The people sent by the Feng family were also there, standing respectfully to one side and saying, Miss, the eldest young master ordered me to pick you up. Feng Baobao nodded, then turned around and offered her thanks to Mushan and his wife. Auntie, uncle, thank you for giving me a ride. I have to go home now. I'll come to visit you personally another day. Mushan nodded, looking with satisfaction at the Feng family's young lady. He couldn't help but think in his heart, this girl truly understands etiquette, and the Feng family's power is immensely strong. If she could become a pair with my son, that would indeed be a good thing. As soon as they entered, Su Yi called over the two youngest daughters. Yulu, Yuye, come here quickly. This is your biological older brother. This is Muge. Greet your younger brother. I looked toward the living room, discovering a pair of beautiful sisters on the sofa. They were wearing two identical dresses, except one wore black and the other wore white. It seems they dressed like that on purpose to be easily distinguished since they are twins, and an outsider basically wouldn't be able to tell who's the older sister and who's the younger. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye reluctantly stepped closer, glancing at me once, but their eyes were full of disgust, as if they were about to say, where did this country bumpkin come from? Seeing this, Mushan's expression suddenly became stern. Yulu, Yuye, greet your younger brother. The two daughters had no choice but to bow their heads and softly mutter, brother. But the moment they lowered their heads, both of them rolled their eyes in unison. Dad really is. If he found him, but why bring him home? Looking at this guy, he's the standard definition of dirt poor, who knows if his hands are even prone to stealing. If other families were to find out about this, the Mu family would surely be laughed at until their noses rotted. On the surface, I pretended not to care, replying with a smile, hello, you two. But in my heart, I said to the system, Ergu, it's just our first meeting, but these two sisters of mine don't seem to like the look of me much, do they? The system replied with a laugh. Host, have some confidence, drop those words don't seem to. They truly don't like the look of you. And besides, both of these girls are strictly in the blind and foolish category. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye froze, turning at once to stare at me. Who is he talking to? Clearly his lips didn't move at all, but we clearly heard his voice just now. The two sisters didn't understand what was happening, so they hurriedly turned to their parents for help. Mushan shook his head slightly, signaling for the two of them not to make a scene. Su Yi chuckled and explained, Mugi, your two sisters are just too happy. Our family has searched for you for so many years they thought we'd never be able to find you again. Just rest for a bit. I'll tell the chef to prepare dinner. Today our whole family can finally eat a reunion meal. I nodded, and while stepping toward the sofa, continued to ask the system. It really is strange. According to the script, shouldn't I be completely ignored the moment I returned, even having to run errands for everyone, before they'd even spare me a single glance? How come it feels so decent now? The system was also a bit confused. Host, I think it might be because of your attitude just now. If you had proactively asked to return earlier, then their attitude probably wouldn't be this good. Su Yi took the chance to call her two daughters, along with the butler and maids, to give instructions. The message was extremely brief and concise. From now on in this house, anyone who dares to show a disrespectful attitude toward Muji must get the hell out of here immediately, no matter who that person is. She even gave a special look to her two daughters. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye had also understood the issue by now, that they seemed to have heard Muje's inner thoughts, and both mom and dad could hear them too. This newly found older brother is indeed a bit different. Remembering their mother's instructions, the two girls suddenly became unusually obedient, bringing a fruit plate beside me. Brother, please try some. This fruit was picked from our own garden. It's really sweet, brother. Mushan didn't go anywhere, just sitting stubbornly to one side, staring at me. He was still hoping to eavesdrop on more stories about his daughters. Oh no, hoping for news. But after waiting for a long time without hearing any more of my inner thoughts, he proactively asked, Yulu, Yuye, why did you two come home so early today? Didn't you say you'd go shopping this weekend? Muyulu replied with a sigh. Dad, we originally intended to go shopping, but my best friend Dairu suddenly got sick, so I have to go to the hospital to visit her in a bit. Ruru is sick? Mushan hurriedly asked. What kind of illness? Is it serious, my dear? He knew Dairu, as she had once saved Muyulu's life, so he had a very good impression of her. Muyulu was just about to speak when my inner thoughts reached Mushan's ears directly. Dairu isn't sick at all. That really is the biggest joke in the world. She's actually pregnant. Look at old Mu over there. He's surely been fooled too. No wonder those twins are so blind and foolish. It turns out it's just hereditary from him. Muyulu's mouth, which had just opened, gradually opened wide, and she turned to stare at me in shock. What? Ru is pregnant? How can that be? She's just a poor student who just graduated from university. She doesn't even have a single boyfriend, so how could she be pregnant? But Mushan only cared about the part where he'd been fooled and immediately flew into a rage. Yulu, tell me the truth. What exactly happened with Dairu? Muyulu was so scared she trembled. Dad, everything I said is the truth. On the outside, I didn't say a word, but my inner thoughts just kept pouring out. Old Mu looks really cool when he's angry. He's exactly like me. Hearing this, Mushan suddenly froze. The anger that had just risen vanished completely in an instant. His face full of black lines, he stared at me. This little rascal. I am your father. It should be you who's like me. But hearing his son praise him as cool, Mushan felt a non-negligible surge of pride in his heart. I leisurely finished the banana and moved on to strawberries, with an extremely composed expression as I listened to Ergu continue telling me more gossip. The twins immediately straightened their backs, yet fearing they might be discovered by me, so I hurriedly pretended to be playing with my phone. Mushan also pricked up his ears to listen, looking exactly like he was eavesdropping on some juicy gossip. Quick, tell me everything already. The system finally spoke up. Host, this tea is actually quite scandalous. It's about these twin sisters right here. They are currently sharing the same boyfriend. What nonsense! Muyulu heard the system's words and was so enraged she stood up instantly. Muyuye also jumped up right after her, glaring at me with a face full of fury. I was startled, turning my head to look at them. What's wrong? What happened? Are you two suffering from some serious illness? I didn't even say anything. Muyuye was so angry she stomped her feet loudly. Just now you said. But that inner voice didn't care. The part concerning his inner thoughts was directly muted, making it impossible for her to speak it aloud. Muyulu thought her younger sister was hesitating on purpose, so she tried to cut in. Say it just now, She was no exception. Every part about the inner voice was completely silenced. The two sisters looked at each other in confusion, finally looking at their father at the same time. Mushan closed his eyes and nodded silently. That's right, it's just like that. He and his wife have already experienced this. I looked at Mushan curiously. Old Mu, did I do something wrong? No way, right? No way. It was those two who told me to eat the fruit. They must be annoyed that I'm eating too much. No wonder Ergu said the Mu family is doomed. They can't even afford to provide a bit of simple fruit. Muyulu and Muyuye were dazed, their mouths hanging open in shock. What did he say? The Mu family is doomed? How is that possible? They both looked at their father, only to find out that their father had a grieving expression and was nodding silently. Seeing me still staring at him, Mushan let out a sigh. Muge, don't overthink it. These two are always glued to their phones. Over time, sometimes their brains don't function quite right. After saying that, he turned to his two youngest daughters, and with a dissatisfied expression, he said, What are you two just standing there for? Apologize to your brother right now, and since your brother returned today, no one is allowed to set foot out of this house. Mushan had no idea. At this moment, the two sisters had long since lost the desire to go out. They crowded around me too, wanting to hear what on earth was going on with that Dairu. Beyond that, they wanted to know on what basis I claimed they were sharing the same boyfriend. So the two sisters apologized to me at once. Dongzhang, we're sorry. Our heads were just a bit muddled just now. I nodded curtly, letting out an "oh" and saying nothing more, then continued to question the system. Ergo, tell me the details. The system wore a triumphant expression. Host, these two sisters of yours really have something wrong with their heads, especially the older one. If Mu Yulu goes to the hospital today to visit Dai Ru, she will find that she just finished an abortion. To save her reputation, she will frame Mu Yulu, claiming Mu Yulu was the one who had a miscarriage, and even hire a bunch of cheap paparazzi to send her straight to the top of the trending topics. At this moment, Mu Yulu's head was ringing from the shock. How could that be? The system continued. Just when Mu Yulu is at her most desperate, her boyfriend, who is also Mu Yuye's boyfriend, named Wu Delang, will show up. He'll say he can use money to settle everything, but he needs 50 million yuan and will threaten her not to tell her family. Mu Yulu will have no other choice and be forced to secretly transfer 50 million from Mushan's company to Xiao Chusheng. But in the end, that Wu Delang will take her to northern Myanmar. I probably don't need to tell you how that ends, do I? This time, Mu Yulu was completely stunned into silence. Wu Delang, is he really seeing my younger sister Mu Yuye in secret? And he's even going to sell me to northern Myanmar? I clicked my tongue in exclamation. Wu Delang sounds just like Wu Delang, but I have to admit, this Phoenix man has some skills, seducing both of those twins at the same time. Let me guess, isn't he in the same gang as that Ruru girl? The system nodded. Host, you're indeed too smart, but they're also just following someone else's orders. Then the system continued. After the older sister is sold to northern Myanmar, the Mu family will be completely unaware. The remaining younger sister will team up with that imposter to frame you, making the whole family believe you are a jinx, and eventually, you'll be kicked out of the Mu house and die a tragic death on the streets. So tragic, truly pathetic. Hearing that, I couldn't help but shiver, but I still looked perfectly calm on the outside. Looks like old Mu is about to get slapped in the face. These twins are being played like fiddles by that Phoenix man, yet they still insist on going to the hospital to visit their so-called best friend. When they try to frame me, he'll just call the police, and while I'm at it, I'll make old Mu compensate me with 200 million yuan. I'll use that chance to cut ties with the family and then run far away to enjoy my freedom. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye felt like they'd been struck by lightning. Their heads were buzzing uncontrollably. Especially Mu Yulu, just thinking about being sold to northern Myanmar, by her own best friend no less. And to top it off, even her sister was being conned by that Phoenix man. Disgusting. It's truly beyond disgusting. Twins naturally have telepathy, and right now, they understood each other perfectly with just a glance. The two suddenly became unusually united, clasping each other's hands tightly, comforting one another with their eyes. Mushan, standing nearby, felt his legs go weak, trembling all over from pure rage. How could his precious daughter die such a tragic death? Even the son he just found was being misunderstood by the whole family. Who on earth set this trap? At that exact moment, Mu Yulu's phone rang. It was Wu Delang calling. Mushan's face darkened, and he coldly ordered, "Put it on speaker." Mu Yulu didn't dare disobey her father. She also wanted to hear what this Phoenix man had to say, so she obediently placed the phone on the coffee table and turned on the hands-free mode. An effeminate voice echoed from the other end. "Lulu, where are you? Why haven't you arrived yet? I've been waiting for you for exactly 15 minutes and 29 seconds. Mu Yulu suppressed her internal rage and replied, "I'm almost there. I'm stuck in traffic." Before, she thought Wu Dalang was so thoughtful, now she just found him absolutely nauseating. Wu Dalang spoke in a whiny, coquettish tone. "I don't care, you have to make it up to me, I'm starving here. I want to eat Australian lobster today, and some bluefin tuna sashimi too." He proceeded to order 10 dishes in one go, totaling up to 500,000 yuan. Mushan's mouth twitched in anger. Even he wouldn't dare eat such an extravagant meal. This gold digger clearly made a habit of this. Mu Yulu didn't dare look at her father's expression, and before she could even answer, the other person had already hung up. Almost at the same time, Mu Yuye's phone also rang. It was that Wu Dalang again. Mushan's fists clenched until they cracked, and he barked in a low voice. "Put it on speaker again." Mu Yuye followed her father's command, and that familiar voice came from the other end. "Die, baby. Just come here with Lulu. I miss you so much. I could die. Try to sneak inside first later. I really need to give you a long kiss." Sitting on the sofa, I nearly vomited all the fruit I had just eaten. My God, this is truly revolting. Where on earth did these twin sisters find this freak to be their boyfriend? I have no idea. They must be really starved for affection. Mushan finally couldn't hold it back anymore. He took a step forward, snatched Mu Yuye's phone and smashed it to pieces. Then he pointed at his daughter's faces and roared, "Mu Yulu, Mu Yuye, do you two have anything left to say for yourselves? Filthy, truly beyond filthy." Twin sisters had never in their entire lives seen their father in such a thunderous rage and immediately fell to their knees in terror, weeping. "Father, we also didn't know what was happening. We were also deceived by him." Mushan looked at his daughters who were sobbing silently, his face full of profound disappointment. How did he give birth to two daughters as brainless and stupid as these? I glanced at the three of them, barely holding back a loud laugh. "So now you know how to be afraid? If you'd had a brain from the start, it wouldn't have come to this. But these two idiots, Even if they know the truth, they can't solve anything. According to Ergu, they'll still blindly believe that fake young master's words, and sooner or later, they'll both be finished. The twins heard my inner thoughts and turned to look at me simultaneously. In their eyes, there was both anger and confusion. How can he gloat like that over other people's pain? They aren't idiots now that we know the truth. From now on, we won't believe a single word from that fake young master ever again. Sensing the sister's gaze, I hurriedly waved my hands. I'm blind and deaf too, okay? I didn't see anything, and I don't know anything either. But internally, I was mocking them. Why the hell are you looking at me? If you know the truth now, why aren't you planning a counterattack? What's the point of just sitting there crying? The system's voice rang out. Host, I told you, these two have a negative IQ. They look pitiful now, but just wait until that fake young master returns. With just a few sweet words, this whole family will lose their brains again, and they'll do whatever he says. Mushan felt deeply regretful. Fortunately, he could hear his son's inner thoughts. Otherwise, he would surely have been led around by the nose by that imposter. Muge, how do you think we should handle this? He asked abruptly. Hearing this, Mu Yuye, as if grabbing a life-saving straw, hurriedly spoke up. Dongseng, you've been wandering outside for so many years. You must be wise and have profound knowledge. You must have a solution, right? Mu Yulu was even more direct. She knelt before me, crying as she spoke. Dongseng, you have to save me. I feel that Wu Dalong and Dairu are in league together. They've conspired beforehand. Those two definitely have more schemes. This time she was truly terrified. She'd seen those kinds of news stories online before. If she really got sold to northern Myanmar, it would be a fate worse than death. I looked at the two sisters in front of me with some surprise. Wow, just a moment ago you were calling me trash. So what is this situation now? Mu Yuye, sensing my doubt, imitated her sister and knelt down as well. Dongseng, we know we were wrong just now. Just now was our fault, knowing our Dongseng was coming home today. Yet we didn't prepare a homecoming gift. Please don't be mad. How about this? Our combined allowance is probably around 3 million yuan. We'll give it all to you. Mushan, standing nearby, took a deep breath, remembering my previous inner thoughts. He knew I really liked money, which was a good thing, so he spoke up. Muge, they really did wrong this time. If you have a solution, just say it, and I'll give you another 10 million yuan in pocket money. You can buy whatever you want. I maintained a cold expression. What is everyone doing? I'm just a poor kid from the outside. How could I have any profound knowledge? I can't do it. I have no solution. After speaking, I sighed inwardly. Why is the Mu family so weak? They've been bullied to this point, yet they still have to waste time thinking of ways to deal with it? Doesn't the Mu family own entertainment businesses? Just start a secret live stream and storm into the hospital to expose that adulterous couple, and it's done. First they kneel and beg me, then they try to give me money. Do they think I'm the type who can be swayed by a few mere coins? The system also wore a look of utter disdain. That's right, host, you are truly wise. According to the original plot, that imposter just threw down 50 million yuan to buy an island last month, yet old Mu only offers you 10 million? Is this the attitude of someone asking for a favor? Is this how he treats his biological son? They deserve to be finished off soon. Hearing this, I was stunned. What? Spent 50 million yuan on an island? Oh my god, I can't even imagine it. If I had 50 million yuan, I would be such a happy, optimistic young man. Mushan's face turned pale, looking absolutely miserable. Where did that imposter get all that money? Who allowed him to squander 50 million on an island? The twins were dazed for a moment, then looked at each other, both their eyes gleaming with immense joy. Dongzeng really is the type whose words don't match his heart. They now knew exactly what they had to do. Next, the two sisters stood up quickly and bowed to me once more. Dongzeng, we know we were wrong. Don't worry. We'll definitely return alive, just you watch, to make the ones who bullied us pay a heavy price. With that, the sisters turned and dashed out. Worry was etched on Mushan's face. Muge, go ahead and eat first. No need to wait for us. Having spoken, he followed his daughters out. I stood there confused with a head full of question marks. What? What on earth is happening? Didn't you just say you'd give me money? That 10 million yuan would have been fine. I'd even reconsider for 5 million, don't leave. But now, there wasn't a single soul left in the villa. Just then, Su Yi came downstairs, and seeing me alone in the living room, she asked in surprise, Muge, where did your father and sisters go? I answered gloomily. I don't know. Something very important must have come up for them to rush off like that. Feeling bored, I opened my phone and started scrolling through TikTok. Soon, a live stream caught my attention. It was Mu Yulu secretly live streaming. The title was truly shocking. Like pot, like lid, deep and passionate love, eternal and everlasting. The system naturally saw it too, and couldn't help but wonder. It seems they suddenly grew brains, actually daring to secretly live stream to expose those two. This looks like it could be quite interesting. I frowned slightly. Ergu, I feel like there's a hidden master guiding those Mu sisters. Otherwise, with their intelligence, they never would have come up with this. The system also became suspicious. Indeed, according to the plot, these two girls weren't supposed to be this smart. Hearing the system's words, I also started to doubt. Ergu, quickly check who the hidden master behind them is, the system said with a serious face. Host, I just finished checking, and there's no outside master here at all. It's just that their minds suddenly brightened, and they finished the entire plan while they were on the way. Is that even possible? A brain can just grow like that? I looked utterly astonished, and the system was equally perplexed. But that really is the truth. Ever since they stopped being idiots, their acting skills have skyrocketed as well. I turned off my phone and leaned all the way back on the sofa, closing my eyes to rest. There's definitely something fishy about this, otherwise how could the plot have veered off course by 10,000 miles? Suyi, standing nearby, hurriedly covered her mouth, not daring to let a laugh escape, thinking to herself, "You silly child, that hidden master is you. If we hadn't heard your inner thoughts, our whole family would probably be ruined by now." The system continued. Host, I just checked one more time and I truly haven't found anyone suspicious. Let's just wait and see. But anyway, the Mu family's first major tribulation can be considered overcome for now. That fake young master surely won't dare to harm you again for a while. But why do you still seem unhappy? I let out a long, heavy sigh. What's there to be happy about? Didn't you just say it? That guy used a full 50 million yuan to buy an island. And me? I am their biological son. I've been home for several hours already, yet no one has handed me a few 100 million, so I can buy an island to play around with too. That's why I told you, this kind of abnormal brain function, it grows fast and disappears just as quickly. When that fake young master returns, we'll see, I'm sure the whole family will defend him blindly again. Suya's heart skipped a beat. Mu Baichuan spent 50 million yuan on an island? Why did she have no knowledge of this at all? Who gave him that money? Mu family money doesn't just fall from the sky. Even though she and her husband doted on Baichuan, giving him almost anything he wanted, they had never spoiled him to such an outrageous extent. When he returns, she must demand an explanation. At that very moment, Mu Baichuan entered the house with a beautiful woman. When Mu Baichuan saw me, a flash of smugness crossed his eyes, and even though it was only for a split second, it didn't escape my notice. He approached Su Yi, speaking in a worried tone. Mom, didn't I tell you already? He's an unlucky person, bringing bad omens. His whole body is covered in misfortune. The woman beside him also cast a sidelong glance at me sitting on the sofa and said irritably, Mom, why did you even bring him back to this house? Didn't we already agree? Even if he really is who you say he is, you shouldn't have just brought him straight home like this. Wow, another idiot brainwashed by that fake product. Ergu, who is this girl? Any hot info on her? The system replied quickly. Host, she is the Mu family's third child, Mu Tangchun, currently a ski instructor. As for rumors about her, wait a moment while I check. I glanced at Mu Tangchun, then spoke coldly. I don't know where this blind fool came from stepping through the door and immediately spouting such filthy nonsense. Hearing this, Mu Tangchun was completely stunned. You jinx, you dare to insult me? She was about to open her mouth to argue back when she heard my inner voice. Mom Su looks decent enough, and old Mu isn't too bad either, so how did they give birth to such a bunch of brainless children? They probably never got DNA tests, did they? They should probably find a time to get one. Who knows, they might not even be their biological kids. Maybe they were swapped at birth without them knowing. Mu Tangchun was first taken aback. Clearly she didn't see my mouth move, but that voice was incredibly real and clear. But thinking about how I had insulted her so severely, she immediately became so angry, her chest felt like it would explode. Mugie, you little brat. But as for the inner thoughts, she couldn't utter a single dot or comma of them. Mu Tangchun no longer cared about any of that, because she had never been insulted like this before. She intended to rush over and give me a sisterly lesson with a good beating, but at that very moment, Suyi reached out just in time to stop her. She roared in anger. Mu Tangchun, look at the state you're in right now. Mugi has only just returned, and as his biological sister, how could you say such things to him? Apologize to Mugi this instant, right now. Mu Tangchun almost couldn't believe her own ears. Mom, what are you talking about? What biological brother? My only brother from the very beginning has been Baichuan, and him alone. I will never recognize someone like him, as my younger brother Su Yi was so furious upon hearing this that she nearly fainted. Mu Tangchun, where is your upbringing? Is this how your father and I usually teach you? Mugi is our biological son, which means he is your biological brother. Now I am ordering you, apologize to Muge immediately. Suyi couldn't help but be enraged. If it weren't for her biological son, the Mu family would be preparing for a funeral by now. Has this third daughter completely lost her mind? Mu Tangchun turned her head away, her voice resolute. I won't. On what grounds are you making me apologize? He is a jinx, who will only bring ruin to our family. Didn't Baichuan already tell you? So what if I scold him? He deserves it. Su Yi was speechless with rage, her hand rising for a slap. At the critical moment, Mu Baichuan stepped forward, spreading his arms wide to shield Mu Tongchun behind him. Mom, please don't hit third sister. If you want to hit someone, hit me. Big brother just returned and showed no respect to third sister. That isn't exactly a sign of good upbringing either. Third sister only said that because she wants what's best for him. That's why she spoke like that. If it were anyone else, third sister wouldn't even bother. He choked up as he spoke, tears already welling up in his eyes. If Su Yi remained persistent, he would burst into tears right then and there. This was his usual tactic, and every time he did this, the whole family would feel sorry for him. The biological son of the Mu family might be back, but so what? Mu Tongchun felt even more moved being shielded by Mu Baichuan. She was deeply touched in her heart. Glancing at me sitting on the sofa, she felt her stomach churn with anger again. Look, Mom, see how sensible and thoughtful Baichuan is? Now look at that guy. What on earth is he doing? The moment he came back, our family met with misfortune. I told you a long time ago he's nothing but a jinx. Su Yi flew into a rage. Shut your mouth, Mugi is not a jinx. Mu Baichuan shed tears of grievance. Mom, please don't be angry. It's all my fault. It's all because I'm not good enough. Mu Tongchun hugged Baichuan, wiping his tears. Baichuan, what wrong did you do? This has absolutely nothing to do with you. The one at fault is that guy. He's just a shameless jinx. Our family is in a total war because of him, yet he can still sit there acting dead. No matter what, I will never let him stay in the Mu house. We must kick him out at all costs. I took a few deep breaths to suppress my rage, leaning back on the sofa to rest with my eyes closed. This third sister is truly brainless, being used as a meat shield by Mu Baichuan, and yet she's so smug about it. All she's good at is spewing filth. She's not even as good as a stray dog on the roadside. Mu Tongchun was insulted again. This time she completely lost her patience and stomped over in a fury. Muge, if you have something to say it to my face. On what grounds do you? Don't you dare. Speak up if you're so brave. Mu Tongchun was dying of anger, reacting to the insults she heard in her heart. I thought she was having some kind of episode, speaking only in half sentences, and gave a quiet sigh in my mind. You aren't worthy of talking to me. I am a human, while you are just a stray dog. Between different species, communication barriers are only natural. Got it? Mu Tongchun went completely insane, screaming until her voice went hoarse. She wanted to hit me, the kind of beating that wouldn't stop until death. But when she saw her mother's sharp gaze beside her, she faltered. The feeling of having rage with no outlet made her break down. Mu Baichuan recognized third sister's awkward situation and hurried over, looking at me with a deeply aggrieved expression. Brother, please just apologize to sister. You've truly made her very angry. Please stop causing trouble. The family is facing a huge crisis, and she's already so heartbroken and sad. I quickly dodged a meter away on the sofa, gagging as if I were about to vomit. Mom, this fake smells so foul. I feel sick just catching a whiff of him. Mu Baichuan's face immediately paled upon hearing this. Brother, are you disgusted by me? I nodded while clutching my chest. Honey, be more confident. I am absolutely disgusted by you. Mu Baichuan didn't expect me to admit it so bluntly. Shouldn't I be pretending at least a little? How was he supposed to counterattack? He had never encountered a situation like this. A master? This guy was truly a master, leaving Mu Baichuan momentarily at a complete loss for words. Mu Tongchun saw Mu Baichuan being wronged, and after hearing my thoughts, her rage exploded completely. Mugi, keep acting then. See for yourself. See what wonderful things you've caused. Having said that, she pulled out her phone, opened the news page she had just been reading, and shoved it in front of my face. Look closely. The news is everywhere right now, talking about the Mu twins being kidnapped, Mu Yulu having a miscarriage and framing her best friend, and Mu Ngok Diep stealing her own sister's boyfriend. If it weren't for a jinx like you returning, why would our family be in such a state? I only gave it a passing glance, then looked at her as if she were an idiot. Haven't you refreshed the page yet? I gave a cold sneer in my mind. Is this huge idiot illiterate? Mu Baichuan was stunned by my attitude. A poor wretch who had been wandering for years, faced with clear evidence right before his eyes, and yet he still refuses to admit it. Third sister, please don't be angry and don't blame brother anymore. He didn't want this either. Let's just wait for dad to come home and decide. Mu Tongchun laughed in frustration. Baichuan, you are truly far too kind. He is really just too uneducated. Today I must teach him a proper lesson. You haven't refreshed the page? Fine. I'll do it right now in front of you. I'll refresh it for you to see. Let's see how you... At this point, Mu Tongchun couldn't continue. She stared at her phone, her eyes widening to their limit. How? How can this be? At this moment, the eyes of third sister Mu Tongchun were glued to the phone screen, her face showing total disbelief, her small hand frantically scrolling through the screen. Just moments ago, she clearly saw news everywhere about the Mu family's tragic situation. But after refreshing the page, why had everything changed? Even though the Mew family still held the top spots on major search engines, the content had completely shifted direction. The Mew family has performed a great service helping the police arrest a massive criminal syndicate. The Mew family twins were manipulated by fake friends, nearly being sold to northern Myanmar. The Mew family held a press conference announcing they found their long-lost biological son, and this crisis was resolved thanks to the Mew family's lucky star, Mugi, who turned everything around. They even planned to hold a grand recognition ceremony. The more Mu Tongchun read, the uglier her expression became, feeling as though her sky were crashing down. Bai Chuan already investigated it. The whole truth was laid out right there. Mugi is clearly a jinx, so why does Dad say he is someone who brings good fortune? The two twin sisters relied on their own intelligence to turn the tide. What does that have to do with Mugi? Beside her, Mu Bai Chuan saw the ugly expression on Mu Tongchun's face and felt a bit more smug in his heart. It must be because third sister saw the negative news online that she's so angry. Mugi should be the jinx, while I remain the one pampered by the entire family. Thinking this, he even put on an act to comfort Mu Tongchun. Third sister, please don't be too angry. Brother wouldn't understand anyway. He just came home and then the family faced this crisis. Once he learns the truth, he will surely apologize to you. But Mu Tongchun didn't seem to hear his words, silently handing the phone to him. Bai Chuan, check your own phone. Why has the news changed? Mu Bai Chuan didn't care at all, and while pulling out his own phone, he glanced at Mu Tongchun's screen, speaking in an indifferent tone. Sister, our news should be the same. It couldn't possibly be wrong. The words died in his throat. His already small eyes suddenly bugged out, and his mouth fell wide open. What kind of news is this? How is this possible? He hurriedly opened his phone, trying his best to refresh the websites repeatedly, and then wore an expression identical to Mu Tongchun. Impossible. It absolutely cannot be. Just now, when we were in the car, he had clearly seen it. Everyone was saying the two youngest Mew daughters were finished. The Mew family was in deep trouble. The Mew family was facing an earth-shattering disaster. But why has the situation done a complete 180-degree turn? I gave a cold laugh. Why would it be impossible? The Mew family isn't in trouble. You don't seem very happy about it, do you? Only then did Mu Bai Chuan realize he had slipped up, quickly protesting. Brother, how can you say that about me? That's not what I meant. Mu Bai Chuan started rambling incoherently. I let out a mocking laugh. Don't call me big brother every chance you get. I wouldn't dare claim a White Lotus brother like you. Leaning back on the sofa, I gave a helpless sigh. It seems this fake's acting skills aren't that great after all. He's already exposed himself out of fear. But looking at the state of Su Yi and third sister, they probably don't even care. Anyway, in the original plot, whatever that fake says is treated as gospel. The whole family is led by the nose by him, one after another turning into brainless idiots. Mu Tongchun had intended to speak up for Mu Bai Chuan, but after hearing my inner thoughts, she couldn't utter a single word, her mind seemingly clearing up a bit. At this moment, she also noticed something off about Mu Bai Chuan. The Mu family isn't in trouble, so shouldn't he be happy? So why did he look a bit unwilling just now? Unable to figure it out, Mu Tongchun looked at her mother. Su Yi approached with a grim face, speaking coldly. Third sister, apologize to your brother. I've said it already, Mugi is a part of this family. Anyone who dares to slander him again, don't blame me for being merciless. After speaking, she turned to glance at Mu Bai Chuan, shaking her head in disappointment. This son she had raised with her own hands. It seems he isn't simple at all. I showed no emotion, leaning back on the sofa, but internally, massive waves were surging. What is going on? Su Yi is actually speaking up to defend me? Shouldn't she be trusting Mu Bai Chuan? This is wrong, this is completely abnormal. Su Yi sighed upon hearing those thoughts, feeling even more ashamed. Was I really that kind of mother? Favoring the adopted son, ignoring my own biological son, always seeing him as an eyesore, to the point where he finally died a tragic death on the streets. But fortunately, I've woken up now. In the future, I must compensate this biological son many times over. Mu Tongchun timidly approached. Mugi, I'm sorry, I was wrong just now. I waved my hand, a look of complete indifference on my face. I don't care, as long as you're happy. But internally, I was cold sneering. Forced to apologize, she must be feeling resentful to the heavens, right? Thinking I'm not worthy of her apology, isn't it? Well, this host really doesn't care at all. Anyway, next time that fake frames me, they'll just side with him again. At that point, I can completely cut ties with them, take this pocket change, and fly away far. Perfect. Mu Tongchun didn't expect me to have such thoughts. I've already apologized, so why is he still looking so disgusted? So his only goal in returning was for money? If that's the case, then let mom and dad give him money and send him away to get it over with. Sua's heart felt even more pained. My biological son is already so disappointed in this family. At all costs, I cannot let him leave the Mew house. He is my biological son. Everything in the Mu family must belong to him. She glanced over, seeing Mu Baichuan still frantically scrolling through his phone, and the anger in her heart flared up again. Mu Baichuan, what are you still looking for? The Mu family is fine. Are you really that unhappy about it? Hearing this, Mu Baichuan hurriedly put his phone away, explaining with an immensely aggrieved look. Mom, you have to believe me. I'm not unhappy at all. I was just seeing how the younger girls fought back against the villains. I feel so proud of them, and I also feel a bit shaken with fear. Suye's face was cold. In the past, no matter what he said, she would have believed him instantly without hesitation. But now, she pointed at Mu Baichuan and said, You just slandered your brother. Now go and apologize to your brother. Mu Baichuan was utterly astonished, doubting he had heard correctly. Mom, what did you just say? You're telling me to go apologize to him? Mu Baichuan deliberately emphasized the word him, as if reminding Su Yi that she might have spoken in error. But Su Yi suppressed her anger and repeated it once more. Yes, I said, go and apologize to Mu Gi. Right now, Mu Baichuan was once again shocked with fear. This old woman Su Yi dares to yell at me, and she's forcing me to apologize to that jinx as well. Before, she kept insisting that, even if her biological son returned, she would still treat me as well as before. Clearly, those were all nothing but lies. Muge, why don't you just die already? But no matter how angry he was, or how unwilling he felt, he still had to endure and he was forced to continue bearing it. Brother, I'm sorry, please forgive me. The family had a huge crisis right after you returned. This was truly just too much of a coincidence. I shouldn't have thought too much about it. It's just that I was so worried. Mu Baichuan's sarcastic and veiled words, even an idiot could recognize them. He was clearly not sincere in his heart. I didn't even bother to look up. Barking dog. If you don't want to apologize, then don't. This kind of fake double-tongued speech really makes one want to vomit. And pretending to be so worried, worrying about what, heaven only knows if this whole thing was staged by you yourself. When trouble hits, all you're good at is talking. If you were truly that worried, then why didn't you call the two twins? Or you could have even called Mr. Mu. Mu Tongchun heard me scolding Mu Baichuan and had intended to step forward to demand justice for him, but upon hearing my next internal thought, she was completely stunned. Right, what this kid is saying actually seems very logical. On the way back just now, Mu Baichuan opened his phone and said the family was in trouble. As soon as I caught a glimpse of the news, I had intended to call Dad and the younger girls immediately. Yet Baichuan kept insisting that I shouldn't call, saying that things over there must be in total chaos and that calling wouldn't help at all. After that, Baichuan kept leading me to think that Mu Jie was a jinx. But why did Baichuan have to do that? And also, it seems I really fell into a trap set by this little scheme of Baichuan's. Am I really just a person with no brain? Su Yi had been staring at Mu Baichuan throughout the entire process, and hearing more of my inner thoughts, the rage in her heart erupted even more violently. But if she were to confront him now, he would surely resort to his old trick of crying and acting aggrieved, and just thinking about it was already annoying. Thus, Su Yi turned her head to look at Mu Tongchun. Back then, after you learned that the family was in trouble, did you call your father and your two younger sisters? Mu Tongchun was startled, stuttering as she spoke. Mom, I didn't call. Su Yi's voice grew even colder. Why not? Weren't you very anxious? Mu Tongchun glanced at Mu Baichuan, but he immediately lowered his head, as if he didn't even see her. Mom, at that time. It was truly because I was in too much of a hurry that it turned out like this. Mu Tongchun, who wasn't sure before, was now certain that she really was a brainless person. It turns out she could actually believe Mu Baichuan's lies. It was clearly because he had led her in the wrong direction, yet now he was playing dead. Su Yi's gaze was as sharp as daggers, as if wishing to skin her own daughter alive. How could I have given birth to a daughter as stupid as you, facing trouble, and you don't have even the slightest bit of judgment? Mu Tongchun burst into tears, her heart filled with grievances. Mom had never scolded her so severely before. Wasn't she always her mother's pride? Mu Baichuan beside her was still playing dead, head bowed low, not a trace of sorrow or joy in his eyes, but in his heart, fierce waves were already surging. What exactly happened? Muji only said a few simple words, yet it made the position he had struggled so hard to gain in this family shake violently. This is clearly just the beginning. If this situation continues, won't my future be completely ruined? Mu Baichuan absolutely could not allow such a thing to happen, so he spoke up, ignoring Suya's burning gaze. Mom, please don't blame third sister. Neither of us believed that story was true. We just wanted to get home quickly to see how things were. If you want to blame someone, blame me. It was because I didn't think things through clearly enough. Hearing what Ergu told me, I couldn't help but burst into laughter. Mu Baichuan turned around, gritting his teeth as he spoke. Brother, what are you laughing at? I gave a shrug. What business is it of yours? Anyway, I'm not going to bother telling you. But in my mind, I kept urging the system. Ergu, keep it going. This gossip is getting way too interesting. Right at that moment, Mu Baichuan suddenly burst into loud sobs. Brother, I know you're biased against me. It's all because of me that you had to wander outside and suffer so much hardship. I will leave here voluntarily to give your parents back to you, please. Just forgive me." Though he appeared very sincere on the outside, in his heart, he hated me enough to grit his teeth. Didn't Mom blame me for not being sensible? Then I'll try being sensible for once. I'll leave on my own, leaving her precious biological son here alone. That should be enough, shouldn't it? I quickly shifted to the side to make room. Don't, please don't. I am not your brother. You and I aren't close at all. This fake is trying to play the one step back, two steps forward trick with me. If he were truly sensible, he should have packed up and left a long time ago. Why choose this exact moment to demand to leave? Clearly, Su-yi would never have the heart to let him go, right? In the end, the one who has to leave will definitely still be me. The system also nodded in agreement. That's right. If everything proceeds exactly as in the original plot, then the one who ultimately must leave is indeed you. In my heart, I gave a weary sigh. I knew it. All of them are actually just putting on an act. But is that fake possibly actually a woman? That delicate, ladylike manner, before even finishing a single sentence, he's ready to cry 3 times. Does he always put on this kind of act on a normal day? With this going on, even if the Mu family is stable, all this crying will bring about a disaster sooner or later. Su-yi, while listening to my inner thoughts, kept her eyes fixed on Mu Baichuan, and in her heart, she truly felt immensely troubled and exhausted. If it were in the past, whenever she saw Mu Baichuan crying and sobbing like this and then demanding to leave, she would certainly have rushed over to embrace him, trying her hardest to comfort him, and even ready to give him a bank card so he could go buy whatever he wanted. But now, after understanding the secret thoughts of her biological son, she suddenly realized that all this time she had been completely deceived by this clumsy act. The more she thought about it, the more cursed she felt. Just as this thought crossed her mind, Su-yi gave Mu Baichuan a sharp and annoyed glare. "What kind of game are you exactly trying to play? What's with all this miserable wailing? Our whole family is still very much alive. There's no need for you to act like a professional mourner here. From now on, you better act normal for me and stop wiping away tears at every little thing. Acting so pathetic and effeminate like this is just disgraceful." Mu Tangchun also frowned as she looked at Mu Baichuan. "Baichuan, Mom is only saying this for your own good. You should fix this habit. Otherwise, outsiders will laugh at the Mu family." Before Mu Baichuan's tears could even dry, his whole body froze in place. In the past, I didn't even have to actually cry. I just had to look like I was about to cry, and the whole family would rush over to comfort me. Now that I'm being so reasonable, they're telling me I'm wrong. What on earth is wrong with this family? I'm about to die of laughter inside. The fake one must be so confused, right? He definitely can't wrap his head around it why his tears have lost their magic like this. But to be honest, I don't get it either. Why does it feel like Madame Su and the third sister aren't following the plot? It was dinner time. Mu Baichuan sat down in his reserved seat. This position was the most practical proof of his status in the house. In the past, even if distinguished guests visited, no one could take his seat. However, just as he sat down, Su-yi walked over. "Move over to the side. Let Mugi sit here next to me." This time, Mu Baichuan really wanted to cry. Wasn't I the treasure Mom loved the most? What on earth happened? He dejectedly sat at a corner of the table, with the face of a well-behaved child suffering an injustice. "Mom, third sister, brother, please go ahead and eat. Please eat. I want to wait for Dad and the younger ones to come home so we can eat together," Su-yi said irritably. "Your father already said it. There's no need to wait for them. He's starting his tricks again, acting aggrieved at every opportunity. How could I have tolerated him so much before?" Mu Baichuan forced a smile. "Thank you for your concern, Mom. Even though I haven't eaten anything all afternoon, I really can't eat right now. I need to see Dad and my sisters come home first. Everyone just eat, don't mind me." I didn't bother to pay attention to him, picked up a piece of sweet and sour rib, put it in my mouth and started eating. While eating, listening to Ergu reveal secrets in my head. Young master, the fake one treated his friends to a meal today, spending a whopping 3 million yuan. He ate until he was stuffed. That's why he doesn't even look at this food. He's just saying that on purpose. Hearing this, I almost spat out the rib in my mouth. Holy crap, 3 million yuan for one meal. What the hell did he eat that was so expensive? Does the Mu family have a money printer? First spending 50 million on an island, now a 3 million yuan meal. Living like this is better than being an immortal. No wonder the fake one is trying everything to push me out, wanting to kick me out just to seize the family fortune. Su-yi gripped her chopsticks tightly. Spending 3 million yuan on a single meal? Even I, Madame Mu, have never been that extravagant. Mu Baichuan even wants to seize the family fortune? In your dreams, boy. She turned to look at Mu Baichuan, her gaze bone-chillingly cold. Have you bought anything interesting lately? Who did you go to meet today? Mu Baichuan thought his mother was being caring, so he happily replied, "Mom, I just bought a small island recently for fun. I didn't do much today, just met up with some friends for a bit." Su-yi grew even more furious inside. "So how much did that island cost? Did you meet friends without having a meal?" Mu Tangchun, sitting next to them, was also stunned. 50 million yuan for a small island and just for fun? Is Baichuan's life that leisurely? Mu Baichuan seemed to realize his mother's tone was off, and his eyes began to shift. Mom, please don't ask anymore. It's just a remote island. It didn't cost much. My friends and I just chatted. I didn't have anything to eat or drink. Suyi was so angry she threw her chopsticks down. Speak up. Exactly how much did you spend on that island? Mu Baichuan could see it now. If he didn't tell the truth this time, he would be scolded regardless. He spoke weakly. Well, it only cost 50 million yuan. Su Yi immediately flew into a rage, slamming the table hard. Only 50 million? Where did you get that money? You've got quite the nerve. Throwing away 50 million like that, and you still consider it spare change? Do you think the Mu family's money falls from the sky? Mu Tangchun quickly distanced herself. Mom, don't look at me. I don't have that much money to give him. I acted as if I saw nothing, continuing to sip my wine, and then took a bite of steak. I have to admit, food in a wealthy house is on a different level. The quality is top-notch. The system is drooling too. Young master, I want to eat too, but I can only charge electricity, not charge up on meat. But that fake guy lies without even blushing. He still has the meal receipt in his pocket, and he even plans to give it to the Mu company to pay later. Either way, it's all Mr. Mu's money, makes no difference. I ate another rib. I must say, Madame Su and the third daughter are really overacting. The fake one has been spending wastefully since he was a kid. Don't they know that? Just because the fake one was slightly unhappy, they toss him a card right away, letting him buy whatever he wanted. Now they're pretending to count pennies in front of me. What kind of act is this? Su Yi was speechless. It's true, I used to be like that, but I didn't give him that much. Mu Baichuan has a receipt in his pocket and he still wants to bill it? Who did he learn those habits from? He sure knows how to scheme. Mu Tangchun felt extremely ashamed. Giving money to Mu Baichuan, she had indeed done that. Though she really wanted to defend herself, she found nothing to say, her face stinging, as if she had just been slapped several times in a row. Mu Baichuan lowered his head, looking like a child who had just done something wrong. Mom, this is the money Big Sister gave me. Last time I went to Big Sister's company, I accidentally fell, so Big Sister gave me money for medical expenses. What's wrong, Mom? Are you unhappy? Then I'll just return it. His voice choked up, but he didn't dare to actually burst into tears. Big Sister Mu Li owns a multinational corporation. This little change is nothing to her. Unlike that stingy old Su Yi, she's frighteningly miserly, limiting my card to only a few million yuan. This wasn't even her money she gave me. Could it be she still wants it back? This time it was Mu Tangchun's turn to be shocked. Just one fall, and Big Sister threw 50 million yuan at him. If earning money were that easy, I should have gone to Big Sister's company and taken a fall too. Su Yi's face went cold. Baichuan, I know you're a sensible child. Return that island. It'll help you donate this money to people who actually need it more. Hearing this, Mu Baichuan suddenly looked up, his eyes nearly popped out. This old hag actually wants me to return it. This is my money. On what grounds should I give it to those poor wretches? He couldn't hold it back anymore. Large bean-sized tears fell continuously. Mom, but I really love that island. However, if you want me to do charity, there must be a good reason. You'll listen to you, Mom. Su Yi breathed a sigh of relief internally. Baichuan, I knew you were a good boy. I'm very relieved. Now give me the island documents and the purchase procedures. You'll have my secretary handle the return process. As Su Yi spoke, she peeled a shrimp and placed it in my bowl. I looked at Su Yi with a bit of bewilderment. Madame Su must be plotting something against me. Otherwise, why would she treat me so well? Shouldn't she be criticizing my ugly eating habits or saying I'm eating too much? Hearing my thoughts, Su Yi quickly spoke. Mugi, you must remember this is your home. Since you're at home, don't be formal like a guest. Just do whatever makes you happy. Do you understand? I continued to bury my head in the food and coldly gave a response. Yes. Witnessing this scene, Mu Baichuan was so jealous, he felt like his stomach acid was about to overflow. That detestable Mu Gi, he actually dares to eat so comfortably. Is he blind? Doesn't he see how unpleasant my expression is? Mom, brother has suffered so much while he was away, he's probably never had such a delicious meal before. But if he eats too much at once, he'll get a stomachache. Our Mu family also has house rules. We shouldn't overeat at every meal. After speaking, he intentionally looked surprised. Oh, did I say something wrong again? I'm so sorry, brother. I only meant well for you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Mu Baichuan just kept acting and speaking to himself, and then apologized to himself. He had always used this tactic before, and no one could beat him at this game. I gave a cold laugh. You sissy, have some confidence. You're right. You did say the wrong thing since you're not eating anyway. Just shut up. The more I thought about it, the more nauseated I felt, so I decisively put my chopsticks down. Ergu, I'm feeling very annoyed right now. Quick, drop some more scandalous news about this sissy guy. At this moment, after a quick search, the system spoke up with an indignant face. Young master, After everyone finishes dinner, he's going to frame you, accusing you of stealing. Like Suya's precious pearl necklace, it's worth a whopping 80 million yuan. I laughed coldly to myself. Good, this is great. By then, Madame Su will surely be completely disappointed in me, so I can take this chance to slip out of here. Before I leave, I have to eat as much as possible. Thinking this, I hurriedly started to clear the table of food. However, in Mu Baichuan's eyes, this action of mine was intentionally provoking him. Brother, please eat slowly. I won't compete with you for it. I said the wrong thing just now, so I won't say any more. Will you forgive me? I lowered my head to eat the braised pork in my bowl, not even bothering to spare him a glance. You pathetic thing, get away from me. Su Yi felt troubled. Thinking about the situation that was about to unfold, she suppressed her anger, stood up and left, returning to her room, and then quietly turned on the surveillance camera. Mu Baichuan was scolded by me again, but his mother was gone, and his third sister was only interested in eating and drinking, not caring about him at all. This made him feel even more aggrieved. He didn't leave either, but just sat there continuously wiping his tears. The meal was finally over with some difficulty. Mu Tangchun spoke up first. Mugi, let me take you to your room. She had just heard me talk about that system searching for her secrets, and she was still eagerly waiting to hear them. Mu Baichuan was even faster. Third sister, let me be the one to take him back. Now he wouldn't let anyone in the house have a chance to be alone with Mugi. He's only been back for a short while, yet his own position has been shaken time and again. If things continued this way, wouldn't he be kicked out of the Mu family? Mu Tangchun glanced at Mu Baichuan, and a sudden, inexplicable anger welled up inside her. Do you even know where Mugi's room is that you're so eager to compete? Mu Baichuan was stunned. The truth was, he didn't know. Mom hadn't said anything earlier. But third sister, what kind of attitude was that? Third sister, why are you scolding me? I only asked out of the kindness of my heart. Mu Baichuan decided to continue with his old trick of playing the victim, but Mu Tangchun didn't pay him any attention. She turned to ask Su Yi, Mom, which room is Mugi in? Let me take him back. Su Yi saw that her daughter's attitude towards Mugi had improved, and she felt happy as well. She pointed toward the back and said, Mugi's room is on the 3rd floor. It's the room with the best natural light. Mu Baichuan was startled and terrified. His room was on the 2nd floor, yet Mom was willing to separate him and Mugi? Is she on guard against me? However, another thought occurred to me. Ergu, look, Madame Su is on guard against me. She's probably afraid I'll bully her precious fake son. It's just a pity she's worrying for nothing. I couldn't care less about that thing once things are settled later. I'm making my getaway immediately. Mu Tangchun heard my thoughts and could only sigh helplessly. It seems Mugi has misunderstood Mom's intentions again. It's obvious Mom is trying to protect him. What on earth is this plot anyway, that causes Mugi to have such deep misunderstandings with his own family? It's so frustrating. Su Yi also sighed inwardly, but she patiently explained, Son, don't misunderstand. The rooms on the 3rd floor are the best in the house. Your big sister and second sister are also on the 3rd floor, but they rarely come home normally, so it will be quieter up there, which is perfect for your rest, Mu Tangchun added. Mugi, stay there for now, and if you're uncomfortable on the 3rd floor, he'll switch rooms with you at any time. I maintained an indifferent expression. Whatever works. Sighing inwardly with boredom, stop all this incessant chatter. Just take me up there already. There's a big show waiting for me to watch. That fake guy must be dying of impatience. Look at that pathetic face of his. It's probably about to crumple up like a dirty old rag. Being coldly ignored by his own biological brother, Mu Tangchun felt a pang in her heart. But upon hearing my next thought, she instantly couldn't help but laugh out loud. Actually, he's right. Mu Baichuan's face really is quite unpleasant to look at. Su Yi also quickly covered her mouth, trying to stifle her laughter, so she wouldn't start laughing along. All the Mu children are handsome and beautiful, only Mu Baichuan looks quite ordinary. After all, he's just an adopted son. But over all these years, she had never criticized him even once, but had instead showered him with love. But looking back now, he really is ugly. Not only is he physically unattractive, but his heart is too. Mu Baichuan was dazed and full of doubt. Third sister, what are you laughing at? Mu Tangchun turned her head away, really not wanting to look at that face for another second. It's nothing, I just remembered a joke. Don't ask anymore, it won't be funny if I tell it. Mu Baichuan was stunned. Third sister is lying to me, she must be laughing at me. I used to be the little brother she pampered the most. So how about now? She has her biological brother now, so she's starting to despise me. It's so detestable, but he knew it wasn't the time to make a scene, so he had to continue his act. In just a little while, he would make sure everyone sees Mugi's true face. Su Yi looked at her watch and said, Don't compete anymore, you two. Take Mugi to his room together. I need to call your father. It's this late and he's still not home. After speaking, Su Yi went back to her room. Stepping into the room that belonged to me, I didn't even bother changing shoes and just walked right in and flopped down onto the large bed. You people are seriously rich. This room right here, it's much larger than the playground at our kindergarten. I marveled. Mu Baichuan stared intently at my every move, a mocking smile flitting across his face. What a total country bumpkin. It's just a room, and he's already this satisfied. If he ever learned about the Mu family's massive fortune, wouldn't it scare him to death? Brother, let me pull the curtains for you. Look at our home's grounds. The scenery here is beautiful. Mu Baichuan strode over to the bedside and pulled open the curtains. Then, with extreme precision, he accidentally bumped into a box placed on the headboard. The box fell to the floor, and a necklace rolled out from inside. It was an extremely expensive necklace. Mu Baichuan's face was full of disbelief, as if he were absolutely terrified. Oh my, what is this? Third sister, come look at this quickly. Isn't this Mom's pearl necklace? I remember this is the one Mom likes best. Dad had to spend 80 million yuan back then to win it at auction. Mu Tangchun quickly stepped forward. She picked up the necklace, and anger instantly flared up in her heart. She was about to open her mouth and scold me, but the moment the words reached her lips, she quickly pressed her lips together, absolutely not letting even a single punctuation mark escape. Thank goodness, if I hadn't shut up in time, I would probably be scolding Muge relentlessly right now. Just now outside the door, I clearly told myself that no matter what happened next, I must definitely stand by my biological brother's side. And yet, as soon as I heard Mu Baichuan's voice, she still couldn't control herself and rushed over, even intending to fly into a rage and scold Mugi severely. What kind of bizarre power is this that it can actually control me like this? Mu Baichuan looked at Mu Tangchun with full of doubt. Third sister, what's wrong with you? He grew even more frustrated inside. Why is this idiot suddenly as silent as a grave? Shouldn't you be scolding that Mugi guy right now? What are you just standing there blankly for? I was still lying stretched out on the big bed, not even bothering to move. What is this Mu Tangchun girl just standing there in a daze for? Why hasn't she come to scold me yet? Doesn't the plot say that as soon as the fake one starts the show, she'll willingly become a pawn for him to command, accusing me of being a thief in the house just to kick me out of here? Hurry up, hurry up. A good scene like this needs to keep going. I've already prepared my aggrieved tears right here. Mu Tangchun clenched her fists. She really wanted to speak up and defend her brother, but she felt an incredibly massive force. The moment she opened her mouth, it would definitely be words falsely accusing Muji. No, that absolutely cannot happen. Now what on earth should I do? Mu Baichuan noticed Mu Tangchun's abnormality. Why is this idiot suddenly sweating so profusely? Oh, I get it. Third sister must be building up her anger inside. She must have believed what I said. Good, very good, that's more like it. So Mu Baichuan decided to deliver another blow. He lowered his head and spoke weakly. Third sister, please don't blame brother 1,000 times over. He's also just recently returned. He's never seen such nice things before. Mom's necklace is so beautiful. Brother probably just simply liked it too much. That's why he picked it up just to see something new. He's really not a thief, and he's not some kind of criminal. He was just curious. Mu Tangchun looked at Mu Baichuan's pitiable appearance, hearing his words that sounded like he was defending Mu Ge, but in reality, were leading her to misunderstand him. She hated that she couldn't slap herself a few times. Why couldn't I see his true face before? I've been led by the nose by him for so many years. What he said in his thoughts was absolutely correct. I'm just being used by him as a shield. Now that I understand, I'll never let him have his way again. I've been waiting for quite a while and still haven't seen Mu Tangchun come to falsely accuse me. I'm starting to lose my patience. Hey, you Mu girl, don't you dare. Don't just stand there muttering to yourself. Go and call Madame Su Yi over here. Mu Baichuan put on a deeply worried face for me and said, Brother, please don't worry. I will explain everything clearly to Mother. She will definitely believe you. You are not a thief. You're absolutely not a thief. After saying that, the brat turned around and ran straight out. Once Mu Baichuan left the room, Mu Tangchun suddenly felt a weight lift off her shoulders. That strange power had also vanished. She hurriedly spoke. Brother Muge, I believe you. You didn't steal anything. You're just being framed. Looking at her in confusion, I didn't know what to say. Ergu, come out quickly. What on earth is happening? Has third sister Mu lost her mind? The system was also full of doubt. Young master, what she said was sincere. She truly trusts you. I was filled with dread. What new trick is she trying to play now? I don't believe it, Ergu. Quickly check for me what's really going on. The system was also breaking into a cold sweat. Young master, I've checked. There are no issues. But the plot seems like something is wrong. While the system and I were still dazed, Su Yi and Mu Baichuan arrived, bringing several maids along with them. Seeing this lineup, I breathed a sigh of relief. Good, Madame Su Yi looks absolutely furious. As long as her script isn't wrong, it's fine. Madame Su Yi, please come here. Be utterly disappointed in me. Scream at me and tell me to get the hell out. Mu Baichuan was still sobbing pathetically. He kept speaking up for me on the surface, but in reality, he was constantly slandering me. Mu Tangchun stood behind me. She noticed that the closer she was to me, the weaker that mysterious power became. She tried to speak. Mother, Brother Mugi didn't steal anything. I can testify for him. Maybe this necklace was stolen and intentionally left here by someone. After saying that, Mu Tangchun froze for a moment. Damn it, she clearly wanted to say Mu Baichuan put it there, but she couldn't get the words out. That Mu Baichuan. There's something very strange about him. Mu Baichuan stopped crying and frowned at Mu Tangchun. Third sister? What did you just say? I only left for a few minutes. Has she already been fooled by that Muge? She clearly detested him just a moment ago. What on earth did Muji do? Mu Tangchun tried to speak again. I believe Brother Muge. He doesn't even know where his own room is, so how could he know where Mother's room is? It's impossible for him to steal anything. That's right, Mother. Your room has surveillance. Just open it and everything will be clear. Hearing this, I was stunned and thought anxiously. Good Lord, has third sister Mu gone crazy? She actually believes me. She's even demanding to see the surveillance. Aren't those supposed to be my lines? Mu Baichuan also shouted in a panic. Third sister, do you even know what you're saying? How can she ask to see the cameras? If they actually see it, won't all my efforts go down the drain? I absolutely cannot let them see that footage. Thinking this, Mu Baichuan reached out directly, intending to cover Mu Tangchun's mouth. However, Mu Tangchun was prepared. She quickly stepped back, dodging Mu Baichuan's hand. Mu Baichuan, what are you doing? I am your sister, not your servant. Do I need your permission to speak? Mother, look at Mu Baichuan. Doesn't he look guilty? Mu Tangchun hid behind me, feeling incredibly angry. I must have been blind before. Every time Mu Baichuan acted like this, I thought he was adorable. Looking back now, I realize how awful I've been. It's a good thing I dodged quickly, otherwise I'd still be controlled by that mysterious power. Mu Baichuan, failing to get his way, was extremely frustrated. Sister, how can you speak to me like that? You know how I am. Boo-hoo. With that, he began to sob and cry again. I kept a cold expression the entire time, not even bothering to look at them. Ergu, what on earth is going on? Is the plot collapsing? What kind of game is Mu Tangchun playing? If she keeps meddling like this, how am I supposed to make my grand escape? The system also frowned. Young master, my mind is also in a complete muddle. Mu Tangchun felt frustrated, both aggrieved and troubled. She wanted to keep explaining, but she realized that mysterious power was starting to control her again. If she opened her mouth now, she would definitely say something to frame Mugi. What should she do? What on earth could she do? Suyi heard her biological son's thoughts and saw her adopted son's panicked state, immediately trembling with rage. This Mu Baichuan is not only twisting the truth and framing Mugi, but he even wants to control my daughter and our entire family. If it weren't for hearing my son's thoughts, our whole family would have been turned into his servants. Su Yi suppressed her anger and looked at me tenderly. Son, don't worry. Take your time and tell me what really happened with this necklace. I replied coldly. I don't know who put it in my room, but regardless, I didn't steal it. Didn't Mu Tangchun already say so? Your room has surveillance, Mother. Just open the footage and everything will be clear. After saying this, I felt a wave of relief. I finally got my lines back. I thought the plot had completely collapsed. Before Su Yi could speak, Mu Baichuan interrupted. Mother, hasn't the camera in your room been off for a long time? So how could we watch anything? He had been flustered by Mu Tangchun earlier, but now he suddenly remembered. Previously, he had coaxed Su Yi into turning off all the cameras in her bedroom. What did he have to fear? Su Yi turned her head to look at Mu Baichuan. Do you truly trust Mugi? Mu Baichuan was intimidated by Su Yi's gaze. Yes, Mother. Mother, he has suffered so much for years on the outside. He only just managed to come home. He wouldn't steal an 80 million yuan necklace. I sneered inwardly. This fake is slandering me again. If he didn't keep emphasizing the word thief and saying I've never seen nice things before, then no one would have suspected me. And about that 80 million yuan necklace, you probably swapped it out long ago, didn't you? This thing is just a cheap knockoff at best. Killing two birds with one stone. You really played this hand well. What? Su Yi and Mu Tangchun were both utterly shocked. They thought Mu Baichuan was just trying to frame me, never imagining that Mu Baichuan was the actual thief in the house. Thinking of this, Su Yi turned her head and spoke coldly to the staff behind her. Zhang, quickly play the surveillance footage from my room. Mu Baichuan's face instantly turned as pale as a sheet. What on earth is that old woman Su Yi doing? Could it be that the cameras in her room were never actually turned off? If so, wouldn't my swapping the necklace be completely caught on camera? Mu Baichuan lowered his head, his mind in a mess. What should I do? What can I do now? I glanced at Mu Baichuan. No way, is this fake actually capable of fear? He's still so green. A little thing like this has him terrified. It was completely unnecessary. In this house, no one trusts me anyway, and no one would bother listening to my excuses. Suya's eyes were filled with heartache. I have shown my favoritism toward my biological son so clearly, yet the boy still refuses to believe it. I must perform well in a moment. I can't let him distance himself from me, and I certainly can't let that fake succeed. Mu Tangchun felt even more regretful. She desperately wanted to clear her brother's name, but that strange power continued to haunt her. Now she could only bite her lip to stop herself from saying words that would hurt me. At this critical moment, Mushan returned with the twins. Mu Baichuan acted as if he had found a savior, hurriedly rushing forward and throwing himself into Mushan's arms. Father, you're finally back, I thought. I thought I would never see you again. Boo-hoo. I clutched my chest, nearly gagging. Oh my god, this guy is absolutely revolting. Mr. Mu just went out for a bit to handle business, and yet he has the nerve to say he feared never seeing Mr. Mu again. Does he wish Mr. Mu was dead every day so he can inherit the entire Mu family fortune? Su Yi had just felt a tiny bit of emotion, but upon hearing my thoughts, her moved feeling instantly turned into disgust. What's wrong with me? Just a moment ago, I was thinking of helping my biological son, so why did I feel soft-hearted at Mu Baichuan's display? Mushan was about to embrace Mu Baichuan, but hearing my thoughts, he immediately pulled his hand back. I was almost fooled by this, Mu Baichuan brat again. His words are sweet, but he didn't even bother to make a single phone call to me, did he? The twins both rolled their eyes in contempt. If it were before, seeing Mu Baichuan sobbing like this, the two of them would definitely have been moved to tears. But now, they felt their biological brother was better for warning them, so they wouldn't be deceived by this guy anymore. Mu Tongchun frowned uncomfortably. Mu Baichuan, aren't you confused? The ones in trouble were the sisters, not father. What on earth are you talking about? Hearing this, Mu Baichuan choked on his words, unable to continue his fake crying. This stupid girl, why is she shouting so loud? Is she trying to humiliate me in front of everyone? But the show must go on, so his tears began to fall pathetically once more. Sisters, I'm so glad you're okay. I thought I would almost not be able to see you again. I was really so terrified that I got confused. Could you please forgive me? Inwardly, I gave Mu Baichuan a thumbs up in admiration. Not bad, this guy's acting skills are truly top tier. He can switch targets in just a second. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye curled their lips together. No forgiveness. Mu Baichuan was stunned. What is wrong with these two useless brats today? Before, just a slight frown from me would have them feeling incredibly sorry for me. Now that I'm suffering and crying like this, with tears actually falling, how can their mouths utter such cold words? Mushan didn't bother with him and looked at Su Yi with a frown. What happened? Without waiting for Su Yi to answer, Mu Baichuan spoke up first. Father, it's all just a misunderstanding. Brother Mugi is definitely not a thief. He wouldn't steal mother's favorite necklace. Even if he's never seen an 80 million yuan necklace before, I still trust him. He is not that kind of person. Mu Baichuan's mouth was like it had no brakes. He just kept rambling on. He just returned and yet were demanding to see the cameras. Doesn't that show a lack of trust? He'll surely be so heartbroken and feel so miserable. Father, mother, if you don't agree, then just blame it all on me. If it wasn't for me... My patience finally wore out and I opened my mouth to interrupt him. You brat, what kind of creature are you? Why do you keep braying like a donkey incessantly? Just watch the surveillance. I don't want to keep being framed by some fake piece of work who keeps pinning things on me. It's honestly annoying as hell. Is he the only one with a mouth in this family? Does he think he's the spokesperson for everyone? Even if they do watch the footage, they'll never believe me. So why on earth is he so scared? Mu Baichuan, hearing me call him a braying donkey, instantly turned red with anger and tears immediately welled up in his eyes. He could cry on command whenever he wanted. Brother, how can you speak to me like that? I'm only doing this for your own good. Even if you aren't grateful to me, and even if no one taught you proper manners, you shouldn't insult me like this. Boo-hoo. I finally couldn't hold it in anymore, rolled up my sleeves and walked straight toward him. No one better try to stop me today. I'm definitely going to rip that donkey mouth apart. Ah, the system hurriedly shouted. Young master, you must endure. Don't you want to achieve your little goal anymore? Hearing this, I stopped dead in my tracks and took several deep breaths. Inwardly, I kept chanting, endure, endure. Muge, you must control yourself. For the sake of that money, I can't beat him up just yet. If I can't bear this small thing, it'll ruin my plans. I'll endure for just a bit longer, just a little more patience, and I can take the money and leave this house forever. The system's face was filled with black lines. The power of money is truly something else. I wasted my breath preparing a whole speech to convince him. Su Yi also had a massive headache. She had never felt that Mu Baichuan's crying could be so incredibly irritating until this moment. Mu Baichuan, that's enough. Mu Tongchun couldn't stand it any longer and shouted out loud, Didn't mother already say so? Stop crying every chance you get. You look like a sissy. Mu Baichuan, being scolded by Mu Tongchun again, almost lost his composure and was about to argue back immediately. Mushan, standing nearby, was also sick of it. Mu Baichuan, calm down. Honey, if there is surveillance, then please play it for everyone to see. Su Yi nodded and looked toward Zhang. Play it right here in the living room. Zhang immediately went downstairs to pull up the surveillance. The large screen immediately displayed the footage from the camera in Su Yi's room. On the screen, a new maid was seen sneaking inside. She didn't even have to search before grabbing the necklace. Then she went to my room and placed the necklace on my bedside table. There was another video showing the maid messaging Mu Baichuan and Mu Baichuan sending her a 520 yuan red packet. The video ended there. This time, I was incredibly proactive and active. The moment the film finished playing, I jumped in to speak first. Everyone saw that, right? I didn't steal any 80 million yuan necklace. That maid set me up. And about that maid, what is her relationship with Mu Baichuan? Why did Mu Baichuan send her a red packet? I think your fake son intentionally framed me. Hehehe. Let's see if anyone can steal my lines this time. I've said it all. Now is the time for you all to show off your acting skills. Come on, take turns playing blind. Each of you, go ahead and cover for that fake. Money, oh money, here I come. Except for Mu Baichuan, everyone in the Mu family quietly lowered their heads, trying their absolute best to hold back laughter. Brother Mu Gi, it seems we're about to disappoint you. Mu Baichuan's face was deathly pale. His whole body went rigid as he stared blankly at the large screen. I didn't think there was actually a recording. That old woman Su Yi, she actually dared to deceive me all this time. He hurriedly tried to explain himself. Father, mother, I really don't know anything about this. It was all that maid. She did all of this on her own initiative. I would absolutely never frame my brother. He's such a good brother. I only wish the best for him. I sneered. The donkey is braying again. From acting like a sissy to sobbing like that. Truly, he is a top-tier piece of work. Mushan, as the head of the MU group who had elevated the family to its current status, was well acquainted with major storms. Earlier, when he heard my thoughts, he had already prepared himself mentally, yet facing the cold, hard truth, he still felt as if he had been slapped across the face. Su Yi felt a pang of heartache. She remembered every single word I had said in my heart. However, witnessing it with her own eyes, she couldn't help but be utterly stunned. A sudden wave of sorrow and grief washed over her. Mu Tangchun was pale with horror and blurted out in amazement. Mu Baichuan, do you take this entire family for fools? It's written clearly in that maid's chat logs. You were the one who ordered her to steal the item and place it in Brother Mu Ji's room. How could you do something like that? All this time I thought you were simple and kind, but it turns out it was all just an act. After saying that, she grabbed one sister in each hand and pulled the twins to stand behind me. She had realized it. These two sisters were also going through a painful struggle. They must have been controlled by that power too. Sure enough, once they were behind me, the twins were finally able to speak. Mu Yulu jumped up and shouted, Mu Baichuan, you are truly a bully. Brother Mu Gi is our biological brother. He only just came home, yet you had the heart to bully him like this. No wonder you insisted on not checking the cameras. You were clearly guilty and terrified. You're a thick-skinned, shameless jerk. Mu Yuye was equally furious. Mu Baichuan, you dare to do it but not admit it. You're not a man. That maid was your favorite, wasn't she? I even saw her go into your room before. When she came out, she couldn't even walk straight. Hearing this, I looked at Mu Baichuan with a bizarre expression. I didn't see that coming. With this fake sissy-like behavior, he's actually capable of that? Or was that maid just put on a performance for him? Oh wait, that's not right. I just realized a very serious problem. These three naive fools, why did they all suddenly turn around and speak up for me? Su Yi walked over to my side. Mu Gi, mother believes you. You are a good child. You would certainly never steal anything. Mushan also approached. Mu Gi, father trusts you too. I am sorry you had to suffer through that just now. Hearing them say this, my mind went completely blank. What the hell is going on? What kind of trick is this family playing? Could they all have caught some madness at the same time, and a contagious kind at that? Did everyone take the wrong script? Hurry up and start framing me. What on earth are you doing? Su Yi and Mushan exchanged a glance, both of them feeling even more pained in their hearts. If we hadn't heard our biological son's thoughts, we might have truly wronged Mu Gi like that. In this house, he was completely alone, with everyone looking at him with judgmental eyes. In the future, the boy would never have dared to look anyone in the eye again. Even the servants would have taken the chance when they weren't looking to bully him. Just thinking about this, Su Yi's heart tightened with agony, and she felt like she couldn't breathe. Mushan clenched his fists even tighter, staring intently at Mu Baichuan. What kind of person have I actually raised? Is he truly an ungrateful wolf that can never be tamed? The twins, Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye, felt even more sorry for me. Our brother is so incredibly pitiful. If we didn't know the truth beforehand, no one in this house would have stood up for him. He would have been so heartbroken and miserable. It's all because of that Mu Baichuan, all due to his manipulation and divisiveness, all because he framed our brother. And at this moment, Mu Baichuan's eyes looked like they were about to pop out of their sockets. What the hell are they all doing? How could they treat me like this? No, this absolutely cannot happen. Mu Baichuan let out a miserable scream and fell to the ground unconscious. Everyone in the Mu family was startled, except for me. Su Yi was the first to rush over. After all, he was the child she had raised for so many years. With something happening so suddenly, caring for him had immediately become a habit. Mushan also looked over worriedly. Just as he was about to step forward, he remembered my inner thoughts and immediately pulled back his foot, wanting to hear the truth before making a decision. I secretly rolled my eyes. That fake guy is really out of options. Does he have nothing left but to feign fainting? If a bucket of cold water was splashed on him right now, he would definitely wake up instantly. But I won't say it out loud, otherwise, they'll think I'm deliberately taking revenge on Mu Baichuan. Mushan was startled. So Mu Baichuan was just faking it. Suyi also felt her heart tighten, feeling her face burning as if it were on fire, as if she had just been slapped several times. She habitually cared for Mu Baichuan, only to be manipulated by him once again. Why would he do this? Where did he get so much cunning from? But the naive Mu Yuye had already run into the restroom and soon came running back with a bucket of water. In front of everyone, she poured a whole bucket of ice water all over Mu Baichuan. Ah, it's so cold, you damn dog. How dare you pour cold water on me? Mu Baichuan shivered from the cold, unable to pretend any longer. He jumped up from the ground, even hurling uneducated insults. Mu Yuye wanted to scold him, but was restrained by a strange force, essentially unable to utter a word. She even felt like apologizing to Mu Baichuan, begging him for his forgiveness. At the critical moment, it was still Mu Tongchun who rushed forward, pulling the youngest sister behind my back. Mu Yuyi immediately regained her senses. With hands on her hips, she said angrily, Mu Baichuan, you dared to fake fainting, to frame our brother. You must apologize to him. Mu Yulu was also stunned, and after snapping out of it, she also spoke up resentfully. Mu Baichuan, our Mu family never taught you to act like this. You are truly uneducated. Mu Tongchun gave Mu Baichuan a cold, faint smile. Just now you were hinting that our brother was uneducated, but what about you? Your education is about deliberately framing the true young master of the Mu family and then faking a faint when the evidence is right there. We cared for you in vain, treating you like a biological brother, only for you to lead us by the nose like this. Mu Baichuan only now realized that he was supposed to be faking a faint, but someone's cold water had made him forget to keep acting. He hurriedly spoke. Sisters, please listen to me. It's not like that. I really had a headache, that's why I fainted. I don't know why either, boo-hoo. Don't hate me. I'm so afraid of losing you. I didn't frame our brother at all. I really didn't. Though he wept miserably on the outside, his heart was filled with fury. Damn it. Everything's been exposed. What should I do now? I have no choice but to grit my teeth and keep playing the victim. Mushan looked at Mu Baichuan's weeping figure, and besides disappointment, he felt mostly anger and disgust. Having dominated the business world for so many years, this was the first time he'd been led by the nose like a dog, and the one deceiving him was the very son he had once valued the most. Suyi couldn't hold back and shouted at Mu Baichuan, You have disappointed me so much. Apologize to Muge immediately. Mu Baichuan was so scared he started trembling. This time it wasn't an act. He was truly terrified. Because he saw that his mother was genuinely angry, she actually believed Mugi was innocent. She was no longer on his side. I just apologized a moment ago. Why are you making me apologize again now? Based on what? Thinking this, he raised his head and screamed, I'm not apologizing. You all clearly said you take my side. Why are you breaking your word now? If you all hate me that much, then he'll just leave. Why must you humiliate me like this? After Mu Baichuan finished speaking, he turned and ran straight outside. Deep down, Mu Baichuan still held on to a glimmer of hope, expecting someone to call him back and offer some explanation for him. So he slowed his pace, waiting to see if his savior would step forward quickly. But to his disappointment, everyone in the Mu family stood still, watching his departing back with cold eyes, as if they only wished he would vanish from the Mu house immediately. Mushan let out a sigh and walked over to my side. Muge, you just returned and had to suffer such a great grievance. It's all our fault. This is your card. There's 50 million yuan inside. Consider it our apology to you. Of course, I didn't refuse. I accepted it generously. Thanks, Mr. Mu. If there's nothing else, then I'm going to rest. Secretly sighing again. This old Mu is actually quite kind-hearted. I wonder if they can handle that little maid. If not, old Mu will be the next one in trouble. Mushan's pupils contracted in terror at this moment. What does this mean? What does the new maid have to do with me? The system also added fuel to the fire. Young master, actually. Mu Tongchun has even more tea. I was originally going to gossip about the old man. Mu Tongchun was stunned. What? Gossiping about others only to have it end up being about me? The whole family looked at me blankly, all waiting for that system to spill the drama. I looked at the burning gazes of the Mu family members and quickly stuffed the bank card into my pocket. These people aren't regretting it and wanting the card back, are they? Everyone in the Mu family scratched their heads. We really aren't planning to take the card back, we just want to hear some gossip. But seeing that defensive posture, they had no choice but to disperse. I didn't even bother to look at them as I went into my room, closed the door, and locked it. A series of extremely smooth actions. Then I called out expectantly, Ergu, hurry and tell me the tea! 5 family members were standing outside the door. Seeing that I had entered my room, they stealthily returned, standing guard at the door, ready to eavesdrop. The system frowned. Young master, your parents haven't left yet. It seems they are eavesdropping on the room. I gave a cold laugh. What did I tell you? Just now they were all acting for my benefit. They must be planning to pick a fight with me and then go comfort that fake guy. If they want to listen, let them. I won't say a single word anyway. Could it be they can hear my inner thoughts? I'm truly just too brilliant. The 5 people outside the door all scratched their heads at once. Poor Muge, we really are hearing your inner thoughts. I rolled over on the bed. Ergu, spill it quickly. The system nodded. Very well, then let's start with that little maid first. Old Mu and Mrs. Su won't fire her because that fake guy will try his best to protect her. She's no ordinary maid either. She is some relative from the maternal side of that fake guy, like a cousin. According to the plot's progression, after Mu Tongchun gets into trouble, that maid will crawl into your father's bed. Mushan outside the door was completely dumbfounded. What? Mu Baichuan has already contacted his biological mother and even brought her relatives here, and she even plans to crawl into my bed? Beside him, Su Yi reached out her small hand and gave old Mu's waist a sharp pinch. You old geezer, just you wait. Mushan winced in pain. Honey, you heard it too. This is their plot. What does it have to do with me? I also said with a bit of surprise. I only remember the maid targeting old Mu in the plot. I didn't expect this twist as well. Poverty really does limit the imagination. Rich people certainly know how to play. Mushan subconsciously took a step back as he could already sense his wife's fury beside him. Su Yi clenched her fists, trembling all over from rage. Mu Baichuan, you're quite something, daring to collude with your birth parents to harm the Mu family. Truly an ungrateful wolf that can't be tamed. Mu Tongchun was like an octopus, pressed tightly against the wall. Mauka duokutoidichu, what do you mean after I get into trouble? What could possibly happen to me? The twins were also completely confused. Good heavens, what is going on? The family's misfortunes seem like they won't stop anytime soon, but it sure is suspenseful. Inside the room, I shook my head helplessly. Forget about that. No matter how grave a mistake Mu Baichuan makes, old Mu will probably still forgive him. It's just a maid crawling into bed. It won't affect their deep father-son bond. Hurry up and talk about Mu Tongchun. Her performance just now made me think she could really enter show business. To gain my trust and make me feel grateful to her to the bone, pouring her heart out, only to stab me in the back. In the end, she really put her all into it. Too bad this young master is very smart. I won't fall for it so easily. Mu Tongchun outside the door felt cold sweat streaming down her back, turning her head to see her mother staring at her, so scared that the corners of her mouth twitched. I'm being wrongly accused. I truly did it for my brother's own good. The system continued. Young master, Mu Tongchun is a ski instructor. In a few days, she will personally select 5 direct disciples, all 5 of whom are outstandingly talented guys. At the welcome party she organizes, those people will get her drunk and then take some photos. Hearing this, I couldn't help but wonder. That's not right. There wasn't a scene like this in the original plot, was there? Is this a newly developed plot point? The system nodded. In the original work, Mu Tongchun was hoisted up by those 5 guys and thrown straight into a pile of snow, causing her to suffer broken bones, forever unable to ski again. But since the previous plot has been overturned, there will be some changes here. Mu Tongchun could no longer hang onto the wall, collapsing to the ground. In other words, whether the plot changes or not, my fate is still tragic. But why? I haven't made enemies with anyone. I frowned in thought. Let me guess. Could this have been arranged by Mu Baichuan? Just now downstairs, Mu Tongchun kept favoring me and scolded Mu Baichuan severely, so that fake guy harbored a grudge and thus orchestrated such a big scheme. The system gave a wry smile. Young master, you are still too kind-hearted. He will take revenge on everyone in the Mu family. Mu Tongchun is just the beginning. Even if you hadn't appeared, that fake guy would have eventually, one by one, taken revenge on every member of the Mu family. The 5 people outside were on the verge of collapsing. Baichuan wants to take revenge on all of them, then what about the other family members? Will they also meet with misfortune one by one? The system laughed sinisterly. Young master, do you want to hear the gossip about the twins next? The twin sisters outside were stunned. What? There's tea about us too? Isn't that enough already? Say it, tell us the details quickly. Meanwhile, I picked up my phone, showing no interest at all. I don't want to. Their life and death have nothing to do with me. Everyone outside was itching with curiosity, for the first time feeling like rushing in, grabbing me by the collar and forcing me to hand over the system, and spilling all the Mo family's earth-shattering secrets. They calmed themselves down and quietly left. They didn't go to find Mu Baichuan, all returned to Mushan and Suyi's room. Mu Tongchun couldn't help but say, Dad, Mom, you both heard it too. What should we do? Muyulu also shook her head with a wry smile. Right now, I just want to know if Mu Baichuan can hear what our brother is saying. Suyi frowned. Probably not. If he could hear it, Mu Baichuan wouldn't have reacted like that. Mu Yuye frowned. Moreover, I feel that just being near Mu Baichuan causes a strange power to control me, preventing me from speaking my mind and even making me long to be good to him. Mu Yulu nodded, as she had also felt that power just now. But Dad, what about that maid? Mushan said irritably. What else? Kick her out. Why keep such a disaster around, only to cause more turmoil in the family? At that moment, Su Yi spoke up. No, we can't let her get away that easily. Hearing Su Yi's words, the three daughters and Mushan were all startled, because they saw that at this moment, Su Yi's expression looked truly terrifying. She was rarely like this, unless someone had truly provoked her. Clearly, the maid named Wang Manman had managed to do just that. Mushan swallowed and asked carefully, "Honey, what are you planning to do?" A fierce smile appeared on Su Yi's icy face. "Since she dared to target me, I hope she can withstand my wrath." Su Yi was currently holding the fake necklace, her eyes burning with murderous intent. "Wang Manman dared to swap my necklace. That's 80 million yuan right there. Furthermore, it's an heirloom of our Su family. I will not let her off." The real necklace had long been swapped by Mu Baichuan, and just thinking about it, Su Yi trembled all over with rage. The son she had raised for over 20 years, even without a blood relation, she had always raised him as her own child. Yet, she never expected him to dare do such a thing. Su Yi turned to look at her three daughters. "You three go back to your rooms and don't come out. I heard what you all said just now, that a strange power is controlling you, preventing you from speaking the truth. Perhaps that is the power of the plot that Mugi mentioned in his thoughts." The three sisters hurriedly ran off, even moving into Mu Tongchen's room together to avoid being controlled by the plot and doing anything else. In the living room, Su Yi and Mushan sat in the head seats while the maid Wang Manman knelt on the floor, crying until her makeup was completely smeared, looking no different from a female ghost. Su Yi maintained a cold face. "The evidence is plain for all to see. Do you still refuse to admit it? Then I have no choice but to call the police." Wang Manman almost wet her pants in fear, continuously kowtowing for mercy. "Madam, please don't call the police. I really don't know anything. It was all the second young master's idea. I truly know nothing, madam," Mushan shouted angrily. "How dare you even now? You still dare to frame Baichuan. He is our son. Why would he need to swap the necklace?" Wang Manman was terrified to the extreme, and had to confess about what happened a month ago, how she had been instructed by Mu Baichuan to swap the necklace. Unfortunately, Su Yi and Mushan didn't believe her at all, still insisting on calling the police. Seeing this, one of the servants secretly ran to the second floor for help. Just now, Mu Baichuan was putting on a show of wanting to leave, but seeing that no one intended to stop him, he shamelessly ran back to his room on the second floor. Mu Baichuan smashed everything in the room to pieces, gnashing his teeth in hatred. "Mu Gi, it's all because of him. He is truly a jinx. If it weren't for his return, how could I be so unlucky? Why didn't he just die out there? Why did he have to show his face back here? And Mushan's family too. Why haven't they come here to comfort me yet? Every single one of them keeps saying they'll treat me as well as before, yet now they're all defending that Mu Gi. You bunch of frauds, Pitui." Just then, a servant came to knock on the door. "Second young master, this is bad. Madam is planning to call the police and arrest Manman." Mu Baichuan had thought it was Su Yi and the others, and was about to put on a look of being wronged and miserable, only to hear these words. He exclaimed in shock. "What kind of nonsense is that?" the servant said frantically. "Second young master, I'm not lying. Madam says Manman swapped the necklace, which is worth a full 80 million yuan. If Manman doesn't hand over the real necklace, then Madam will call the police." "What?" This time, Mu Baichuan was truly stunned. Su Yi actually discovered the necklace was a fake? What has Manman said already? Mu Baichuan asked with a frown. The servant shook her head. "I'm not sure. Manman is just crying her eyes out. I couldn't hear clearly." Mu Baichuan was almost dying of rage, raising his hand to slap the servant right in the face. A bunch of useless trash. He strode quickly downstairs. Wang Manman must absolutely not be allowed to tell the truth. He had been plotting for so many years and still didn't have everything in his grasp. He absolutely could not just leave like this. "Dad, Mom, if you want to blame someone, then blame me. It was all because I was momentary foolish. That's why I did something wrong. Man is just a maid. She is innocent. Man is very pitiful. She even has 2 younger siblings to support. If she leaves our house, then her whole family won't be able to survive." As soon as Mu Baichuan reached the first floor, tears immediately poured out like rain as he rushed straight towards Su Yi's embrace. Too bad Su Yi leaned to the side, avoiding that embrace. Mu Baichuan missed, landing face first on the sofa. This left him stunned, completely forgetting to cry. "Mother rejected me. For over 20 years, she has never treated me like this." Su Yi didn't even bother to give him a glance, speaking directly. "Baichuan, even now, you're still speaking up for that maid, but she's currently pinning all the blame on you." Mushan gave a cold huff. "She says it was all by your command, and that the necklace was also swapped by you." Mu Baichuan's heart skipped a beat. "Wang Manman actually dared to rat me out? How could she dare?" "Manman? What? What are you saying?" Mu Baichuan looked at Wang Manman, his eyes filled with disappointment and disbelief. Just then, a thought echoed in Mushan and Su Yi's minds. "Ah, the fake guy is starting his act again. Just wait and see. Mrs. Su and old Mu will definitely be spun around like tops by him again. I'm not going to tell them that the real necklace is actually being worn around that fake guy's neck right now." "What?" Su Yi's mind was violently shaken. "Mu Baichuan actually." actually is wearing the real necklace? How can he still act so pitiful like that in front of me and look so innocent? She really wanted to look up at me. Fortunately, Mushan grabbed her hand and gave a slight shake of his head. Don't look up. If you scare him, you won't hear anything anymore. Only then did Su Yi reluctantly keep her head down. But when looking at Mu Baichuan, her eyes were filled with rage. Baichuan, do you still feel like I shouldn't call the police? She really didn't want to look at Mu Baichuan for another second. She felt disgusted. Mu Baichuan acted even more enthusiastically. He knelt and approached Su Yi, hugging her arm. Mom, it's all because I'm usually too kind to the servants. I spoiled them so they dared to bully me. But I still can't bear to. I treated her like family. She is still so young. If she's taken away, her whole life will be over. He looked towards Mushan again. Dad, please say something. I know, it's all because I'm too kind-hearted, but didn't you and Mom also teach me that? I really don't have the heart to do it. Boo-hoo. I stood at the top of the stairs, mentally applauding him. What a legend. I've seen thick-skinned people before, but never someone this shameless, praising himself for being too kind, putting a gold leaf on his own face. Oh my god, truly, once a person is shameless, they are invincible in this world. Mushan looked at Mu Baichuan. Seeing him crying so pitifully, years of habit kicked in. He intended to step forward and comfort him. However, hearing my inner thoughts made that thought vanish into thin air. He reached out to pat Mu Baichuan's head. Baichuan, you really are. Suddenly, he grabbed the necklace around Mu Baichuan's neck and with a bit of force, ripped the entire necklace off. Mu Baichuan, who was bowing his head acting deeply, suddenly felt a sharp pain in his neck. Looking up, he saw Mushan holding the necklace. Dad. Mu Baichuan was completely stunned. Am I dreaming? Wasn't Dad going to comfort me? Why? Why did he stop comforting me, and instead he stole my stuff? Seeing that, Mugi was also stunned. Good grief, did old Mu finally grow a brain? No, he was blind before. How did he suddenly stop being blind? That necklace was hidden so well, how did he find it? Not bad, old Mu. That skill is a bit like mine. Mushan was praised by his biological son, but he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How could a father be like his son? Su Yi didn't have time to worry about my inner thoughts now. She rushed forward and snatched the necklace. Baichuan, why are you wearing my necklace? Mu Baichuan's brain immediately stalled. A few days ago, he thought this necklace was beautiful, and it was a Su family heirloom, so he secretly wore it for a few days. He also wanted to frame Mu Gi for it, but he didn't expect things to develop, completely beyond his expectations. Seeing Su Yi's eyes nearly spitting fire, Mu Baichuan swallowed nervously. Mom, it's not like that. It's all, right, it was all Wang Manman's idea. Thinking in a split second, to protect himself, Mu Baichuan could only use Wang Manman as a shield. It was her. She's always had a secret crush on me, to show off in front of me. She swapped your necklace, Mom. Mom, thieves like Wang Manman, we can't keep her here. Why don't we call the police? Call the police and have her arrested? He gave Wang Manman a sharp glare. If she dared to say anything else, he would definitely make her pay a heavy price. Upstairs, Mugi almost burst out laughing. This fake's brain is quite something. He originally planned to give the necklace to his birth mother, but he took a liking to it himself, so he wore it for a few days. Now that the necklace has been taken back since it can't be hidden anymore, he's just dumping the blame on someone else. This pawn Wang Man is as good as gone. The person chosen to climb into old Moo's bed later will have to be reselected. The system let out a sigh. Fine. Another part of the plot is ruined. They've really run into a weird host. Su Yi heard my inner thoughts. She almost rushed over to beat Mu Baichuan up. Mu Baichuan once told her that he had never met his biological parents and had no intention of meeting them. He even said he had investigated thoroughly and found out he was abandoned by them. It turns out he had long ago been secretly in contact with his biological parents. He even stole her things for them. If she hadn't heard my thoughts, then her whole family would have been robbed blind by this fake. Mushan was also extremely furious, so angry that his voice changed. Baichuan, do you really feel like we should call the police? Mu Baichuan suddenly remembered something and immediately changed his mind. Dad, let's not call the police. Although I was tricked by her, I still can't bear to ruin someone's entire life. Plus, if we call the police, it'll cause a scene. My younger brother just returned. Those other families are waiting to laugh at us. If this gets out, it might even tarnish my brother's reputation. Mugi was so angry he could spit blood. What is inside this fake's brain? Things have come to this point, yet he still doesn't forget to dump the blame on me. This persistent spirit. I'm impressed. Mushan heard my thoughts, then looked at Mu Baichuan's fake aggrieved face. He was so angry his whole body trembled. Fine, great, taking me for a fool, are you? Well then I won't kick him out. Let's see how I play with this good son. A temporary competitive streak extinguished the intention to kick Mu Baichuan out of the house. Mushan roared. I'm saying this for the last time. Mu Ge is my biological son. He is the lucky star of the Mu family. Anyone who dares to call him a jinx, I will absolutely not forgive them. After issuing the threat, Mushan fired Wang Menmen while confiscating everything the Mu family had given her and kicked her out of the house that very night. Mu Baichuan lowered his head, tears streaming down, looking as if he had just suffered a massive injustice. But in his heart, he began to hate Mushan. What kind of Mu family head is he? Just a senile old man with no brain. You're too green to fight me. This isn't over yet. Just wait and see. That night, Mu Baichuan barely slept. He was truly too angry to close his eyes. The fire of anger burned fiercely in his heart, wanting to burn this whole house down. He had to find a way to make Muji disappear completely. Early the next morning, the Mu family ate breakfast together. Mu Baichuan watched as the whole family gathered around chatting with Mu Ge, looking so warm and happy. He grew even more furious in his heart. It seems this Wang Man card can't be discarded yet. Just then, Auntie Zhang stepped forward and smiled. Sir, madam, Miss Feng Bao Bao of the Feng Group is here. Su Yi quickly stood up, looking at the girl and saying, Bao Bao, you're here? You probably haven't had breakfast yet, right? Come eat with us, just sit next to Mu Ge. Mu Baichuan, sitting in the corner, also jumped up. Sister Bao, I missed you so much. You haven't visited me in so long. As he spoke, he shamelessly reached out to grab Feng Bao Bao's small hand. Feng Bao Bao directly threw him a sharp look. What are you doing? Mu Baichuan was stunned. Sister Bao, I'm just so happy to see you. I didn't mean anything else. Feng Bao Bao rolled her eyes. You and I aren't close. What are you pretending to be happy for? She ignored Mu Baichuan completely and sat directly next to Mu Ge. Brother Mu, we meet again. Feng Bao Bao even took the initiative to greet Mu Ge. I was busy enjoying the fried shrimp dumplings. Oh yeah. I took a moment to look up and nod at her as a response, wondering in my heart, Ergu, check what Feng Bao Bao is doing here. Did she not get retaliated against by her cousin? Feng Bao Bao was about to eat a dumpling when she suddenly heard my inner thoughts. This made her immediately straighten her back and even move a bit closer to Mu Ge. After a short silence, the system replied, Young Master, Feng Bao Bao really isn't an ordinary girl. Not only was she not retaliated against by her cousin, but she even sent her cousin's whole family to the police station, including the cousin-in-law and that college girl. I almost choked on my soup hearing this news. Good God, is she that powerful? Tell me quickly how she did it. Just like that, the two at the dining table, one was gossiping with the system, the other was pretending to eat seriously, but was actually eavesdropping on thoughts to get the tea. But this scene, in the eyes of outsiders, was not that simple. For instance, Mu Baichuan, seeing their intimate movements, he finally couldn't take it anymore, and tears began to fall again. Dad, Mom, did I do something wrong to make Sister Bao angry? They'll just apologize to her then. Su Yi was engrossed in hearing my thoughts, so being suddenly interrupted by Mu Baichuan like that, she couldn't help but roll her eyes in disdain. That attitude again, how annoying. Mushan was also very angry. He couldn't understand why Mu Baichuan couldn't just sit still for a moment. Does he always have to make everyone revolve around him, coaxing him all the time to be satisfied? He's not even a girl, crying one moment, acting all dainty the next. What is he playing at? How could I have been so brainless before, even thinking he was obedient, sensible, and kind-hearted? Bah, right then, he heard my inner thoughts. That fake's brain must be waterlogged, the kind even a pump couldn't dry out. He always looked down on Feng Bao Bao, criticizing her figure, her looks, and even because she wouldn't be his lapdog. But when he saw Feng Bao Bao being close to me, he couldn't stand it. Muji wiped his mouth, sat up straight, and sighed. The next step, he will definitely grab my head and shove it straight into the soup bowl, right? To escape this hellhole, even if it's a self-injury ruse, he'll just have to grit my teeth. Come on, I'm ready. Hearing this, Feng Bao Bao immediately bristled. Mu Baichuan, that fake piece of work, he dares to look down on me? Saying my figure isn't good, I'm ugly, and complaining I won't be his lapdog? I am the noble young miss of the Feng Group, the unique darling of 3 generations, and am being belittled by a fake. The more Feng Bao Bao thought, the more furious she became. She suddenly stood up and shouted at Mu Baichuan. Mu Baichuan forced a gentle smile. Sister Bao, sorry, I was rude just now, I apologize. Please forgive me, mostly because I haven't seen you in so long, I just missed you so much. As he spoke, he moved closer to Mu Ge, pretending he was about to fall while reaching his hand towards me. Su Yi's group had just heard Mu Ge's thoughts. Now seeing Mu Baichuan make a move, it was clear he was going to do exactly what I thought, wanting to shove Mu Ge's head into the soup bowl. Thinking of that, they all stood up at once, intending to rush over and stop it. However, in that critical moment, someone acted faster than them. Feng Bao Bao grabbed Mu Baichuan's head firmly and shoved it straight into the freshly served hot soup bowl. You jerk! You still dare to bully Brother Mu? I absolutely won't allow it. Mu Baichuan struggled with all his might, trying to pull his head out of the soup, but he simply couldn't do it. Seeing that, Su Yi's group, who were about to rush in, all breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, we really have to count on Feng Bao Bao. She doesn't drop the ball at critical moments. Muji was stunned witnessing this scene, quickly dodging to the side to give Feng Baobao more room to operate. Mentally giving Feng Baobao a thumbs up. As expected of the Feng group's little princess, she's definitely not just all talk. Is her personality really that fierce? The system also froze for a few seconds. Oh, my young master, she's truly a tough woman who doesn't follow the script. No wonder she could beat her cousin's family. So helplessly, I looked over at Suyi's group again. Muji felt like he was dreaming. Something's not right. Feng Baobao and Mu Baichuan fighting. I can understand this part. But why did the Mu family members stand up? Aren't they going to help Mu Baichuan? Suya's group all looked towards me, with flattering smiles on their faces. It's good that Moog is fine. They don't care about that scheming fake. He deserves it. Seeing their smiles, Moogie felt even more surreal. What are they smiling at? Oh, I get it. They must be acting in front of me, making me lower my guard for now. Later they'll surely blow up at me, blaming me for not saving Mu Baichuan, right? I know this script too well. A truly smart young master like me will never fall for their tricks. The smiles on Suya's group's faces suddenly shattered, piece by piece falling to the ground, utterly destroyed. Well, that was a false hope. Mugi still doesn't understand anything. Feng Baobao heard my thoughts and looked at the Mu family beside her. She understood as well. Turns out this whole family is full of acting experts. On the outside, they smile and talk happily with their son Mu Ge, but in reality, they're hiding daggers inside, wanting to bully brother Mu? Dream on. Just then, Mu Yulu whispered a question. Sister Bao, that. It seems Mu Baichuan has stopped moving. Feng Baobao turned to glance at Mu Baichuan, then grabbed his head with one hand and the soup bowl with the other. While throwing him out, she conveniently flipped the soup bowl over his face. Mu Baichuan lay flat on the ground, screaming miserably, hurriedly brushing the bowl off his face. Feng Baobao, are you tired of living? He coughed several times before managing to choke out those words. Feng Baobao crossed her arms, looking down at him with contempt. Fake, not pretending anymore? Weren't you just acting all friendly earlier? Me, tired of living? Do you want to try the feeling of being buried alive? Mu Baichuan was so scared his face went pale, looking at Feng Baobao as if he were seeing a female ghost, burying people with shovels, catching thieves in the street, making a thief foam at the mouth from exhaustion, kicking away 3 hooligans in one go. The many anecdotes about Feng Baobao, who in the elite circles doesn't know them? Mu Baichuan absolutely did not want to be buried alive. He still had great things to do, so he turned back to the Mu family and cried, Wah wah, Dad, Mom, I don't know where I offended Sister Bao that she'd come to our home just to bully me like this. Even if our Mu family status isn't as high as the Feng's, we can't let people humiliate us like this. After saying that, he looked towards Mugi again. Dad, Mom, please don't blame my brother. My brother didn't say anything, even though he has a grudge against me. But he's definitely not the type of person to use such dirty tricks. I'm sure he didn't instigate this. I calmly sat back down and continued eating. This fake is quite impressive. Clearly he's the useless one, yet he wants to escalate the conflict between the two families, taking the chance to drive a wedge between everyone, and even trying to make me take the fall. I have to eat really fast. Even if that self-injury ruse wasn't used, he'll surely be scolded by the Mu family in a bit. If I'm lucky, I might even be kicked out of the house. My small goal, here I come. Su Yi covered her face with one hand, awkwardly looking down. Good heavens, food is still the most important thing. Things have gotten this messy, yet how can this kid still have the mind to eat? Mushan also covered his mouth, letting out a slightly careless smile. This kid's brain is really smart, not affected by the outside world at all, just doing his thing, eating his food. He's very much like me in that regard. Feng Baobao watched me eating heartily and heard my thoughts. She also pulled her chair back and continued eating. If Brother Mu really leaves the Mu family later, then I must definitely take him in. Such a naturally gifted grandmaster, I absolutely cannot miss out on him. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye started to get anxious. Neither of them wanted their brother to leave, but the more frantic they became, the more speechless they were. Damn it, controlled by that strange power again. Su Yi sighed, glanced at the servants standing around, and immediately ordered, What are you all standing there staring for? Quickly go help the second young master up. It's just kids playing around, it's not a big deal. Mushan also spoke up coldly. Baichuan, actually we all know you're the most sensible one. You were right just now, this was just an accident. It has nothing to do with Muji. Mu Baichuan was still planning to act pitiful, but as soon as he heard Mushan say that, his brain suddenly fell into a state of complete stagnation. What? What's wrong with that senile old man? His darling son was bullied and humiliated by Feng Baobao, and he only says those few words? I meant this is closely related to Mu Ge. Can't you hear the subtext? Unwilling to give up? He turned to Su Yi, still trying to play the miserable victim. Mom, look! Su Yi gave him no chance to speak at all. Ba Yote Ngatloi. Baichuan, it's all my fault. I didn't raise you well before. Have you learned your lesson this time? Don't go crying and sobbing like that all the time. Girls will find it very annoying. Having said that, she waved her hand, ordering the servants to drag Mu Baichuan away. Mugi stared blankly at the scene unfolding before him. Oh my god, did old Mu and Mrs. Su finally grow brains? They won't even take such a good opportunity. Come on, rush over and scold me. I'm still waiting to get the hell out of here. Just then, Mushan stood up and strolled over to my side. Seeing Mushan approaching, Mu Jess' mood suddenly became extremely excited. I knew it. There's no way old Mu would pass up. Such a golden opportunity. Come on, old Mu. Just be as ruthless as you want with me. No need to be polite. You just need to scold me once and I'll walk away immediately. I absolutely won't waste any more of your breath. By now, Mushan was standing right next to Mugi, his hand reaching into his pocket. I felt even more thrilled. Could this be the legendary contract to sever the father-son relationship in the script? This fateful moment has finally arrived. I've been waiting for so long. I'm finally about to sign it. Then, Mushan reached into his jacket and pulled out his phone, tapped it a few times, and smiled. Muge, that was my oversight just now. It affected your appetite and ruined your happy mood for eating. I just transferred 50 million yuan to you. Go out for a stroll later and buy whatever you want. I looked at Mushan with a look of utter amazement. What? The plot can even develop like this? Old Mu just dropped 50 million yuan, including the previous times. I've already reached a small goal. Boy, if we keep playing like this, I really can't rush to sever ties. The system was speechless. Truly a money-grubbing host. Mu Yulu and Mu Yuye also escaped. The control of that strange power. Hearing my thoughts, the two of them in unison pulled out their phones and fiddled with them for a moment. Little brother, this is a homecoming gift from me. 8 million yuan. Mu Yuye followed closely behind. Little brother, I've also transferred 8 million yuan to you. The two girls now know that as long as there's money, their younger brother won't leave anymore. So, they better give it quickly. I didn't refuse at all, accepting everything. Ha 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 ha. My life is finally looking up, becoming a billionaire just like that. Don't say it. Really don't say that. It turns out having a family with issues has its perks. They are truly generous and straightforward. Hearing my inner thoughts, Mushan and Su Yi felt even more heartache. Such a small amount of money made their son so happy. Just how much suffering did he endure in the past? Thinking of this, Mushan grew even more furious. This guy Mu Baichuan has enjoyed a life of luxury for all these years, only to end up wanting to harm this family. Besides, when did he find out about his biological parents? Feng Baobao was still eating, but her mind was filled with the terrible things Mu Baichuan had done. That wretched man even dared to look down on me. I'll have to tell my older brother later so he can take care of him. At this moment, Mu Yuye suggested, Little brother, let's go skiing. Third sister just messaged me. She has a student selection session today and a welcome party tonight. There are some things she didn't mention, but Mu Tangchun just texted me saying we must bring you along. Mu Yulu looked at Feng Baobao beside her. Sister Bao, do you want to go skiing? Let's go together. Feng Baobao had eaten until her stomach was full, so she naturally agreed immediately. Sure, let's go there to digest some food. After speaking, she looked at me again. Brother Mu, don't tell me you're like Mu Baichuan and don't know how to ski. This was clearly a provocation. She wanted to follow me to see the drama. I smirked. You've got to be kidding me. Who would want to be like that fake? While we're going there, you'll go check out those 5 geniuses and see what their backgrounds are. Su Yi walked ahead, preparing the luggage and equipment, waiting for everyone to get in the car. On the second-floor balcony, Mu Baichuan watched the group head for the door, trembling all over with rage. That bastard Mu Ge, as soon as he returned, he stole everything that belonged to me. He must die. He absolutely must die. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. So he smashed a precious vase in the room worth over 10 million yuan. It was a gift from last year's birthday, given to him by Mu Tangchun. But in truth, he had already swapped it for a fake long ago. It could be said all the items in this room were knockoffs. He dialed a phone number. It's me. Go take care of that Wang man woman. Also, find a way to get rid of Feng Baobao as well. That's right, Feng Baobao from the Feng group. Doesn't she love skiing? Let her and that Mu third sister play to their heart's content. 2 hours later, everyone arrived at the ski resort. I stretched and asked Ergu, what is that fake doing right now? He just got beaten by Feng Baobao, and now we're all out playing together, with no one paying attention to him. I don't believe for a second he won't take action. Suya's group stopped immediately. What? Mu Baichuan is planning to move against the Mu family at the ski resort? Feng Baobao didn't care much. She was even faster than that fake. By now, my older brother must have already set out. The system spoke. Young master, you certainly live up to your reputation, truly predicting things like a god. That fake has indeed made a move. He wants you dead. Everyone must be careful, especially Feng Baobao. Hearing this, Feng Baobao immediately flew into a rage. What? Mu Baichuan really has some nerve actually wanting me dead? She pulled out her phone to send another message to her brother. She had to give Mu Baichuan an even more substantial gift. Su Yi and her daughters were all utterly terrified. They knew Mu Baichuan harbored ill will toward me, but they never imagined Mu Baichuan would be cruel enough to want me dead. He was even so bold and audacious as to dare seek revenge on Feng Baobao. She is the treasure of the Feng group, the only daughter in 3 generations. Even the Su family, top of the 8 clans, wouldn't dare make her angry, let alone a lowly Mu Baichuan. Mu Tangchun hurried over with a stack of documents. These are the promising faces I've been eyeing. You might meet them later. Please help me review and evaluate them. She had a bad feeling. If Mu Baichuan wanted to deal with brother Mu Jie, it might somehow involve these people. Giving me the documents to look at first, surely Mu Jie's system would pick up on something. Su Yi took the documents and moved closer to me. Son, you are our family's lucky star. Your eye for people is very sharp. Why don't you take a look? I just glanced at it and refused. I'm not familiar with. Right then, the system spoke up. Young master, in these documents, there's a guy who bullied the original host for 5 whole years. He almost caused the original host to lose a hand. Hearing that, I immediately snatched the documents, flipping through each page. Ergu, show me quickly. I must drag that bastard out. I might not care about the Mu family, but bullying the original host is like bullying me. I will definitely make him pay double. The system said in a low voice. His name is Li Ba, the only son of 3 generations. His parents divorced as soon as he was born, and his heartless father threw him into an orphanage until he was 11 years old when his grandfather won a 1 million yuan lottery. Only then was he brought back. I hurriedly flipped to Li Ba's page to check the information. This face of his must have had plastic surgery at least 800 times, hasn't it? Does his family run a beauty clinic? The system nodded. Young master, you truly have sharp eyes to be able to see through that. Li Ba has an aunt who used a fake degree to open a clinic. Over the past 10 years, she has ruined the faces of over 1,000 people and even taken the lives of 30 others. With a snap, I angrily slammed the document shut, grabbed my snowboard, and headed straight out. No need to look further. For this kind of heinous criminal, I must carry out justice on behalf of heaven. Is he also among those 5 geniuses? Yes, young master, he even knows Mu Baichuan. Recently, Mu Baichuan has helped the Li family with quite a bit of business. It seems the relationship between these two is not simple. I quickened my pace, wishing I could fly there this instant. Li Ba, fine. Very good. Just you wait. I'm coming for you. Su Yi's group was left stunned, everyone's mind in a mess. Mu Baichuan is actually connected to that kind of person? Doesn't that mean he indirectly caused the deaths of all those people? Su Yi was so full of hate she gritted her teeth. I must go see for myself as well. Mu Tangchun hurried to stop her. Mom, don't go there. I have the surveillance cameras here. We can monitor the situation from here. The ski slopes are crowded. What if something unexpected happens? Then she quickly contacted her father, telling him to find a way to deal with it immediately. Feng Baobao curled her lip, grabbed her board, and headed that way too. Mu Tangchun immediately pulled her back. Sister Bao, don't go yet in case. Feng Baobao smiled at her. Don't worry, I am quite formidable myself. With that, she didn't even look back, and headed straight for the snow. I quickly identified my target on the slopes, charging straight ahead and slamming into Li Ba. Li Ba let out a miserable scream, falling backward onto the snow, clutching his right arm tightly, shivering all over from the pain. He ordered his henchmen and roared, "Grab him for me, drag him down here, I'm going to chop off both his hands." I gave a cold smile, taking off the hat on my head. Hey brat, do you still remember who I am? As soon as he saw my face, Li Ba's eyes widened in horror. Mugi, you're actually not dead yet? I couldn't cripple your hands back then, so now you dare deliver yourself to me? You guys, pin his head down and force him to the ground. Stomp his right hand into pieces. Hearing his words, the 5 henchmen charged forward together to seize me. I stood perfectly still. Let them grab me. Li Ba, are you sure you want to do this? Ergu, I've been watching the drama for so long, shouldn't you give me a little bonus by now? The system gave a cold laugh. Young master, don't worry. I just swiped something from the neighboring system, some of those newbie gift packs. I'll give them to you right now. Instantly, several lines of text appeared in my mind. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Heart Palm Thunder skill. Duration, 5 minutes, I said through gritted teeth. Ergu, are you kidding me? Only a measly 5 minutes? Are you really that short-lived? The system's face turned as black as soot. Young master, if it weren't for you not following the script and ruining so many plot points, would I be this dirt poor? Li Ba stood by and sneered. Muge, you little brat, you've only had a few full meals, you already think you're someone important? I want you dead. It's easier than stepping on an ant. What are you guys just standing there for? He's just an orphan who snuck in here. Attack him now. An orphan? I frowned deeply. Does being an orphan mean anyone can just bully you? As soon as I finished, I suddenly swung my hand and slapped one of them, a bolt of Heart Palm Thunder striking him directly. The blonde-haired henchman collapsed instantly, without giving the others time to react. I continued to unleash Heart Palm Thunder. In less than a minute, all 5 thugs were sprawled on the ground, twitching all over and foaming at the mouth. Li Ba's small eyes looked like they were about to pop out in horror. How could this be? Why are there sparks of electricity on Muge's palm? What kind of technology is he using? An anti-pervert electric orb? I spat at the unconscious men on the ground, then smiled coldly and moved toward Li Ba. Li Ba had begun to panic. He stammered. You, Mugi, you've got some nerve, those people. You can't afford to mess with any one of them. You're finished. Prepare to spend the rest of your life rotting in prison. I looked at him with utter contempt. Shouldn't the one rotting in prison be you? Actually, you won't even get that chance. Do you want to see how your end will turn out? You only have one possible ending. After all, your Lai family's hands are already stained with at least 10 lives. Saying that, I unleashed another heart palm thunder, aiming it straight at Li Ba's face. Li Ba let out a shrill scream of terror before completely blacking out. He was still wondering what kind of horrific, electric shocking device Mugi had used. In an instant, the surroundings fell into silence. Everyone was stunned with amazement. Feng Bao Bao, standing 3 meters away, was also dazed and confused. Where are Brother Moose's inner thoughts? What on earth was that just now? Does he actually have superpowers? The twins arrived a bit late, so they didn't witness the whole process. They only saw their younger brother alone, knocking out 5 people with his bare hands. Actually 6 people to be precise. Both breathed a sigh of relief. It's good that our brother is safe. Our own little lives can be considered saved now too. Su Yi was standing before the surveillance monitor, frozen in place alongside Mu Tongchun, their mouths hanging open wide enough to fit a few eggs. They had both seen the fireball in my palm just now. No, it looked more like a lightning ball. That was what helped me deal with those 5 or 6 guys. Third daughter, pinch me quickly. I'm not dreaming, am I? Su Yi still couldn't believe her eyes. Even though she had seen it herself, this was just too surreal. Mu Tongchun actually pinched her, and right on the back of her hand too. Ouch, you really did it be a bit gentler. Suya's lip twitched from the pain, but it proved she definitely wasn't dreaming. Mu Tongchun just received a call, then looked down at her phone, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Mom, that scene just now was posted online by someone. Mugi is on the hot search list now. Suyi also took out her phone to check and was equally speechless with shock. Right, what do we do now? She had never encountered anything like this before. Mu Tongchun thought for a moment. Maybe try asking second sister. She has an entertainment company. Su Yi hurriedly called her second daughter Mu Li, telling her to find a solution immediately. On the slopes, I was surrounded by a large crowd. Brother, are you a disciple of some old immortal on the mountain? Who taught you that thing on your hand just now? May I ask what your relationship is with Thor? I heard their nonsensical questions and answered vaguely. Everyone should believe in science. I was just using a type of technology. It's just a type of anti-pervert electric orb, similar to pepper spray, so don't guess blindly. Hearing this, the Mew family members were dazed. What exactly is going on? Could I have really misseen it? Then they heard my inner thoughts again. This was really my chance to show off. Ha ha ha, that felt great. Ergu, say no more. Your heart palm thunder skill is actually quite something. In the future, when you're free, go to the neighboring system and interact more, to bring back more new stuff for me. Feng Bao Bao was stunned. Heart palm thunder? What kind of technology is that? I want this brother Mu, I've decided. If it really doesn't work out, it'll just force him to be my man. I called out to the system. Ergu, quickly release all the scandals of the Lai family. This request isn't too much to ask, right? The system said in a low voice. Young master, your request is actually a bit excessive, but someone has already beaten you to it. Who? In this world, besides me, is there actually someone that formidable? The twins were secretly terrified. Could it be eldest sister? Among our 9 sisters, she is the most capable one after Dad. But eldest sister doesn't know yet that our brother has returned, plus she's always liked Mu Baichuan. Will she even care for our brother? The system continued. Young master, I just found out. It was done by the young master of the Feng family, Feng Guangguang. He originally planned to vent his anger on behalf of his sister, and after receiving a call from Feng Bao Bao just now, he exposed the Lai family's scandals while he was at it. I looked at Feng Bao Bao standing not far away. I didn't expect this side character to be so sharp-witted. If I had known he would act first, I wouldn't have bothered acting so hard. It would have been much easier just to wait. Feng Bao Bao heard my praise and was secretly overjoyed. Brother Mu, let's head back. I nodded and turned to leave the slope. Feng Bao Bao hurried to my side, intentionally moving closer. Brother Mu, you don't need to fear Mu Baichuan anymore. It'll protect you. I chuckled. She's actually quite kind-hearted. Ergu, this Feng Bao Bao doesn't seem normal. Check if there are any scandals or rumors about her. The system gave a dry laugh. Young master, what you said last time was indeed correct. Feng Bao Bao has truly been captivated by your looks. She's lusting after you. She wants to take you home to be her man. Tisk tisk tisk, congratulations, young master. Hearing her gauss words, the corner of my mouth twitched as I glanced sideways at Feng Bao Bao, right next to me. Good heavens, this demeanor is clearly that of a female bandit. She definitely has some plot against me. How terrifying. Who would want to be her man? Thinking of this, I quickened my pace, practically running back to the ski resort office. Feng Baobao behind me was so angry she trembled. Muge, you annoying man, who's lusting after you who looks like a bandit? Just you wait. Back at the office, Su Yi hurried forward to check on me. Muge, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? Who was that guy? Why did he dare to bully you? I replied nonchalantly. I'm fine, Mom. I couldn't help but mock in my heart. This Mrs. Mu is really a top-tier actress. Clearly she could see through the big screen that I was the one bullying others, yet now she says others were bullying me. If this were Mu Baichuan, he would definitely be so happy he'd go crazy. Su Yi's lip twitched slightly. This child is truly stubborn and hard to handle. No matter how much I care for him, he doesn't seem to care at all. Just then, Mu Tangchun finished her call and returned. Muge, the selection round has started. You must help me review carefully. I nodded, sat on the sofa eating fruit, and watched the big screen intently. Feng Baobao sat right next to me, as if nothing had happened, and began snacking on fruit too. Occasionally, she glanced at her phone screen, noticing with surprise that all the hot searches about me from just now had completely vanished. It seems this was definitely the work of the Mu family's second daughter. Feng Baobao curled her lips slightly. They really are going all out for Mu Ji. The selection round began quickly and each talented youth took the stage to perform. Mu Tangchun appeared to be paying close attention to the match, but in reality, her entire mind was focused on me. However, after watching 10 contestants in a row, she still hadn't heard any of my inner thoughts, which made her feel unbearably anxious. What's going on? Didn't he say before that these 5 geniuses would harm him? So why is it so quiet now? It wasn't until the selection round ended that my inner thoughts echoed again. Sister Mu must have finished choosing everyone, right? Of those 5 geniuses, missing that guy Li Ba, the remaining 4 are all present. Ergu, surely nothing will go wrong this time, right? Before the system could even speak, Feng Baobao suddenly pointed at the documents and spoke about the people in them. Brother Mu, look at these guys. Each one is very handsome. What do you think? I glanced over indifferently, then hummed a vague reply to brush it off. But in my heart, I was full of disdain. I thought this Feng Baobao also had a good eye for people, but now it seems that's all she's got. Look at them, just a bunch of ugly, messy people, yet she can actually call them handsome. Feng Baobao froze for a moment, and immediately after, a fire of rage erupted in her heart. Well played, Muge. You actually dare mock my eyesight? Who doesn't know Feng Baobao? Any man I is always a top-tier specimen. I've even set my sights on you, you brat. At that moment, the system spoke up, with a tone full of doubt mixed with horror. Young master, according to my readings, because the plot has changed, it's caused a butterfly effect. The 2 potential seeds that Feng Baobao just took an interest in are currently... Hey, stop stuttering, Ergu! What are you doing? A system that stammers when it speaks. Don't tell me all of them right now aren't planning to look for trouble with third sister anymore. Since I didn't hear the exact list, suddenly, the dejected Mu Tangchun showed, a face full of questions. What does this mean? Could it be that my fate has changed? It's fine now, Feng Baobao is also staring at Mugi. Why do I feel like in the next second, his inner thoughts will be about me? The system continued speaking. Young master, don't worry, the original plot won't change, just adding a small sideshow. Mu Tangchun felt like she had a bucket of cold water poured over her. I thought I was safe, it was just a false alarm. I asked curiously. What other sideshow could there be? Is it related to the fake one? Forget those things for now. It's time to start the show for third sister Mu. Mu Tangchun's hand holding the coffee tightened. It's as if she's strangling my neck. Damn it. This bratty brother is actually looking forward to his own biological sister falling and breaking her bones. Feng Baobao almost burst out laughing. This kid Muji really has no conscience, but that's fine. Who told the Mu family to all be professional actors? Even I can't tell what they're acting out anymore. Su Yi and the 2 young daughters all lowered their heads in silence. The misunderstanding is deep-rooted, and resolving it will be too difficult. At that moment, the system's voice rang out. Young master, don't be in such a hurry. Those 2 handsome guys Feng Baobao just took an interest in are very busy right now. See that tent not far away over there? That's where they're preparing for lunch later. The 2 of them are currently under the table. Because the images are too brutal, I can't show them to you. My expression didn't change as I took a sip of coffee. But inside, I was screaming. Oh my god, in broad daylight, and at a ski resort too, and yet I can catch such shocking gossip. Hurry and tell me the details. Mu Tangchun spat out her mouthful of coffee. Sorry, I choked. Feng Baobao's large eyes widened even further. Can I watch the live broadcast from the scene? Please, give me a live stream. I love Bull the most. This is so exciting. The system then said, host, then again, these 2 people are also related to the fake one. One is named Wang Luanluan. He was university friends with the fake one. The other is named Zhao Zhuzhu. He's a childhood friend who grew up with the fake one since kindergarten. I caught the key point. So, both of them are related to the fake one? So third sister Muck's trouble this time, Mu Baichuan is involved too, right? The system nodded. Host. It's been found that Mu Baichuan is indeed involved. Previously he introduced 3 genius talents to third sister Mu. Those 3 then found 2 more people. Just now, Mu Baichuan directly ordered the 3 of them, telling them to mess with third sister Mu and then to kidnap Feng Baobao. At this moment, I glanced at Feng Baobao next to me, and my mouth couldn't help but twitch. Seeking revenge on Feng Baobao for being humiliated this morning, I can understand that. But he had already plotted against Mu Tangchun, which is truly incomprehensible. Forget it, I don't care about those things. I have to go to that tent to catch some fresh gossip. Thinking of this, I spoke up to say goodbye to everyone. You all carry on, I'm going out for a walk. Having said that, I left on my own. At first walking normally, but then faster and faster. Damn legs, run a little faster. If I'm late, I might miss it. Su Yi was the first to snap out of it, and she followed. No matter what Mu Baichuan's reasons were, she wouldn't allow her daughter to be bullied. Feng Baobao rushed up to me. Muge, I'm going over there to take a look too. Her purpose for going, first, was to see who exactly dared to bully her, but the most important reason was that she wanted to see the live stream. I nodded casually. The idiots who want to bully Sister Bao, they'll probably get free tickets to be buried alive later. Feng Baobao nodded slightly. Muge may have a sour face and a foul mouth, but his judgment of people is quite accurate. Mu Tangchun also hurriedly followed. She even started a live stream. Mu Baichuan wants to plot against me, so we'll send him straight to the top of the search rankings. Mu Yulu and Mu Ngok Diep, on the other hand, didn't follow in a hurry, but instead called their second sister. Second sister, something happened at the ski resort where third sister is. She just started a live stream. Please send someone to keep an eye on it. Don't let the live stream room get shut down. This concerns third sister's lifelong reputation, and sister Beos as well. At this time, the second daughter of the Mu family, Mu Le, had just boarded a plane, and she was currently in a towering rage. What on earth are you all doing? I just had Muji top search ranking removed, and now third sister is causing trouble. Baichuan already said it. Mugi is truly a jinx. Why are you still not listening? How many things have already gone wrong? Mu Yulu was so scared she trembled all over and hurriedly explained, Second sister, it's not like that. Our brother is not a jinx. Our brother is the lucky star of our Mu family. Mu Ngok Diep also wanted to help say a few words, but before she could open her mouth, the other side screamed in anger. Both of you shut up. I've been in the entertainment industry since I was 18. What kind of demons and monsters haven't I seen before? That Muga guy was out there for so many years. He learned how to play the victim for sympathy a long time ago. You've all been fooled by him. Now I have to go on a business trip. I'll be back the day after tomorrow at the latest. Then we'll see how I deal with him when I get back. Without giving the twins a chance to speak, she hung up the phone and even turned off her phone. At the ski resort, if I had heard second sister Muck's words, I surely would have been so happy I'd fly to heaven. I was worried about not getting a chance to take hundreds of millions of yuan, to live a carefree life out there, and with second sister Mu coming back, it's like being handed a pillow when you're sleepy. But for now, I'm concentrating on heading toward that tent. Seeing the 4 people including Feng Baobao following behind, I suspiciously called for the system. Ergu, why are Mrs. Su and those people following me? The system was also puzzled. Host, I don't understand it either right now. But I'm wondering, what expressions will they have later when they see that big thing happening? What else could it be? Naturally, they'll scream in horror, and then they'll just forgive those 2 guys. After all, they were sent by Mu Baichuan, so they can't help but show some face to Mu Baichuan. Hearing these words, Feng Baobao turned her head and glanced at Mu Tangchun. At this moment, Mu Tangchun's face was filled with fury. No way, I'm definitely not going to forgive those 2. Animals inside. Not just those 2, even those 5 so-called genius talents, I won't let a single one of them off. Su Yi was also fuming inside. Don't even think about it. If third sister dares to forgive those 2 scoundrels, I'll kick her out of the Mu family. I arrived at the edge of the tent, standing outside. I said with some excitement, Ergu, tell me where we should start. I suddenly thought of it. I should do a good deed, like making their reputation even bigger, putting them straight into the top search results. The system said slyly, Host, your strength is not small right now. You could kick a corner open. Before it could finish its words, it saw that Mu Tangchun had gone to a corner of the tent, lifted it slightly, and poked her phone inside. I looked at her with a shocked expression. What? What on earth is she doing? Feng Baobao approached like a ghost, speaking mysteriously. Mu Gay, there are sounds inside that aren't for children, so do you want to watch the live stream? Having said that, Feng Baobao directly handed her phone over. I was startled. This woman walks without a sound, and she talks in such a gloomy, cold way. Is she trying to scare me to death? But looking at that hot figure, she really is quite something. Feng Baobao clenched her fists, really wanting to tear Muji mouth apart so he wouldn't be here talking nonsense. But on second thought, it wasn't possible, since he didn't actually speak those words aloud. Su Yi and her daughters had started watching the phone, but they all covered their mouths, trying their best not to laugh out loud. Muge is really overthinking it. If Feng Baobao wanted a partner, it would be as easy as picking out a cabbage at the market. She could take her pick. My son and Feng Baobao really are a comedic pair of bickering lovers. Right now, I naturally didn't know what Su Yi was thinking because I was astonished by the images on the phone. Oh my god, is it this exciting? In the blink of an eye, the number of people in the live stream room reached 5,000. Where is this? Are those two men inside? Is this something we can watch for free? Can this even be broadcasted? Comments were flooding in like a waterfall. The number of people in the live stream room reached 50,000. Mu Tangchun is not only a great ski master, but her filming skills are also top-notch. In the live stream she shot, sometimes people could clearly see the faces of the two, then she would shift the viewpoint, all sorts of maneuvers to ensure the live stream wouldn't be banned, while still giving everyone a feast for the eyes. At this time, there were also many people in the audience seats who saw the live stream, and then they all gathered here. Who's inside? Wang Luan and Zhao Juju, have the two of them gone crazy? They even said they wanted to bully Boss Mu. That's so shameless. Expose their true faces. Everyone help out together to flip their tent over. At first, people were just pointing and gesturing, but then they all got impatient, joining forces to tear the tent open. The two in the tent, in a strange posture, immediately became deathly pale with fear. What are you all doing? Who let you in here? You're violating our privacy? I tisked as I looked at the scene before me. Ladies, what's so good about playing like this? If your master, Mu Baichuan, knew about this, what would he think? Mu Tangchun pointed her phone straight at them, her face cold. You've got a lot of nerve daring to plot against me on my own territory. Su Yi also rushed forward, questioning them angrily. You are so bold. Who instructed you to do this? Feng Baobao kicked the table aside so that everyone could see more clearly. Take photos, record videos. The angles are much better now. I'm the Feng Baobao you were just talking about. Tell me, how do you want to die? Wang Luan and Zhao Juju originally had no intention of betraying Mu Baichuan. After all, they could just deny it to the death. However, when they saw Feng Baobao, isn't this the crazy beloved daughter, pampered by the entire Feng group? They say she's a crazy girl cherished like a gem by the Feng family's corporation, and that her methods for dealing with people are very strange. At this ski resort, the two of them might just be turned into ice statues. Sure enough, Feng Baobao pulled out a whip from somewhere, aiming it directly at the two of them and lashing out repeatedly. Crack, crack, crack! 3 whip strikes rang out. Wang Luan and Zhao Juju screamed in agony, sounding like ghosts wailing and wolves howling. The onlookers all stepped back a few paces in fear, some even covering their eyes. They really didn't dare to look. The Feng family's young miss was too ruthless. After 3 whip strikes, blood was already visible on those two guys. Stop hitting, ill talk, okay? Wang Luan was the first to confess. It was Mu Baichuan. It was him. He told us to deal with Mu Tangchun. Mu Tangchun's pupils dilated instantly in shock. You're lying? Mu Baichuan is my brother. There's no way he would do such a thing. I raised an eyebrow slightly, resting my chin on one hand. Well, is third sister Mu not acting anymore? Mu Baichuan is her biological brother, while I'm just a useless trash bag. Even at this point, she's still biased toward that fake one. Mu Tangchun was so angry. Her whole body shook. She grabbed the whip from Feng Baobao's hand and lashed out hard at the two people on the ground. You really are shameless pieces of trash trying to smear someone else's reputation. How could Baichuan treat me like that? I am his sister. He's not that kind of person. In reality, Mu Tangchun wasn't being biased toward Mu Baichuan. She just wanted to expose Mu Baichuan's true face in front of everyone. Zhao Juju was beaten to the point of fainting several times, only to wake up in pain. Boss Mu, you have to believe me. Everything I'm saying is true. We have evidence on both of our phones. There are recordings and screenshots. Feng Baobao stepped forward, obtained their phones, and indeed found the evidence they mentioned. She also intentionally moved the phone closer to Mu Tangchun's phone camera so that the viewers in the live stream room could all see the information on it. The viewers in the live stream room saw the information and immediately exploded. Isn't this the classic story of the farmer and the snake? The news from yesterday already reported it. The Mu family's biological son has been found. The Mu family couldn't bear to let go of the fake son, so they didn't kick him out. As a result, this guy actually dared to do this. It's a real slap in the face. Su Yi, through the live stream room, also saw the information on the phone. She immediately held her head, feeling the world spinning around her, as if she were about to faint. Luckily, the twins were standing beside her and caught her in time. In the end, the live stream room was still banned, but Feng Baobao was not afraid. She held up her phone and declared loudly, "I'm calling the police. Anyone who can provide more evidence will be paid." After that, the crowd of onlookers gathered and all followed her. This ridiculous drama finally came to an end. After the police arrived, I was just like watching a play, standing there watching from start to finish without moving a muscle. Ergu, where's Mu Baichuan now? Before the system could even speak, Su Yi, barely holding herself together, came up to me. Mu Ge, follow me. We're going home to find Mu Baichuan. At this moment, Su Yi had made up her mind. She had to go find Mu Baichuan to settle accounts. This time she wouldn't forgive him no matter what. The Mu sisters and I got into the car, my face full of curiosity. Ergu, the fake one, must have watched the live stream by now, knowing that his secret is out. What is he doing at home at this hour? He's not practicing how to cry, is he? A few minutes later, the system's voice rang out. Host, the fake one is in a car heading home. However, his clothes are disheveled, his face looks haggard, and it's all swollen too. I gave a cold laugh. As expected of me, it really is like divine foresight. The fake one has prepared everything. Later, when Mrs. Su and third sister Mu question him, his acting will be even more seamless. Su Yi, sitting beside me, was so angry she could hardly breathe. Fine, Mu Baichuan, you really are something. Knowing full well that your secret is out, instead of thinking about how to admit your fault, you're still thinking of ways to deceive our whole family. However, the system shook its head. Host, it's not like that. I frowned. So what happened? Did he find a scapegoat? The system said seriously. He did find a scapegoat, but he also knew that scapegoat wasn't very useful. So he just left the house and went to find the Mu family's eldest sister, Mu Le. He wants Mu Li to be his backing. The eldest Mu daughter, Mu Le, is that domineering female CEO, right? The one who's even more formidable than Old Man Mu? The one who gave Mu Baichuan 50 million yuan to buy that island to play around? The system nodded. Exactly, it's her. Hearing that, I curled my lips. I really hope she doesn't come back. I don't want to lose my life in this godforsaken place. Su Yi frowned. Mu Baichuan actually dared to go to my eldest daughter to tattle? My eldest daughter has doted on Mu Baichuan since childhood, and she has a strong personality. This matter will likely be difficult to handle. Mu Yulu and Mu Ngok Diep, the two sisters, also became quite worried. Compared to their parents, the sisters were most afraid of their eldest sister. She is the true big sister. Anyone who messes with her will definitely have a layer of skin peeled off. But at this moment, the system became excited. Host, but that fake one didn't get his wish, because as soon as he left the Mu house, he was taken away. I almost couldn't stop myself from shouting and said excitedly, "What's the situation? Tell me, hurry up and tell me, host." This time it was done by Feng Baobao's younger brother, Feng Du. What Feng Baobao experienced at the Mu house made him very dissatisfied. In less than 5 minutes, he found out the whole story of the Mu family's real and fake young masters. The eldest Feng's son works with swift and decisive methods. He personally took action and sent people to kidnap Mu Baichuan. Hearing this, my blood boiled with excitement. Well done, Feng Du. Is this character in the original plot? I really like this kind of domineering person who acts as if they own the world. Su Yi was also excited after hearing this. Several times she had thought Mu Baichuan had escaped again. If my eldest daughter were the one to take action, she definitely wouldn't have punished Mu Baichuan. I really hope my eldest daughter can also hear my biological son's inner thoughts. If that happened, she probably wouldn't be so blind anymore. I became the narrator for everyone in the car. What happened after that? The Feng family's younger brother surely wouldn't leave him in peace, right? The system nodded. That's right. Mu Baichuan was taken to an abandoned pitch-black factory. The eldest Feng son was truly thoughtful, finding 3 burly men to give Mu Baichuan a real treat. Hearing this, my eyes lit up. That Feng brother is a real player. He's truly a loyal man. Anything else? Was Mu Baichuan just straightened out like that? The system laughed and said, at first Mu Baichuan struggled, but then he thoroughly enjoyed it. He even seemed a bit reluctant when he was released. I pursed my lips, laughing so hard inside that it sounded like a pig's squeal. Ha ha ha, this is what you call understanding through pain. When Su Yi heard her biological son laugh, her heart also lightened significantly. It's just that. Whenever she thought of Mu Baichuan, a wave of nausea rose in her heart. I don't even know who he learned it from. To go fooling around with men, is he not afraid of catching a disease? Right at this moment, the system's voice suddenly rang out. Host, things are bad. It's over. There's danger 2 kilometers ahead. It's been found that someone has arranged an accident ahead. They're waiting for you to come and die. I frowned and said, who is it? Could it be Mu Baichuan? The system shook its head. No. It's the Wang and Zhao families. Just now, the matter with Wang Luan and Zhao Zhuzhu was exposed. Both families received the news immediately. But as soon as they planned to use their methods to handle it, the Feng family intervened. They are using the momentum to swallow up both those clans. The old men of both families are in a towering rage, and their anger is raining down on all of you. They want to send all of you straight to the underworld together. Suya's pupils constricted in terror. Without even having time to think twice, she quickly pretended to faint. Stop the car now, I feel like throwing up. The driver, confused about what was happening, immediately slammed on the brakes. Mu Yuyi shouted, "Turn the car around now, take another route. This road is bad luck. Can't you see my mother is about to vomit?" The driver looked completely bewildered, but didn't dare ask many questions, so he switched to another road to continue. My mouth is twitching like crazy, good grief. Is everyone in the Mu family's brain wired so weirdly? Madame Su says she wants to vomit, and suddenly this road is bad luck. As soon as we change roads, she's perfectly fine. Seriously. Has the world gone crazy? But then again, they really do have 9 lives, don't they? Suyi heard my inner thoughts, making her even more firm in her convictions. Thank goodness I can hear my biological son's thoughts, otherwise even our lives wouldn't be spared. My son really is the lucky star of this family. The rest of the journey went quite smoothly, and soon enough, everyone arrived at the Mu family villa. After getting out, I stretched and asked, "Hey Ergu, what's the situation at home right now?" The system frowned. Mu Baichuan has already returned home, and what's more, he even called Mu Li back too. Su Yi and her 2 daughters looked at each other, none of them able to stop a shiver from running down their spines. Mu Li is the most biased toward Mu Baichuan. I wonder if she can hear Muga's inner voice or not. If she can hear it, then this is going to be a huge mess. But I just casually walked toward the villa. Finally, someone with some actual weight shows up. Isn't this exactly what I wanted? My hundreds of millions of yuan? Here I come? Mu Yulu, standing behind him, was incredibly anxious. Oh no, it's over, it's all over. My younger brother wants to leave home again. Mu Yuyi also felt like crying but had no tears left. It's done, what will be will be. There's no escaping it. Right now in the living room, Mu Baichuan was kneeling on the floor. His face was black and blue, a patch of his hair had been ripped out, and it was still oozing blood. "Big sister, please don't blame younger brother, this has nothing to do with him. If you don't agree with me, I won't get up." Mu Li, sitting in the main seat, looked at Mu Baichuan's state and her heart ached for him. But whenever she thought of Mu Ge, she flew into a rage. "What do you mean it has nothing to do with him? He just got back and our family's luck turned sour immediately. With such a major jinx around, is this whole family blind? Can't they see anything? Baichuan, get up quickly, you don't have to speak well of him. He's the one who hurt you like this. I don't know why this child is so foolish. You're just way too kind and good-hearted." Mu Baichuan said hurriedly, "Big sister, don't say that. Father and mother have both said it. Younger brother is our family's lucky star. Anyone who dares call him a jinx will have to answer to father." I walked in, witnessing this scene just at the right moment, laughing inwardly. What a devoted sister and brother. How touching. According to the original plot, I was supposed to be the one sucking up to Mu Li the most. Every day she worked late into the night, and I even had to make late-night snacks for her. Even when she was so tired she fainted, I had to stay by her hospital bed all night to take care of her. In the end, all the credit was snatched away by Mu Baichuan. On the contrary, no matter what I did, she always found something to complain about. She always felt I could never measure up to Mu Baichuan. And yet I kept idolizing this biological sister of mine, insisting on proving myself. As a result, it only made her despise me more, until finally I was locked in a dark room without even a single scrap of food to eat. Right? The system also felt awkward. Host, don't have such a huge grudge. We're both just serving the plot after all. What can we do? Su Yi, standing behind, heard my inner thoughts in their entirety, and her heart was a mess of emotions. My biological son sacrificed so much for Xiaolan, but what was the result? Xiaolan is just like I used to be, seeing nothing at all and listening to absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Mu Baichuan does nothing and gets to enjoy all the benefits. Mu Baichuan, kneeling on the ground, saw Su Yi and her daughters return, but they looked at him with cold eyes, showing not a hint of concern. This only caused the fire of anger in his heart to burn even more fiercely. "Mu Ge, you really deserve to die." Mu Li also followed Mu Baichuan's gaze, and when she saw me, she jumped up instantly, staring intensely at her biological younger brother and screamed, "Mu Ge, you really are a total jinx!" Su Yi immediately stepped in front of me to shield me. "Xiaolan, what are you saying? Mu Ge is not a jinx." But Mu Li was like someone who had gone mad, speaking without any regard for anything. "What do you mean he's not a jinx? In just 2 short days, everything that has happened to the Mu family, I know it all. He just gets back, and the 2 little ones are in trouble. Something went wrong at Sister 3's ski resort too. And now he's even caused Baichuan to be bullied by others. How is he not a jinx after all that?" Hearing this, Suya's heart broke, and she became extremely furious as well. "Xiaolan, I've said it already. Muji is not a jinx, quite the opposite. He is our family's lucky star. I don't care what you think. Anyone who dares call him a jinx again can get the hell out of this house." Mulai looked at her mother with a look of disbelief and said, Mother, have you gone senile? Before Mugi returned, you were never this irrational. You've never looked as unwell as you do now either, as if you're suffering from a serious illness. Isn't this the clearest proof of all?" Su Yi grew even more heated. "Mu Li, The one who is truly irrational is you. Think about it carefully yourself. Isn't it just because you're biased against Mugi? Seeing the mother and daughter bickering loudly over me, I smirked. What's this? Madame Su seems to have taken the role too seriously. Has she completely convinced herself she's a saintly mother? To go as far as arguing with the daughter, she's most proud of over a stranger like me? There's really no need for that. Just kick me out and it'll all be over. Hearing my inner thoughts, the whole family looked toward Mu Li in anticipation. But at this moment, the expression on Mu Li's face was nothing but pure, unadulterated rage, with no other emotional change whatsoever. The twin sisters Mu Yulu and Mu Yu Yi were stunned. What's going on? Can big sister not hear our younger brother's thoughts? This is going to end badly if she can hear them. She'll definitely kick our brother out. Mu Li didn't care at all about everyone's reactions. She turned to look at me and barked, Mu Gi, I don't care what tricks you used to bewitch, mother, but I am your elder sister, and disciplining you is only natural. Having said that, she actually raised her leg and kicked straight at me. I stood there as if paralyzed by fear, frozen in place, not moving a muscle. Here it comes, the self-harm scheme I prepared this morning and haven't used yet. Now I finally have a chance to use it. After taking this kick, it'll make her compensate me with 80 real estate properties. Forget about a few 100 million yuan. I don't even care about that anymore. Mu Yulu and Mu Yu Yi stared with mouths agape, wanting to step in, but it was already too late. Mu Baichuan was so excited his whole body trembled. Excellent. This idiot Mu Lai really is the easiest to use. I just need to cry a little and she'll do whatever I say. But right then, something unexpected happened. At this moment, Su Yi was utterly terrified. Mu Li, stop right now. She knew well that if this kick landed, Mugi would definitely leave home for good. While screaming, Su Yi tried to run over and shield me, but she couldn't move an inch. She looked down, only then discovering that Mu Baichuan had somehow rushed over and was tightly hugging her legs. Mother, please, don't be angry. You're sick. Anger will only make your illness worse. He was gloating inside. Old lady, as long as I'm here, don't even dream of going over to help Mugi. Big sister is a taekwondo black belt after all. If he takes that kick full on, Mugi will be crippled if not killed. Want to take everything from me? Keep dreaming. Su Yi was so angry she almost coughed up blood on the spot, struggling with all her might. Mu Baichuan, let go of me right now. Are you trying to cause a rebellion? But Mu Baichuan just held onto her legs tightly, refusing to let go no matter what. At the critical moment, it was Mu Yu Yi who managed to break free from the control of that mysterious force. She rushed forward and hugged me, and almost at the same time, Mu Li's kick landed squarely on her. Ah, Mu Yu Yi screamed in pain. She held onto me as both of us tumbled to the ground. I lay flat on the ground while my mind was about to explode. This is absolutely infuriating. Has Mu Yu Yi gone crazy? At a crucial time like this, what the hell was she thinking jumping out like that? My self-harm scheme, it failed this morning, and now it's failed again. Mu Yu Yi felt terrible inside, with resentment, frustration, and anger all rising at once. Big sister, calm down. Are you not even going to listen to what mother says? Mu Yulu hurried over to help her up, then shouted at Mu Li. Big sister, you're being far too impulsive. We are all family. Is there any need to get physical like this? If it wasn't for our younger brother returning, I and the youngest would have been sold abroad long ago. Didn't you say you understood everything now? Do you just want both of us to disappear? Mu Li stood there frozen. The accusations from her twin sisters left her mind in a total state of confusion. Is Mugi really not a jinx? But clearly, since he got back, the house hasn't had a single day of peace. Besides, Baichuan already investigated it, and I've seen so much of the investigation data myself. Could I really be wrong? Suyi couldn't hold it in anymore? She looked down at Mu Baichuan, who was still clinging to her legs, and a murderous glint appeared in her eyes. She forcefully yanked one leg free and stomped hard, right on Mu Baichuan's face, followed by a second time, and then a third. Mu Baichuan had been startled by Mu Yuye's actions just moments before, and that brief lapse allowed Su Yi to get free. But before he could react in any way, he saw the sole of a shoe rapidly enlarging before his eyes, and thus, there was a zero-distance encounter. Su Yi didn't stop until she was tired from kicking. She kicked Mu Baichuan aside, then ran over to me and asked anxiously, Muge, how are you feeling? Let me call a doctor to examine you, don't be afraid. I sighed helplessly. I'm fine. I wasn't the one who got kicked just now. Mom, go see how the youngest is doing. Mu Yuye was crying tears of resentment, but hearing me call her the youngest, she felt as if she'd just tasted honey, and her heart was suddenly filled with sweetness. My brother finally called me his sister. Does that mean he's accepted me? Then this kick was absolutely worth taking. Mu Yulu, standing nearby, was also stunned, feeling happy for her sister, but also a tiny bit of jealousy. When will I finally be recognized by my brother? A relieved smile appeared on Suya's face. Good, that's wonderful. My dear son finally knows how to care for his sister. I suppose this is a blessing in disguise. Mu Li, witnessing this, felt the flames of anger in her heart erupt once more. Mother, what are you all doing? Baichuan was brought to this state by Mugi, yet none of you even bother to look at him. I didn't even hit Mugi just now. What kind of injury could he possibly have? You don't care about Baichuan, but instead you care about Mugi. Are all your eyes blind? Mu Baichuan finally recovered from his dazed state, and hearing his eldest sister defending him, his tears began to flow uncontrollably. Big sister, don't be angry, I'm alright. Even though I'm hurt, I don't blame younger brother. He really didn't do anything wrong. It's all my fault, I'm just too useless. If I were just a bit more capable, I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have embarrassed our family like this. He almost accidentally let slip the business with those 3 brawny men. I glanced at Mu Baichuan with contempt, then looked at Mu Li out of the corner of my eye. Are you sure you understand the whole situation? Ergu, check for me if this overbearing female CEO sister of the Mu family has any major scandals. I see her forehead is turning dark. She must have some major disaster coming her way soon. Mu Li immediately flared up in anger. Mugi, what did you just call me? Who do you think you are, to dare call me by my full name like that? Since she could first remember, no one had ever dared to be so bold with her. I laughed coldly. Who am I? I am the biological son of the Mu family, and everything in the Mu family will belong to me in the future. So what if I call you by your name? You're nothing more than an employee working for me. Hearing my words, Su Yi's heart filled with joy. Mugi has finally seen reason. He doesn't want to leave the family anymore, and he's even willing to inherit the estate. Oh heavens, truly a blessing from above. The Mu family is saved, Mu Yu. Yes, eyes brightened. My brother has come to his senses. He finally knows his own worth. This is wonderful. It seems that the kick I took was well worth it to trade for my brother's enlightenment. Mu Yulu was even moved to tears of joy. Worthy indeed of being the Mu family's eldest son, the future heir, to be so brave when facing such an overbearing eldest sister. Mu Baichuan, kneeling on the ground, was also dazed. Muge. He actually dares to speak to Mu Li like that? Ha 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 ha, this is perfect. Now that he's offended Mu Li, does Muge still dream of being the Mu family's biological son? Wishful thinking. Now he's not even equal to a stray dog on the street. Just you wait and see. The real show is about to begin. At this moment, Mu Li was stunned after scolding me because in her head just now, she suddenly heard the sound of a brass gong ringing. Then she heard me mention something about Ergu, and also something about her forehead turning dark. But Mugi clearly didn't open his mouth to speak. An ill omen rose within her heart. To verify that suspicion, she continued. Mugi, you're quite arrogant, aren't you? I'm an employee working for you? Stop dreaming in broad daylight, mother, did you hear that? Mugi just got back, and he's already plotting to seize our estate. Someone of his character doesn't deserve to be called the biological son of the Mu family, but Su Yi just smiled. That Mugi can have such enlightenment makes me feel incredibly happy in my heart. When your father and the 3rd child get home later, I must share this wonderful news with them. It's a grand celebration. This time, the whole family must definitely organize. A truly spectacular celebration. Mu Li was flabbergasted. Mother, what are you talking about? He returned solely for our inheritance. He has malicious intentions, mother. How can you possibly be happy? Mu Baichuan was also dumbfounded. What is that old woman Su Yi playing at? Could she have planned this from the very beginning? To leave the entire inheritance to Mugi? On what grounds? Didn't she always say that I was the child she raised with her own 2 hands? That my abilities in every aspect were far beyond average? And that only I could bring glory to the Mu family? That damn Mugi, what kind of trickery did he use to completely change Su Yi's mind like that? Su Yi looked at Mu Li, completely speechless. Xiaolan, are you stupid? Mugi is my biological son. He is the eldest son of the Mu family. For the eldest son to inherit the family business, how is that a malicious plot? Isn't this perfectly normal? It took so much for Mu Ji to agree to inherit the estate. We must settle this as quickly as possible. When old Mu gets back in a bit, I must make him draft a will written clearly in black and white to avoid any unnecessary trouble later on. Mu Li was absolutely livid. Mother, this is unfair. What about Baichuan? Didn't you used to say that only Baichuan was your son? Mu Baichuan was filled with internal fury, but his foolish eldest sister was already speaking up on his behalf. So he naturally didn't need to step forward himself anymore. However, he still had to add fuel to the fire. So he spoke up quickly. Big sister, please don't be angry anymore. Mother is right. Younger brother is the true biological son of the Mu family. Everything in the Mu family should rightfully belong to him. I'm so grateful for the way mother has raised me all these years. I'm already completely satisfied. As he spoke, his tears began to fall piteously. Seeing this, Mu Li felt even more angry and pained in her heart. I laughed secretly to myself. This fake is starting to whimper again. What a total crybaby act. To fight for the inheritance, he's already revealed his true colors long ago. It's just a shame. This overbearing female CEO is also just a blind fool who still refuses to believe it. Those words Madame Su just spoke sounded quite sincere on the surface. But as for this host, I really don't care one bit about the Mu family's measly little inheritance, because before long the Mu family will be completely finished. What am I supposed to inherit then? A collection of funeral urns? I only said it just to annoy that overbearing female CEO a little. Su Yi felt as if a bucket of cold water had been dumped on her, and the excitement she felt a moment ago was instantly and completely extinguished. It turns out Mugi was just talking for fun. But clearly, as long as he's here, the Mu family won't be ruined. This massive fortune must definitely belong to him. Mu Li was just about to step forward to comfort Mu Baichuan, but after hearing my words, she froze. Muji clearly hadn't opened his mouth just now, so why did I still hear his voice? Could I really be able to hear his inner thoughts? Right at this moment, my inner thoughts rang out once again. Ergu, did you finally find it? Hurry up and tell me. Let me see how this overbearing CEO sister gets played to death by that Mu Baichuan. Let me relax my mind for a bit, then I have to think of another self-harm plan. I need to make another few 100 million yuan and then I'll beat it as fast as I can. Mu Li grew even more astonished, to the point where her hands trembled as she pointed at me. Mu Ge, you just said. She wanted to ask, how is it that you can talk to a system, and why do you dare say, is the Mu family going to be ruined? But the words she said after that were all completely muted. She tried a few more times, but found that she still couldn't speak them out. Seeing this, Su Yi felt her heart finally settle back into her chest. Eldest sister finally heard Mu Ge's inner thoughts. This is truly wonderful. So she hurried over and grabbed Mula's hand. Xiaolan, calm down. Mu Ge is your biological brother. Think carefully about the relationships involved here. Saying that, she pulled Mu Li over to my side. Mother, Mu Li was about to protest, but suddenly she felt her mind become much clearer. Things she couldn't see clearly a moment ago, she could now mostly understand. At that very moment, the system's voice rang out again. Host, I've investigated eldest sister Mu's matter. You were right. She is indeed about to face a major disaster. I immediately urged it on. Tell me quickly. I want to see what could happen to a domineering female CEO. The system nodded. Host, tomorrow Mu Baichuan will return to his biological parents' home. Mu Li, worried about his safety, will follow him there. In that poor and remote mountain village, she is horrified to find a pregnant woman drinking talisman water just to give birth to a son. She is shocked and rushes to stop her, even pouring all the talisman water away. I gave a cold laugh. Always acting like a CEO, thinking she can call the shots everywhere. Some beliefs in the deep mountains are deeply rooted. What happens next? She wasn't. Locked up in the forest? To be a breeding machine for someone, was she? Hearing this, Mu Li was stunned instantly. Just as she was about to question me, Su Yi, standing next to her, grabbed her hand tightly, constantly using her eyes to reassure her. Don't speak, we can all hear it. You'll understand what's going on in a moment. The system continued. Host, you are still too kind-hearted. Actually, that woman is the fake one's stepmother. In a rage, the stepmother went to find the fake one's father to snitch. His father then went to find Mu Li, insisting that she apologize and pay compensation. Mu Li, being a domineering CEO, sensed trouble, so she quickly drove away to escape. It's just that. Only what? I frowned. What only? Could it be Mu Baichuan won't let her go, tricking her into coming back to be his own stepmother? Mu Li trembled with rage. What kind of nonsense is this? Baichuan is not that kind of person. He is my most beloved younger brother. Su Yi looked at Mu Baichuan on the side, narrowing her eyes. You beast, is there anything you wouldn't dare to do? The system couldn't help but laugh out loud. Ha ha ha, host. You still think this fake is too kind-hearted. The fake told his father then that Mu Li was very rich and capable, like a phoenix in the deep mountains. But he didn't want to commit a crime, so he thought of a way to drive Mu Li into madness. At that point, they'd just say the family was kind enough to take her in, and then everything would be different. In my heart, I silently gave a thumbs up to Mu Baichuan. He's truly a talent. Even I have to admire his skill. Is this even a human thought? As soon as my thoughts ended, Mu Li completely exploded, unable to endure it any longer. Mugi, what nonsense are you talking about? You. Baichuan. He. The domineering CEO flew into a rage, but her subsequent thoughts were blocked. Mu Li was now absolutely certain, and so were her mother and sisters. They could all hear Muji's thoughts. Furthermore, Mugi was using this to fabricate all sorts of rumors about Baichuan, turning the family against him in his favor. So all of this was just Mu Ge's scheme. Thinking of this, she walked toward Mu Baichuan. Baichuan, if they don't care about you, it'll take care of you. We don't need to stay in this house. Let's go. With that, she led Mu Baichuan straight out. Su Yi hurriedly chased after them. Xiaolan, wait a moment, listen to me. Xiaolan, I remained where I was, having no intention of stopping them. Mu Li, you fool. Go ahead and look after your good brother. That good brother will give you a taste of falling from heaven to hell. Seeing Mu Li and Mu Baichuan leave the villa, Su Yi was filled with anxiety, but she knew she couldn't chase them any further. Her eldest daughter wasn't thinking clearly. Anything she said would be useless. Now she could only rely on her son to see if she could pick up any more information. Thinking this, Su Yi turned back and said, Muge, you're hungry, right? Go and rest. I'll have the kitchen prepare dinner. Old Eighth, the family doctor will be here soon. Tell him to watch over Old Ninth carefully. Then she walked into the kitchen. I didn't leave but sat on the sofa looking at the pale Mu Yuye. This girl is something else. Why did she insist on taking the hit for me? Otherwise, I'd be on my way to a bar by now. But that family doctor is a pervert, so we'll stay and see what happens. Mu Yuye was initially happy that I was worried about her, but hearing the last part, she almost fainted. A pervert? What does that even mean? Mu Yulu, hearing this, hurriedly stood up and ran to the kitchen. Mom, I want braised pork. Let me tell you something. She had only one thought in mind. She had to let her mother know about this. In the living room, feeling bored, I called the system. Ergu, where are Mu Li and Mu Baichuan now? Tell me quickly to cheer me up. And Feng Baobao shall surely bring me some surprises, right? The system said, Host, you forgot the fake isn't willing to leave this house. He's afraid if he leaves, he won't be able to enjoy his decadent life anymore. The domineering CEO just called the second young miss, and all the negative info about Mu Baichuan on the internet has been wiped clean. I opened my phone to check, and indeed, not a trace of news about Mu Baichuan was left. It shouldn't be like this. Sister Mu and Feng Baobao made a scene at the ski resort. No matter how powerful the second sister is, Feng Baobao is no pushover either. Would she really let the second sister suppress the news so easily? The system spoke helplessly. Feng Baobao never follows the rules. She let the Mu sisters pay to settle it, pocketing 50 million yuan from this deal. Oh my god, I was so excited. I almost jumped out of my chair. Feng Baobao is truly an extraordinary woman. Her brother deals with Mu Baichuan, and she collects the money. It's a perfect win-win, covering all bases. As expected of the woman I've chosen, her future is truly bright. The system looked at me with a dark face. Host, you're more interested in the money, aren't you? Just then, I looked toward the door. Mu Baichuan was being carried in, by 4 maids, exactly. He has returned. How could he bear to leave the Mu family? He was crying and begging outside, until he finally convinced Mu Li to return. Seeing him still able to move, I'm actually a bit impressed. He's truly an iron cockroach after being thrashed 3 times by 3 guys, then getting another round from me, and finally being kicked dozens of times by Mrs. Su. Yet he's still holding on, as expected of the protagonist. That plot armor is top-notch. Mu Yuye hurriedly covered her mouth. Big brother said it well, but please stop. I can hardly stop myself from laughing. Mu Baichuan stared at me, hating me to his very core. But I will make you feel absolutely disgusted. Then he signaled the maids, and they carried him right in front of me. I acted as if I saw nothing, but inside I was counting down. The whimpering monster is here. The whimpering monster has arrived. All departments pay attention. Staff leave the scene. Prepare 3, 2, 1. Start the performance. As soon as my thoughts finished, Mu Baichuan's sobbing voice rang out. Big brother, don't blame yourself. It's all because I'm useless. I didn't protect myself well and ended up involving you. But don't be afraid. When Dad returns later, I will help explain things for you. Big brother, please forgive me. I almost couldn't stop myself from swinging my hand for a slap. How can someone in this world be so thick-skinned and shameless? I looked at him coldly. You admit you were wrong? Mu Baichuan hurriedly nodded. Big brother, I truly know my mistake. Please forgive me. You'll definitely perform well from now on. This is what you call getting too absorbed in your act. I nodded. Fine. Then kowtow 3 times loudly to apologize and slap yourself 10 more times, then I'll forgive you. Mu Baichuan immediately stopped crying, looked up at me in shock. But big brother, what did you say? Is Muga's brain fried? I was just acting a bit. When did I ever sincerely admit a mistake? I continued to play along with him. What? Didn't catch that? Didn't you just say you were wrong? Seems like it was all just an act, wasn't it? Mu Baichuan gritted his teeth and said nothing. Tears began to stream down his face again, looking at me with an incredibly pitiful face, as if I were bullying him severely. I curled my lips into a smile. Oh, I see. So it was just empty words earlier. You don't feel you're in the wrong at all? So what are you still acting for? Mu Baichuan pursed his lips, teeth clenched, as he stared at me. This bastard, he dares to play me? I suddenly felt a desire to tease him, leaning forward slightly, close to Mu Baichuan's face, whispering, You fake. I know you're an honest child. So since you feel guilty, let me help you admit your mistake. With that, I rolled up my sleeves and slapped Mu Baichuan's face repeatedly. Smack, smack, smack. The slaps rang out one after another, echoing throughout the living room. I laughed heartily inside as I slapped him. Ha ha ha, so satisfying, always coming to act in front of me. Why should I have to endure it every time? That's never going to happen. The kind of person I am, I like eating anything delicious, except for hardships, those I won't take. I can endure anything, except for being wronged. He delivered himself right to my door, so if I didn't welcome him warmly, wouldn't that be impolite? As I was thinking that, the force in my hand increased quite a bit. Mu Baichuan never expected that I dare to hit him, and so hard at that. By the time he could react, I was already finished. I shook my hands, wincing as I said, "You fake. Your skin is truly thick. It's so tough it actually made my hands hurt. All right, I won't blame you, since you're not even the Mu family's biological son. If you manage to injure me, you can never afford to compensate. I'm bored. Get out of my sight." Mu Baichuan's face immediately swelled up like a pig's head. His mind was buzzing, unable to think anymore. He was actually hit by a country bumpkin like Mugi, and then even treated with such disdain. Mu Yuye, standing nearby, went from shock to pure delight. "Big brother, great hit, fantastic. Just the sound of it is so satisfying. What kind of person are you to be so incredibly bold? How dare you strike the eldest young master of the Mu family?" At that moment, a man with gold-rimmed glasses stepped forward, aggressively shouting at me. I glanced sideways at him. All right, the perverted doctor has finally made his entrance. Mu Baichuan's eyes showed a glimmer of joy as he spoke to the newcomer. "Dr. Zhao, don't be angry. This is my brother. He just returned. We just had a little misunderstanding. An older brother teaching his younger brother, that's only natural. Please go check on my sister first. No need to worry about me." Hearing this, Dr. Zhao became even more enraged. "So it's that jinx Mu Gay? Baichuan? I think you're just too kind. That's why you're being bullied by a country bumpkin like this. Regardless of the reason, him daring to hit you like this is entirely his fault. President Mu has been kind to me. I can let his honor be tarnished like this. Today, I will teach this unfilial son a lesson on his behalf." With that, Dr. Zhao raised his hand, intending to slap me right across the face. I sat there still, not moving an inch. System? What kind of favor did old Mu do for him? Tell me about it first. Just then, a roar rang out. "You surnamed Zhao, you dare strike my son? See if I don't beat you to death." But before Dr. Zhao's slap could land, someone struck his head with a cane, sending him falling to the ground in pain, clutching his head. Regaining his senses, Dr. Zhao touched his head, found his hand covered in blood, and screamed in humiliated rage, "Su Yi, you damn woman! How dare you hit me!" In his fury, the man named Zhao lost all restraint and spoke recklessly. Su Yi never expected that. The usually refined and polite Dr. Zhao could utter such words. I was also a bit stunned. What's wrong with Mrs. Su? I remember in the plot she was the one who respected this family doctor the most, almost following his every word. Yet she hit that Zhao guy for my sake. What's going on here? Ergu, Zhao has shown his true colors. Hurry up and leak his scandals. This guy is starting to interest me. Su Yi heard my thoughts, regained her composure, and struck Dr. Zhao several more times. Years ago, Mu Baichuan recommended you here, and I took you in out of pity. To put it nicely, you're an employee, but in reality, you're just a servant of this house. A servant daring to strike his master? Are you trying to rebel? You're not even pretending anymore, are you? Even daring to insult me? Dr. Zhao finally realized he had overstepped. A surge of deep regret filled him as he hurriedly began to beg. Mrs. Mu, you've misunderstood. I didn't mean it. I only wanted what's best for your family. That Mugi is a jinx. The moment he returned, your family was hit with all these troubles. Besides, young Master Baichuan is seriously injured. Please stop hitting me and let me check his wounds. As if that weren't enough, mentioning Mu Baichuan only made Su Yi's rage burn even more fiercely. She struck even more viciously, breaking one of Dr. Zhao's arms and even knocking his newly operated nose completely out of place. Mu Baichuan finally panicked, shouting, "Mom, please stop hitting him. Dr. Zhao once saved my life. He is my savior. He just misunderstood. Big brother slapping me was just to teach me a lesson. He just thought I was being bullied, Mom. If Dr. Zhao doesn't treat me, what will I do?" I sat to the side, coldly watching everything unfold. That pervert is the fake savior, and old Mu is the pervert savior too. The relationships here seem complicated. Ergu, have you investigated yet? The system's voice rang out. Host, I've investigated. Didn't expect to find such a golden egg while eavesdropping. I was full of doubt and my interest was immediately piqued. What golden egg? Tell me, quickly. Dr. Zhao's real name is Zhao Daiyong. He was the school doctor when the fake was in middle school, but because he was reported multiple times for harassment by female students, he was fired. Then he fled to the countryside to be a veterinarian. Once, the fake spent 5 million yuan on a watch and a hair wash. Afraid of being scolded, he found Zhao Daiyong to stage a play about having a terminal illness, escaping punishment that way. Su Yi's eyes immediately widened. What? Our whole family hired a veterinarian as our family doctor? No wonder my son said the Mu family would soon be ruined. If a vet is treating people, it'd be strange if we weren't finished. I also found it hilarious. Using a vet to treat the Mu family, Mu Baichuan is clearly calling the whole Mu family animals. How cruel, he even insulted himself. The system nodded. Yes, there's indeed such a segment in the plot. Mu the Sixth was once treated by him, which led to a rift with the family. He was even diagnosed as mentally ill by the vet and almost sent to a mental asylum. Something's not right here. I frowned and asked, eldest sister and the sixth have the closest bond, and Mu Li is a domineering CEO. Could she really have noticed nothing at all? The system hesitated for a moment. Let me check again. I clicked my tongue. Ergu, how do you even do your job? This professional competence is just too poor. Do I need to get you a new brain? Muyulu also nodded in agreement. Exactly, he's clearly a rookie. This ability definitely needs a major upgrade. Muyuye, sitting on the sofa, secretly mocked in her heart. Please, move a bit faster. My back isn't tired anymore, and my legs don't even hurt. If I don't get the full scoop today, I'll probably end up paralyzed from frustration. The system was so nervous it was sweating buckets. Investigated it, it's out. There really is a plot segment like that. Why didn't Mu the Sixth get any understanding? It turns out it's because. Oh my god, I was startled by the system and spoke through gritted teeth. You brat, could you stop overreacting to everything? You're a system, please show some professionalism. The system wore a look of utter shock. Because Mu Li, the eldest Mu sister, was also bullied by this vet before. But since she's someone who values face and has a very competitive personality, she could only grit her teeth and endure it in silence. Su Yi was completely stunned. The cane in her hand fell to the floor and her entire body went numb. Mu Yulu pinched her thigh hard to stop her body from trembling. Eldest sister was actually bullied by that vet? How could this even happen? Mu Yuye suddenly stood up. This news was like a miraculous medicine to her. Immediately healed all the pain in her body. I've uncovered the hidden twists in this matter. What kind of character did that perverted doctor actually have? The imposter definitely knew everything, yet he still let this old quack vet treat the whole family. Could it be? The system nodded in agreement. Host, you're truly brilliant. Exactly. Mu Baichuan did it on purpose, because he never truly cared for his sisters at all. The mistreatment of Mu Li was also because he secretly drugged her drinking water beforehand, which is how this despicable doctor was able to make his move. Furthermore, he wanted to take all the Mu sisters for his own harem, to enjoy them all by himself. Su Yi jumped up, roaring in fury at Mu Baichuan. She clenched her fists, trembling with rage in her entire body. Why? Wasn't I good enough to him? Even for my biological son, this would be the extent of my care. Yet he dared to have such filthy thoughts about my daughters. It is terrifying. It even makes me feel nauseous. Mu Baichuan was startled, frowning as he looked at Su Yi. Mom, what's wrong? Zhao Daiyong clutched his arm and stood up, shielding Mu Baichuan behind him. Mrs. Mu, have you fallen ill again? Young Master Baichuan is so badly injured. Instead of worrying about him, now you're shouting at him because of an outsider. Su Yi delivered a kick, sending him flying to the ground again. Shut your mouth, you're the one who's sick. I am not sick. It turns out you, a quack, were intentionally harming me. Now you're fired. Get lost right this instant, but prepare yourself mentally. I will not let you off the hook. Zhao Daiyong trembled with fear. Madam, you can't fire me. You can't treat me like this. He only spoke a few words for Mu Baichuan. How could it lead to being fired? If it were in the past, Mrs. Mu wouldn't just not be angry, she would have even rewarded him. Why has everything changed like this? And now she wants to investigate what he did in the past. What did he do again? Could it be? No way. Those two sisters would absolutely never tell that to anyone. Could Mrs. Mu already know? Mu Baichuan was also utterly shocked. He even ignored his painful injuries to kneel on the ground, miserably pleading for Zhao Daiyong. Mom, Dr. Zhao is my lifesaver. He has always been devoted and loyal. I just gave a cold laugh. Though I don't know why Madame Su is suddenly so sharp, doubting this despicable old quack vet. But I still think she won't truly investigate. After all, the imposter can't do without the quack. That sissy is colluding with the quack to swap the antique bronze incense burner that old Mu loves most, right? That's the birthday gift old Mu planned for his mother-in-law. Tisk, guarding against thieves day and night is hard, but a thief in the house is hardest. Su Yi heard this. The fire of rage in her heart flared up even more fiercely. Not waiting for him to finish, Su Yi shouted over him, Mu Baichuan, shut your mouth right now, guards. Kick this guy Zhao. Out for me. No, wait, call the police. He is stealing property from the Mu family. Zhao Daiyong was completely stunned. Mrs. Mu, I didn't take anything. How did this turn into theft? You can't falsely accuse me like that. Mu Baichuan was also agitated, rushing forward and screaming, No one touches Dr. Zhao. Su Yi glared coldly at Mu Baichuan. What did you just say? I shook my head helplessly. This idiot, done acting already? He wants to be the master of this house now. Madame Su must be feeling so proud right now, huh? After all, she's waited for this day for a long time. Seeing the golden child she raised so carefully, leaking out his kingly aura like this, she must feel very satisfied. Su Yi almost choked on her saliva. Proud of what? Satisfied my foot, I'm dying to give Mu Baichuan a few slaps. Realizing he misspoke, Mu Baichuan quickly changed his tone while crying. Mom, please calm down. Dr. Zhao only said a few fair words. You shouldn't fire him, and especially shouldn't call the police. If this gets out, I don't know how other families will laugh at us. Su Yi laughed coldly. Mu Baichuan, remember this clearly. No matter when it is, it will never be your turn to teach me how to do things. Mama Zhang had already called the police. Now she brought in the household security, first gagging Dr. Zhao, then tying him up and dragging him away. The entire process took only a few minutes. One would call it extremely quick and efficient. Mu Baichuan had never seen such a scene. He was too terrified to utter a word. My eyes lit up looking at Su Yi. Madame Su was absolutely badass just now. I thought she would be led by the nose by the imposter. Unexpectedly, she has a brain. If she can truly persist until the end of the plot, it will crown her as the goddess of my heart. The corner of Su Yi's mouth curved up slightly. Brat, I will show you later what your mother's true capabilities are like. Suddenly her tone shifted, sitting upright on the sofa, an overwhelming aura radiating around her. She was no longer the mother who pampered Mu Baichuan, but exuded the demeanor of a powerful mistress. Mu Baichuan, with so many things happening today, don't you think you should give me an explanation? At this moment, Mu Baichuan was kneeling on the floor. His mind went completely blank. Am I hearing this right? This old woman actually dares to demand an explanation? What on earth is going on? Before, no matter how much trouble I caused, as long as I acted pitiful and cried miserably, everything would pass. But now. Suddenly, he whipped around to look at me. It must be because this bastard Mugi secretly badmouthed me to the old woman. An idea flashed in his mind. Mu Baichuan had prepared his words. Mom, I was wrong. It's because I'm still too incompetent. But I was forced by those people. They said they were holding Feng family's business secrets. If I didn't follow their orders, they would ruin our family. I thought they were just bluffing. I didn't expect things to go this far. After speaking, his tears flowed uncontrollably, dripping onto the floor. I watched his performance, laughing like crazy on the inside. The imposter's acting skills have leveled up again. And Feng family business secrets? Those bottom-tier families think they can know Feng family secrets? Isn't Mu Baichuan the one who knows the business secrets? Thinking of this, I suddenly asked Ergu system. If I remember correctly, he already used this secret to make money, right? Su Yi heard my inner voice. She couldn't suppress her anger any longer. A slap landed squarely on Mu Baichuan's face. Mu Baichuan, the evidence is right there, and you still dare to lie? Mu Baichuan was originally sobbing, about to recount his suffering and grievances, but the sudden slap from Su Yi left him completely stunned. Mom, you hit me again? In all these years, she hadn't even scolded him once. Now she hit him over a small matter, even hitting him right in front of Mugi. Damn it, Mugi, this damn old woman. All of you just wait. Su Yi stared intently at Mu Baichuan's face, not missing any expression on his face, including the flash of hatred in his eyes. The child she raised for over 20 years, none of his actions could escape her. He actually dared to hate me, seeing this. Su Yi trembled with rage. She said in a low voice, Baichuan, over all these years, I have truly pampered you too much. You plotted against your own family, and even dared to lie to my face. How about this? Tomorrow go visit your biological parents. Your father and I found them long ago. We were just afraid you'd overthink it then, so we kept it hidden until now. Hearing this, Mu Baichuan was stunned, his face full of terror. Mom, you don't want me anymore? Is this old woman going to kick me out? Clearly, she said before that, even if she found her biological son, she wouldn't let me leave. Even everything in the Mu family would be mine. And yet in just 2 short days, how did she change her mind? A series of question marks appeared in his head, but he still had to endure the pain, to continue acting in front of Su Yi. I was just as surprised. Am I hearing this right? Madame Su actually bears to let her precious golden child go back to meet his biological parents? Wasn't she most afraid of this happening? Even afraid that once Mu Baichuan left, he would never return. In the original plot, Mu Baichuan's visits to his parents were all done in secret, but why now? Thinking of this, I didn't dare to delay, quickly asking Ergu. Quickly check for me. What kind of game are they playing? This move seems a bit tricky. I'm starting to feel confused. The system was also sweating with fear, answering quickly. Host. Wait a moment. I'm still scanning. Su Yi breathed a secret sigh of relief. Mama Zhang, arrange for someone to take Mu Baichuan to the hospital immediately. I don't want to see his face right now. Mu Baichuan panicked. Mom, I don't want to go to the hospital. It's crowded there. The more bacteria and infections. I'm not going. Besides, I'm the young master of the Mu family. My brother just returned, and I already have to go to the hospital. If this gets out, how will people look at me? How will they look at our family? I glanced at him with a look of admiration. This imposter's mind is really quick. Every sentence he says, he insists on dragging me in. If I were left in peace, he'd probably die of anger. I was originally very calm, but now he's managed to annoy me. Suyi heard my irritation, making her even more troubled. Mubai Chuan, from now on, just talk about your own business. Don't keep dragging Mugi into everything. He doesn't owe you anything, and he certainly hasn't done anything wrong. It's actually the opposite. He wandered outside for so many years, suffering so much misery. He is my biological son. And what about you? You've enjoyed a life of luxury in his place for over 20 years. You've been by my side for over 20 years. I know your every move all too well. I haven't grown so old and senile as to be confused, so don't think I can be easily led by the nose. I froze, looking at Su Yi, as if looking at a complete stranger. Whoa. I thought Madame Su had changed her character. I didn't expect to be fooled. These sweet words on the tip of her tongue, she can utter them so easily. Su Yi's head was full of black lines. I've spoken so clearly. Why doesn't my son understand yet? I've made such an effort, and yet it's still not working. It seems I can only keep trying. I must let him feel the most sincere motherly love, then he will finally accept me. Mubai Chuan showed a look of utter disbelief. Mom, I didn't do it. You've misunderstood me. You're the person who knows me best. I'm not. Pity the words after that had no chance to be said. Mama Zhang approached, delivered a strike to knock him unconscious, then ordered him to be carried straight out. Su Yuye was also taken to the hospital. Su Yi thought for a while and still felt uneasy, so she decided to go along personally. Before going out the door, Su Yi suddenly remembered something and turned back. By the way, Mugi, today's events must have frightened you. I'll give you 8 million yuan in pocket money. Buy whatever you want. Living happily is the most important thing. Suddenly receiving a huge amount of money made my gloomy mood instantly brighten up. Then I thank you, mother. I forced out a smile, then casually turned and left. Haha, Madame Su is truly amazing. She's like she can hear my inner thoughts, knowing what I like and granting it right away. Man, if she were my biological mother, it would be great, truly top tier. Su Yi couldn't suppress a smile as she reached the door. She suddenly had a new idea. Words didn't work, actions didn't work either, so it's better to just use money. It seems money is even more powerful than one's own ability. The twins also made a silent resolution. Brother's hobby is so simple. Later we must work hard to earn lots of money, then give it all to our brother. As long as brother is happy, our whole family will be happy. Su Yi took the whole family away, so I went downstairs to eat. It's just that the pile of pickles and steamed buns on the table left me stunned. What is the meaning of this? I looked over at a maid. This servant was one of the 4 who had just carried Mu Baichuan in earlier. She didn't show any respect and gave me a burning glare, then spoke spitefully. Aren't you just some adopted child from outside? Yet you actually think you're a real young master. You're lucky to even have something to stuff in your mouth. Whoa, my head is full of question marks. Truly a dog relying on its master's house, flattering that imposter to the point where it made you overly confident? Come here so I can see how big your face is, whether a single hole can even contain it. As soon as the words left my mouth, I only saw a figure flash by extremely fast, followed by the sound of falling dishes, shattering loudly on the floor, and then the panicked, piercing scream of the servant girl rang out. Immediately after, I felt again a gust of wind brush past my cheek. Everything happened so rapidly that I hadn't even had time to compose myself. In the vast dining room, only I remained. Holy crap, what just happened? That voice earlier was Feng Bao Bao's, right? But I hadn't even caught a glimpse of her face, and she had already vanished. The system also gasped in amazement. Young master, Feng Bao Bao's combat power is high enough to be soul-shattering. This system bows in absolute respect. Just now, she hoisted that servant girl up with one hand, and dashed straight out to the main gate. Now she's digging a hole to bury her. As the system's voice finished, I turned into a black shadow, vanishing from my seat. Immediately after was my excited call. Ergu, hurry here. I'm inviting you to watch a free live burial show. Right now at the main gate, Feng Bao Bao had finished digging a deep hole and threw the servant girl into it. She even grabbed a water bucket from the garden, busily pouring water into the hole. Seeing that, I swallowed hard, then timidly asked, Sister Bao, where did you learn these moves? They look so familiar. Why do I feel like I've seen this before? Feng Bao Bao was focused on watering and stirring mud without even turning her head. I learned it from a strange book. By using this move, Eva disciplined all the servants in my house into complete obedience. I breathed a secret sigh of relief. So Feng Bao Bao self-taught it. That's good, very good. I was worried the worlds and books were all connected. Is everyone named Sister Bao this fierce? Not long after, Feng Bao Bao completed the task. She dusted off her hands, then delivered a kick to wake the servant girl up. Earlier, the servant girl, out of pure terror, had fainted on the spot. Now, being kicked awake, she saw a towering Feng Bao Bao standing with me, and her soul almost left her body. Miss Feng, what are you trying to do? This is the Mu family's home. You can't treat me like this. Mugi, you bastard too. Quickly save me otherwise. Once the second young master returns, he will not forgive you. I'm telling you, I'm not some ordinary servant. I'm the second young master's cousin. How dare you? She was about to keep shouting, but Feng Bao Bao grabbed a stinky sock and stuffed it straight into her mouth. Mugi, if anyone without eyes dares to bully you later, then just call me. No matter what is said, your status is still much higher than theirs. If you keep letting them bully you, I will look down on you. Feng Baobao spoke while using the maid's hair to wipe her hands. I inhaled a breath of cold air, then said while trembling, Yes, Sister Bao, I understand. Ergu, it seems the side character Feng Baobao has some formidable skills. Lucky she didn't get phased out too early. By the sound of it, it seems she wants to be my subordinate later. Tisk tisk, from what I see, could it be she's lusting after my body? She probably wants to get close to me, so she's using this roundabout tactic. Feng Baobao heard my inner thoughts, and the smug smile on her face instantly distorted. He says I lust after his body? Good, very good. Since you've said that, why don't we just do it now while it's hot? At this moment, I suddenly noticed Feng Baobao's gaze, starting to become very strange. Beads of sweat poured out like a stream. I stammered an inquiry. Sister Bao? Have you eaten yet? Feng Baobao intentionally licked her lips and said with a wicked smile. Not yet. What's up? Want to go together? I nervously swallowed hard, quickly dodging to the side to make way, and hurriedly said, Please come inside, Sister Bao. Feng Baobao nodded complacently, then strode arrogantly straight into the villa. At the dining table, Feng Baobao spoke while eating and asked, By the way, where is that imposter brother of yours? Did your mother deal with him? The corner of my mouth twitched slightly, sitting one chair away from her. The imposter went out to cause trouble, offended who knows who, and now he's covered in injuries. Then the family doctor was fired, and the imposter was sent to the hospital too. Feng Baobao burst out laughing. Well, don't you think that person is very formidable? I frowned, intentionally acting oblivious. Which person? The one that imposter offended? She stared at me with wide eyes, just like a puppy that just fetched a ball, wagging its tail waiting for the master's praise. But I resolutely refused to give her what she wanted. Just average. Complaining secretly to the system. Isn't it just giving someone a beating? I can do that too. If I could have the imposter fight 3 burly guys and post the clip online, now that's what I'd call top tier. The smile on Feng Baobao's face vanished. This guy is definitely doing it on purpose, and he even says he can do it too? Can do what? He has no skills himself, yet he dares to look down on me? Fine, just wait. Having said that, Feng Baobao reached down and pulled out her phone, sending off a text message. I was busy eating and had no idea what was happening. By the time the meal ended, the system's voice suddenly rang out. Young master, hurry and check the hot search. I took out my phone in disbelief to check. If I hadn't looked, it would be fine, but one glance and my eyes nearly popped out of my head. Oh my goodness, Feng Baobao is truly a genius. She actually turned the story of the fake and 3 muscular men into a hilarious parody clip. Now the whole internet is sharing it like crazy. This time, even the superpowers of the Mu family can't save the situation anymore. Hearing my praise, Feng Baobao smugly crossed her legs, swinging her small feet. Heh, do you see how capable I am now? Suddenly thinking of something, Feng Baobao turned her head and spoke. Brother Muge, do you have any plans for tomorrow? I want to invite you to go for a stroll. I was still looking at my phone and blurted out, That'll cost extra. In my heart, I continued to complain to the system. Ergu, you see that? She thinks she just did a great job, so she wants me to accompany her. I won't easily give her the chance to have me. Feng Baobao's face darkened as she looked at me. Fine. You like talking about money with me, don't you? Brother Muge, how about 5 million yuan to hire you for a day? With that, Feng Baobao took out her phone and made the transfer immediately. I looked at the notification of the money arriving in my bank account, turned my head mechanically, and narrowed my eyes. Just so you know, I'm a decent man. I don't provide any shady services. Feng Baobao gave me a cold smile. I am also a decent person. I don't need any shady services. This is just a deposit. If you serve me well, it will be doubled. I looked at her with a serious face. You better be as good as your word. But inside, I was ecstatic. Sister Bao, please accept my bow. It's an honor to serve you. Sister Bao, you are so cool. Right then, the system's voice rang out. Young master, I'm afraid you can't go out with Feng Baobao tomorrow. Before I could react, Mushan and Mutangchun walked in from the door. Mutangchun shouted as soon as she entered. Brother Mugi, you are truly our family's lucky star. Dad and I were just invited to the police station for tea. I was full of doubt. Drinking tea? Is it really the kind of tea drinking I'm thinking of? Mushan was beaming with joy and recounted the whole story. It turns out when the police went to the ski resort to investigate, they coincidentally solved a serial murder case. The chief was delighted and promised to report it to his superiors, helping to boost the Mu family's reputation. If everything goes smoothly, the stock price of the Mu Corporation will surely skyrocket. Who knows, the Mu family's ranking among the 8 great clans might even move up a few spots. I awkwardly scratched my head. I didn't actually do anything, and yet this huge credit just fell from the sky. Has my luck finally changed? Why does it feel like I'm straying further and further from the plot? Mushan looked at me with a comforting expression. Silly son, if we hadn't heard your inner thoughts, our family wouldn't have escaped that tragic end. With that, Mushan took out a bank card and handed it over. Son, you've done a great service for our family this time. It's just that I'm a bit short on cash lately, so here's only 20 million yuan for now. Don't worry. In no more than 3 days, it'll give you another 50 million yuan. The corner of my mouth twitched as I took the bank card. Old Mu, you're being too polite, but as expected, one doesn't need to compete too hard in life. Just look at me. I've already mindlessly made 34 million yuan today. Feng Baobao was stunned as she watched from the side. This Muji guy's money-making skills are even better than mine. The money I spent so much effort to earn isn't even equal to a few of his mumbles. No way. I definitely have to win him over, then make him stay at home and make money for me while doing nothing. Mushan continued. Also, your mother just sent me a message, saying that over there, well, Mu Baichuan wants to go back to visit his biological parents. Your mother said she wants to take you along, to relax a bit. What do you think? I didn't even need to think and blurted out immediately before the words not going could even leave my mouth. Mu Tongchun quickly spoke up. 9 million yuan. Mom said that's your pocket money if you come along, and it seems there's even more when we get back. What? No, were you about to say just now? I coughed twice, almost choking, and raised an eyebrow. I mean, since I'm not busy anyway, I might as well take a trip. The system's mocking voice rang in my head. Young master, from now on I won't admire anyone else. Only you. I curled my lip. What do you know? I really was going to say no, but Mother Su gave too much. I'm just an ordinary person. How could I possibly refuse money? Mu Tongchun pursed her lips, holding back a laugh. It's true that only Mom understands Brother Muge best. This trick really works. Mushan also showed a comforted expression. Does my son like money? That's too simple. From now on, just keep hitting him with money until he's dizzy. Feng Baobao's eyes lit up. I'm not busy tomorrow either, so he'll go along for some relaxation too. I put on a completely indifferent face. Since I already received the payer's money anyway, and I'm not afraid of that remote mountain wilderness, then just let her come along. That night, I slept very soundly, and even had a beautiful dream. In the dream, in my free time, I went to listen to traditional singing. No, wait, I went to karaoke. As the sky just began to brighten, I changed into a simple outfit, sat in the Miu family's private car, and set off with Su Yi. As soon as I got in the car, I closed my eyes to rest. Ergu, scope out the enemy situation ahead. Hearing this, Su Yi next to me tightened her grip on her clothes, so anxious that her heart felt like it would leap out. Mu Baichuan has started plotting and scheming again. Feng Baobao slightly lowered her head, her eyes filled with the excitement of eavesdropping. At that moment, the system's voice rang out. In 3 kilometers, the car will enter Wuda village. It's surrounded by mountains on 4 sides, there's only one way out of the village, and it's a muddy dirt road. That fake didn't sleep a wink all night, and made dozens of phone calls. His targets, besides the eldest young lady as originally planned, now also include the young master. My face remained expressionless, looking like a composed and carefree boss, but in my heart, I was already cursing up a storm. Truly speechless, I originally planned to take the money and run, but I didn't expect to be schemed against by that fake. This time, no matter what, I cannot follow the plot. Otherwise, I'll be forced to take an early exit. Su Yi heard my inner thoughts, and her heart was filled with even deeper regret. She herself didn't expect that Mu Baichuan would harbor such evil intentions toward her son, even plotting for an entire night. In a situation like this, for them to escape safely might be harder than climbing to the heavens. Thinking this, she quickly took out her phone and swiftly sent a distress message to old Mu. Feng Baobao, on the other hand, looked excited. I even brought a shovel this time. I didn't expect there would actually be a place to use it. Brother Muge, honestly, there's no need to be so worked up, I said. I'd protect you, so I definitely will. At the critical moment, even if I have to carry him and run, I'll run faster than a monkey. The system's relaxed voice also came through. Young master, stay calm. I'm here, I am. Before the system could finish its sentence, I activated full-blown scolding mode. System, you useless thing. Didn't I tell you to go steal some skills from the neighbors? All day you just flirt. Can you do something proper for once? Look at other people's systems. Then look back at yourself. What's the point of me keeping you? The system immediately turned red with shame. Young master, you. Don't rush. I'm rummaging through everything to find a skill. Please rest assured I will definitely present to the young master some serious skills. Just you wait and see. My heart was full of rage. I'm just sitting here listening to your bragging again. All this time, only the heart palm thunder has been useful. But that little toy has an expiration date even shorter than yours. So what good is it? Search for me right now. If you don't find it today, I'll tell Xiao Lu all about your little affair with Xiao Hong. Amidst the scolding and pleading the whole way, we finally arrived at our destination. The car stopped and Su Yi hurriedly got out. Need to breathe some fresh air quickly. My ears are about to go deaf. Feng Baobao also got out of the car, and looking at the dilapidated house not far away, her eyes suddenly lit up. Aunt Sue, is this the house of that fake's biological parents? No wonder he doesn't want to return, always using dirty tricks and schemes. This place is worlds apart from the Mu family's home. It would be a miracle if he were willing to come back here. Su Yi sighed. I also didn't expect his biological parents' situation to be this impoverished. Back then, it was for this very reason that I couldn't bear to let Mu Baichuan return here to suffer. I just couldn't have imagined that my kindness would nearly kill the whole family. I was the last one to step down, observing the surroundings and giving a stretch. The air is so fresh, truly an ideal place for a face slapping. At this time, the eldest Mu young lady, Mu Li, was standing not far away. After hearing my inner thoughts, she became even more irritated. Mu Gi is using those strange tricks again to make Mom believe his lies. I must keep Mom a bit further away from Mu Gi. It would be best if she couldn't hear his thoughts anymore, so that Mom won't be bewitched. Thinking this, Mu Li hurriedly went to Su Yi's side. Mom, let's go inside first. She was about to pull Su Yi to take a step forward, but Su Yi brushed her hand away and instead came to my side. I want to go with Mu Gi. If they ask, just say we are merely business partners of the Mu family. Seeing this, Mu Li became even angrier. Mom, what are you doing? Baichuan didn't get to choose his background. He is so pitiable. How could you shun him like this? What kind of mother have you been all these years? Su Yi's face turned icy cold. Do you still recognize that I am your mother? What is with this attitude of yours? Anyone who didn't know would think you were my mother instead, Feng Baobao added. That's right. Your mouth always talks about being filial to parents, but you end up scolding your parents like dogs. I laughed inwardly. Mother Su is something else too. Why bother arguing with that big dummy? That fake Mu Baichuan will definitely introduce us immediately. Just you watch, specifically telling them how wealthy we are. Mu Li, after all, was still wary of the Feng family, so toward Feng Baobao's words, she could only be furious without daring to speak. But my inner thoughts made her unable to hold back from exploding. Brother Mu Gi, I don't care what tricks you're playing, but let me tell you, Baichuan is a good child. He has always protected this family. He would absolutely never do such things. You're just intentionally slandering my beloved younger brother. I didn't even bother to spare her a glance and gave a nonchalant, oh. My heart was full of contempt. You big dummy. Go and see for yourself. That good child of yours is busy, introducing us to his biological parents right now. Ah, that's right. Their family has a pregnant woman, drinking some pitch-black water. You big dummy with an oversized saintly heart, hurry up and go play your role as a good person. Su Yi was incredibly shocked, hastily looking ahead, her pupils instantly shaking. This fake, he, really is something else. Feng Baobao also burst out laughing. Eldest young lady Mu, if your eyes aren't blind, then hurry up and take a look. Mu Li absolutely did not believe it. She turned and walked toward Mu Baichuan. Just as she was about to open her mouth, she heard Mu Baichuan speaking. Eldest sister, these are my biological parents. I already told them just now that Mom, little brother, and sister Bao all came to visit them. Hearing this, Muli's expression changed drastically. Baichuan, you introduced everyone already? Mu Baichuan nodded innocently. Yes, I introduced everyone, and I especially introduced Sister Bayo as the young lady of the Feng group who is still unmarried and doesn't have a boyfriend either. Mom and little brother are both. Enough, Mu Li immediately cut him off. It turns out everything Brother Mugi said was true. Mu Baichuan really did expose their identities, and at this moment, she also spotted someone ahead, a man with a limp, looking at Feng Baobao not far away, his eyes filled with predatory, evil glints. Are these the honest and kind-hearted country folk that Baichuan often spoke of? Mu Baichuan noticed Muli's strange behavior and frowned. Eldest sister, you. What's wrong? Are you too tired? Let's go inside and have a drink of water first. Oh, and there's a pregnant woman at my house too. She's about to give birth soon. Mu Baichuan seemed not to notice Muli's rage, grabbing her hand and leading her into the courtyard. Muli composed herself and smiled. Baichuan, you are still the most thoughtful. I shouted at him like that just now, yet he isn't angry at all, nor does he seem aggrieved like he does at home. After all, this isn't the Mu family home. If Baichuan shows a bad mood, then his relatives might make things difficult for me. Just now, I was worried because Mugi was right. Now it seems I was the one whose face got slapped. Mu Baichuan gave an innocent, bright smile. Eldest sister, you're praising me again. You're making me so embarrassed. Though his mouth said that, the hand hidden behind his back was clenched into a tight fist. This stupid woman, does she think I'm so easily fooled? Right in front of those old geezers, she actually dared to shout straight in my face. She must have sided with that Mu Gi guy too, thinking I'm just some soft target they can bully. If the old man wants to kick me out, then I must teach them a lesson, to let the entire Mu family get a taste of how it's easy to invite a god, but hard to send one away. Thinking this, Mu Baichuan returned to his gentle, innocent persona and shouted from behind, Mom, little brother, Sister Bao, Please come in, everyone. I've already introduced you all to them. They won't make things difficult for you. Want to hide your identities? Keep dreaming. No one in this family is simple. What they like most are city folk, the well-dressed ones with lots of money. Standing not far away, the corners of my mouth curled up slightly. Mother Sue, that precious son of yours is truly impressive. Those relatives he calls blood kin, if they were in a time of famine, their capabilities certainly wouldn't be less than Exun-sun's father. After Mu Baichuan finished his introductions, the way they look at us has completely changed. Su Yi heard my inner thoughts and now became even more terrified. Even her legs began to tremble. Mu Baichuan, you rebellious brat. I must teach you a lesson you'll never forget. Hearing Su Yi's strange words, my heart was full of doubt. Out of nowhere, why does Mother Su want to deal with that fake right now? But if she wants to deal with a fake in this remote wilderness, she should first pray that we can leave this place alive. Hearing this, Su Yi's legs froze. It turns out that fake has even calculated her into his schemes. So aren't I just walking straight into a trap? Feng Baobao, however, had an air of fearing neither heaven nor earth as she urged. Aunt Su, let's go quickly. Su Yi didn't want to go anymore. She just wanted to turn around and run away fast and wait until she called for reinforcements to come back. But I grabbed her hand and we moved forward together. Mother Su is getting old. Does she really think she can still escape at this point? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If we don't go in, how can we ever get out? Feng Baobao looked at me, feeling that after I calmed down, I suddenly exuded an incredibly arrogant, kingly aura. Su Yi took several deep breaths, reminding herself over and over again. There's nothing to be afraid of. My biological son is right here. No matter what happens, even if I have to sacrifice my own life, I must ensure my son returns home alive. She already owed him too much, debt that originally could never be repaid, so she absolutely couldn't let him die here. After saying that to herself a few times, she finally calmed down inside and followed me into the courtyard. At this time in the courtyard, there was a pregnant woman drinking a pitch-black liquid, while Mu Li just stood there staring wide-eyed, with no intention of stopping her. Witnessing this scene, I was stunned. Something's not right. Why hasn't Mu Li stopped that woman? Why has the plot collapsed yet again? Actually, Mu Li herself wanted to intervene, but remembering my inner thoughts just now, she hesitated. For some unknown reason, she now felt a slight sense of fear. But now hearing my thoughts again, the anger in her heart flared up once more. What is there to be afraid of? Brother Mugi is clearly using those tricks to bewitch me. If it weren't for hearing his thoughts, I would have stepped in to help a long time ago. Thinking this, she rushed over, snatched the bowl of water from the pregnant woman's hand, and smashed it onto the ground. Stop drinking, you're pregnant. If you drink these things, the baby in your womb will be in danger. The pregnant woman was terrified by her, taking a long time to regain her composure. Immediately afterwards, she shouted in anger. Where did this vixen come from? What right do you have to snatch my blessed water? Husband, come out and see this. This woman dares to bully me. She doesn't want me to give birth to a son. The pregnant woman collapsed, sitting on the ground, clutching her belly with one hand, and began to wail miserably. Mu Li didn't care about that at all. She enthusiastically lectured the woman with knowledge, talking non-stop in a long stream. But the pregnant woman didn't listen to a single word. Mu Baichuan had just returned from the restroom and saw this scene, frowning and asking, Eldest sister, what's going on? Mu Li recounted the entire incident to him and stomped her feet impatiently. Baichuan, tell her quickly. The things I just said are all true. Mu Baichuan stood there like an idiot, frozen in place without moving an inch. Mu Li grew even more anxious, looking towards Su Yi. Mom, tell her. What I'm saying is absolutely the truth. She thought that as long as there was one more person on her side, then the tragedy in Muji, inner thoughts would not happen. I just stood by coldly observing everything. This big dummy is actually quite something. She indeed followed the exact route of the plot. But she absolutely could not have imagined that her kindness would later lead her to an end exactly like that of the pregnant woman. Ergu, didn't you say the plot had been upgraded? So what's the situation now? Su Yi stepped back a few paces, hiding behind me. Xiaolan, you are being so foolish. Su Yi couldn't understand at all. Clearly her eldest daughter who could hear her son's inner thoughts when everything just now had already been proven that Mugi was absolutely right. Yet she stubbornly refused to believe it, insisting on seeking her own death. Now she even wants to drag me and the son is going to his death right along with her. It looks like this eldest daughter can't be saved anymore. Mu Li was absolutely stunned. Mom, you just need to say the word. Just say something, please, Mugi. This is definitely your fault. Don't you dare think that. She intended to give me a piece of her mind, but everything she said after that was completely silenced. Basically, she couldn't make a sound anymore. Feng Baobao gave a cold laugh. Mu Li, what on earth are you barking about? Don't tell me you're actually scared? She had realized it too, that anyone blood-related to Mugi, any Mu family member, can hear his inner thoughts. It's just that this Mu Li girl clearly doesn't have as much of a brain as the others. She's still stubbornly refusing to see the light. And on top of that, she's insulting Muge. If I had an older sister like this, I would have just washed my hands of her already. If she wasn't asking for it, she wouldn't be in this mess. She really is the most perfect cautionary tale. Mu Li roared aggressively. Feng Bao Bao, don't you dare stand there talking nonsense, as if I'd ever be scared. What do I even have to be afraid of? With a look of sheer contempt, Feng Bao Bao pointed at the pregnant woman on the ground and spoke. Look, she's bleeding. Mu Li hurriedly turned to look, and that single glance was enough to make her turn ice cold, sweat pouring down, her eyes practically bulging out of her head. How can this be happening? That woman was just fine a second ago. I didn't even push her. It's her own fault she's losing the baby. Su, he was so terrified that the color drained from her face. Xiaolan this. What are we going to do about this? The plot has been upgraded now. The intensity of that fake guy's revenge is going to be even greater and more brutal. I thought it was normal earlier, but now look at this. As expected, it's a lot more troublesome. This is seriously terrifying. Muli's mind was now a tangled mess. What does she even know what to do? Mom, it's all your fault. Didn't I tell you to speak up for me earlier? Why did you refuse to say anything? In this desperate moment, the title of overbearing female CEO lost all its reason, leaving her like a 3-year-old child, screaming right in her own mother's face. Feng Bao Bao crossed her arms over her chest, hurling blatant sarcasm. So this is the legendary overbearing female CEO? Tisk, tisk, tisk. When things go wrong, all she can do is take it out on her old mother. Doesn't seem like much of anything to me. Muji, give me a nod here. To be honest, I think she's a total mess too. In the original plot, after Mu Li realized something was wrong, she rushed straight back to the Mu house, and just like before, she flew into a rage at Mrs. Su and her younger sisters. Mrs. Su thought her eldest daughter was just under too much work pressure, so she felt sorry for her and tried her best to soothe her. Looking at her now, she really is a fool. Su Yi heard my inner thoughts, and her eyes widened in shock. It turns out my eldest daughter is berating me, all because of that Mu Baichuan guy. The eldest daughter I was once closest to, long ago, stopped caring about this mother of hers. Thinking this, Su Yi pointed straight at Muli's face and shouted, Mu Li, you are an adult. Handle your own business yourself. Don't come screaming in my face every time some minor thing happens. Mark my words, I am not your slave. Mu Li had heard my thoughts too, and combined with Feng Bao Bao's mockery and her mother's scolding, the rage within her exploded like an erupting volcano. Mu Ge, ever since you came back, this family hasn't had a moment of peace, Mom. Don't let him deceive you. His tactics are filthy. He's just jealous of me, jealous of Bai Chuan. He wants to make our Mu family. Before she could finish her sentence, Su Yi raised her hand and delivered a thunderous slap to her face. Shut your mouth, Mu Li. If you're so capable, face the consequences yourself. Stop trying to throw dirt on Mu Gi. This is the last time I'm warning you. Otherwise, don't blame me for being heartless and cutting ties with you. Su Yi was deeply troubled at this moment. How could I have raised a daughter so incredibly brainless? That slap made Muli's ears ring, and her heart filled with even more resentment toward her mother. Mom will definitely regret this. You'll prove to her that everyone else is wrong. Before she could even finish her thought, Mu Baichuan rushed over to shield Mu Li. Mom, please don't hit big sister. It's all my fault. If you're upset, just take it all out on me. Hearing this, a wave of emotion surged through Mu Li. It really was worth all the years she'd spent doting on him. Seeing his sister suffering an injustice, he was so worried he was already in tears. Unlike that petty Mu Gi who only knows how to use those inner voice tricks, I looked towards Su Yi with a bit of surprise. Mrs. Mu is seriously cool. She's actually furious this time, but it's useless for them to criticize each other. That fake guy is just waiting to deal with them. Ergu, check and see what the next plot development is for me. Young master, the next sequence might be a bit shocking, because the beloved little brother Mu Baichuan will force her to stay and compensate his family with her life by bearing them a pair of twin sons. Huh? I was so shocked my jaw nearly hit the floor. What? What kind of move is this? Or is it just because I'm not educated enough to keep up with this kind of logic? Su Yi and Feng Bao Bao were stunned too, all four of their eyes staring intently at me. They thought they must have misheard. What on earth is happening? Mu Li had heard it too, and she immediately flew into a rage. Muga, you! How could? Damn it, as for her thoughts, she still couldn't voice them aloud. He's using his tricks again? Baichuan would absolutely never treat me like that. Thinking this, she grabbed Mu Baichuan, intending to leave. In her heart, she believed that as long as she left my side and made it so others couldn't hear my thoughts, everything would return to its normal track. The only problem was that Mu Baichuan stood rooted to the spot, not moving an inch, and instead he pulled Mu Li back toward him. Big sister, we can't leave. Mu Li was stunned for a moment. Why can't we leave? For no reason at all. Mu Li's right eyelid began to twitch incessantly, as if possessed. She glanced toward a spot not far away, where Mu Baichuan's biological parents were standing. Although it was just a chance glance, it made her feel as though she were being targeted by a demon. Then she heard Mu Baichuan say pitifully, Big sister, that pregnant woman, she's actually my stepmother. She was carrying twins. Because of you, her babies are gone now. My biological parents aren't to be trifled with. They just gave me a piece of their mind. They're forcing me to find a way to replace those two sons for them. Before he could even finish, Mu Baichuan threw himself down at Mula's feet, tears falling like rain. Big sister, I'm begging you. I'll even kowtow to you, please. Muli felt as if she'd been struck by lightning. Baichuan, what are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying. I didn't even push that woman earlier. It was her own fault she lost the babies. Besides, asking me to give them two sons, how am I even supposed to do that? Seeing her like that, I secretly applauded in my heart. The eldest Mu daughter is still playing dumb. She probably hasn't realized what compensating with sons actually means for her, right? Well, I figured it out. It means becoming a mistress for that fake guy's biological father. What else? The things inside that fake guy's head are truly disgusting. No wonder he could upgrade this revenge plot to a whole new level. Truly a talent, the system frowned. Young master, I think things might get a bit difficult. The Mu family's eldest daughter keeps talking back. It doesn't match the original plot anymore. It seems like she's actually started using her brain. I curled my lip in disdain. No way or go, don't you forget that this eldest Mu sister has always spoiled that fake guy to the extreme. Now that he's kneeling right in front of her and has unleashed his ultimate weapon of pathetic sobbing, she'll definitely agree willingly. But just imagining that overbearing CEO by the side of some old geezer, the sight of it makes me a little nauseous. Suyi stood nearby, so shocked she was speechless. Mu Baichuan could actually think of something like this. The key is, will Mulai actually agree to it, even if she favors the fake guy and doesn't treat her younger sisters well? She's still my biological daughter after all. I can't just stand by and watch her, be manipulated like a slave, tormented by that kind of person. Feng Baobao covered her mouth with one hand, but her large, round eyes betrayed her grin. Who would have thought Mu Li would see a day like this? I absolutely have to tell this great story to my older brother. Getting revenge for my brother doesn't even take much effort. Mugi alone is more than enough. Muli felt her entire worldview collapsing. What did Mugi just say? Baichuan is going to make me his stepmother, and I have to bear sons for his family? How could that be possible? Baichuan would absolutely never do something like that. Right now, he just doesn't have any way to face his biological parents. Mu Baichuan knelt on the ground, crying until his eyes were swollen, unable to even speak. But seeing that Mu Li still hadn't responded, he began to panic as well. He gave his parents a subtle signal, and they understood immediately, rushing forward together, shouting in anger. You're Baichuan's older sister, aren't you? You made me lose my two sons. You must compensate us. If you hadn't stuck your nose where it didn't belong, then why would my sons be dead? If you don't compensate us, then we'll lock Mu Baichuan up and never let him go back. With that, they grabbed Mu Baichuan and tried to drag him into the house. Mu Baichuan's sobs were breathless. I'm not going back. I won't go back. You people never raised me for a single day. You're not my parents. Please, let me go, big sister. Save me. Save me. Please, Mom. Do even you not want me anymore? Muli was stunned for a split second. Then she hurriedly grabbed Mu Baichuan's other arm, holding on tight and refusing to let go. Let go of Baichuan. He's my little brother. What you're doing is illegal. Besides, I didn't push your woman earlier. That has nothing to do with me. I can compensate you with money. How much do you want? Just name a price. I can give it all to you. Although she was worried about Baichuan being taken away, deep down, Mu Li felt relieved. It seems that Mu Jigai's inner voice was wrong. Baichuan isn't begging me to be his father's mistress. And he's not forcing me to bear a pair of twin brothers for him, and he's certainly not using any self-harm tactics. Moreover, I can settle this with money. This doesn't necessarily have to be compensated with sons. Mu Li turned her gaze back to Su Yi. Mom, come and help us. Baichuan is about to be snatched away. You must have been bewitched by that Muji beast, which is why you misunderstood me. But it's fine. I'll explain everything clearly after today. Mom will definitely step in to help now because compared to me, she loves Baichuan even more, and she certainly won't let him leave the Mu house. But at this very moment, she heard her mother let out a long sigh. Xiaolan, let go. Mu Li looked at Su Yi with a face of pure disbelief. Mom, what did you say? What is she saying? She began to suspect that her mother might be suffering from senile dementia. This is Baichuan, her most beloved son. How could she bear to let him be taken away? Mu Baichuan was also dumbfounded. Is this old woman really planning to discard me? Then doesn't that mean all my careful plans have all just gone up in smoke? Su Yi looked at her eldest daughter with a stern expression. Xiaolan, I know you and Mu Baichuan share a bond as deep as real siblings, but don't forget, this place is his home, and those people are his biological parents. Even if this matter is dragged to the police or taken to court, someone else's son must eventually be returned to them, my dear. At this moment, Su Yi secretly sneered in her heart. Isn't this fake guy great at acting the martyr? Then I'll play along with him for a bit. Although Su Yi desperately wanted that thing out of the Mu house, she also understood clearly that if she let Mu Baichuan leave just like this, it would be like releasing a tiger back to the forest. Since there were still a few daughters who hadn't met Mu Ge yet, with their habit of spoiling Mu Baichuan since childhood, they would easily be manipulated by him. The consequences then would be unpredictable. And Su Yi also knew that the more she acted like this, the more it would throw Mu Baichuan off his rhythm. Sure enough, a flash of panic appeared in Mu Baichuan's eyes, and he hurriedly spoke. "Big sister, Mom, do you all really not want me anymore? But I've only come to visit home once, and it's already cost my biological parents their sons. Those were the twins they've been longing for day and night. This isn't something that can be measured with money, big sister. I don't blame you. How could you possibly understand the life of poor people at the bottom of society like us? It's all my fault. I'm so useless. What's even the point of me being alive? Just let me die and be done with it." Saying this, Mu Baichuan suddenly pushed his biological parents aside and lunged his head to smash into the wooden door. Mu Li let out a scream of terror. She leaped up, intending to stop Mu Baichuan. But Su Yi, standing beside her, immediately rushed forward, pulling Mu Li back toward herself, even hiding her behind her back. Mu Li was still screaming, "Baichuan, don't!" But the moment the words left her mouth, she felt a sharp pain in her head, and then she turned and ran straight toward her car. I watched Mu Li's actions with a look of horror. What on earth? Is this Mu idiot running back to get cash? Su Yi was also dazed, not understanding what was happening. What cash? Our group didn't bring any money. At the scene, only Feng Baobao saw the clue. Why does it look like Mu Li is doing a 100-meter sprint? No, she's running for her life, and it's the kind where someone is running ahead while their soul is terrified and chasing after them. Mu Baichuan saw that no one was stopping him, so he naturally stopped his attempt immediately. When he turned to look at Mu Li, he was also dumbfounded. Is this foolish Mu sister insane? By now, Mu Li had scurried into her car, slammed the door hard, and even locked it from the inside. Then she screamed, ordering the driver to turn the car around. "Go quickly, get us home right now." Mu Li wiped the beads of sweat from her forehead. Good heavens, if Mom hadn't pulled me just now, my head would surely still be filled with mush. That cursed Mu Baichuan, now that I've regained my senses, I can see through everything. He really is, just as Muji described, just to force me to replace his twin brothers. He didn't hesitate to stage a suicide by running into a wall. Damn it, I'm the eldest daughter of the Mu family, a powerful and overbearing CEO, and I'm supposed to be a mistress for a fake child's father? And even have to roll around with that old geezer? It's insane. The driver was frozen with fear, but out of natural reflex, he immediately started the engine, turned the car around, and fled for dear life. Mu Li glanced at me through the car window, then raised her hand and gave herself 2 stinging slaps. Mugi is my real little brother. He deliberately used his inner voice to warn me that there was danger. But earlier, some mysterious power had controlled me, forcing me to keep flattery on that fake guy. Luckily, I heard Mugi's thoughts. Otherwise, I would have been finished. Good brother, don't you worry. Once I'm home, you'll definitely prepare a huge gift for you. I witnessed that entire process, feeling like my head was about to explode from trying to process it all. Truly unbelievable. Forgive my low education level, but those are the only 2 words left in my head. I thought Mu Li was running back to get money for the fake guy, who knew she was planning to bolt. But why did she stop caring about him? What on earth is she planning to do? Gosh, my head hurts. Also, witnessing the entire drama, Su Yi stood frozen to the spot in a daze. Xiaolan. What's this? Has she realized the problem? Just now, she slapped herself twice in front of Mu Ge. Could it be that she's regretted it? Feng Baobao narrowed her eyes, her entire body radiating a wave of anger. What a coward. When trouble hits, all she can do is tuck tail and run. Mu Baichuan was completely dazed. What just happened? Who am I? Where am I? Has this world gone completely mad? Su Yi was the first to snap out of it, the corners of her mouth curling into a slight arc. She turned to look at Mu Baichuan. Baichuan, I've always known you're an understanding child. Your sister must have done that because she's afraid of making things difficult for you. If your biological parents insist on you staying, then you should stay here. I left in such a hurry today. I only have 10,000 in cash on me. Please, tell your family not to despise it. After placing the stack of cash down, she took my hand in one of hers and Feng Baobao's in the other, then turned and hurried away. Since her eldest daughter had bolted, what the heck was she still doing there? Just as that host Mu Ge had said, once the plot has been upgraded, all of them will face a great catastrophe. It doesn't matter if she herself dies, but her biggest concern was still her son. Mu Baichuan's eyes immediately bugged out. Is this cursed old woman really planning to abandon me? And she's trying to run away too? In her dreams, easier said than done. But it happened in a flash. Mu Baichuan no longer cared about the wounds on his body. He lunged forward frantically. Originally, he planned to grab Su Yi, but because he used too much force, he collapsed to his knees and tightly hugged my leg instead. Big brother, could you please not leave just yet? I want to treat you to a meal. Mom, Dad, didn't you already prepare the meal? Quickly, bring it all out. Let my family eat a little before they leave. Mom is right. Big sister didn't do anything wrong. This is my heartfelt gesture. Big brother, please don't refuse me. Mu Baichuan's acting skills exploded with intensity. Tears as big as beans fell on command. His sobbing looked truly heart-wrenching. Any normal person, taking just one look at him, would surely feel their heart ache for him. Su Yi flatly refused without even thinking about it. Mu Baichuan, let go. You are truly being unreasonable. With your family in such a mess right now, how could I have the appetite for a meal? You all should keep it and eat what meal. Don't play games with me. Based on Muga's inner voice warnings, Mu Baichuan will definitely put something into the food. Even if she just drinks a single sip of water from their house, her group would never be able to leave this place. However, I smiled at Mu Baichuan. Fine then, we'll stay for a bite. But inside I was screaming, Ergu, hurry up and show yourself already. Have you finally retrieved my skills yet or what? Damn it, if I don't deal with this guy today, he'll keep thinking I'm a soft target to be bullied. Feng Baobao looked at me, her large round eyes sparkling like stars. So Muggy is secretly preparing to unleash his ultimate move. Hurry, let me see if he has any other new skills. That Heart Palm Thunder move last time looked pretty good. The only issue was that the effect didn't last very long. Mu Baichuan naturally couldn't hear my inner voice. Seeing that I agreed, he jumped up in excitement, immediately urging his parents and relatives to quickly set the dining table. Because of a slip-up earlier, he had let that sister Mu Li escape. But it didn't matter. That brainless type is easily led by the nose. He had plenty of ways to deal with her. Mrs. Mu and Feng Baobao had been so bewitched by Mu Ge that they no longer listened to him, so he would deal with them first. That way, everything would be foolproof. Up until the moment I finally sat down,